Qin Mo was reborn and returned once again, entering the game, Tianming, where he obtained an extraordinary exclusive talent bounty hunter. The more money he carried on him, the higher his attack power would rise. The more money he spent, the higher his defense would grow. On Blue Star, in the eastern region of the Dragon Nation, inside an apartment building in Tianhai City, Qin Mo suddenly sat up, a faint confusion clouding his face. This is... Qin Mo looked around in a daze, scrutinizing his surroundings. The place felt somewhat familiar, yet strangely unfamiliar. A moment later, his eyes abruptly widened. This was the place where he had lived 10 years ago. Qin Mo's breathing grew slightly rapid as he grabbed the phone by his bedside and glanced at it. Time January 1st, 2066, 2345. It really was 10 years ago, 15 minutes before the launch of Tianming. Qin Mo had been reborn. 10 years earlier, an online game called Tianming had descended upon Blue Star. 1/3 of the global population had received randomly assigned login qualifications, and Qin Mo. Later, people discovered that everything obtained in Tianming, as well as any enhancements to their own bodies, could all be manifested in the real world. This drove the entire human world into madness, and many people ascended above the masses by relying on the resources they gained within the game. However, years later, as humanity continued to explore Tianming, they eventually came into contact with dark domain creatures at the edge of the world, and relentless conflicts erupted between the two sides. In the end, a full-scale war broke out between humanity and the dark domain creatures. After years of fierce fighting, humanity was ultimately defeated. Dark domain creatures poured into the human world, and Blue Star suffered a cataclysmic disaster. Qin Mo had also fallen in battle during the final war. One scene after another from his past resurfaced in his mind. An overwhelming surge of unwillingness and regret flooded his heart. Qin Mo was dazed for a few seconds, then quickly regained his composure, his eyes filled with steely resolve. Since the heavens have allowed me to be reborn, I will not squander this chance. With that, Qin Mo raised his right hand. On his wrist was a flame-shaped tattoo. This was the mark signifying his qualification to enter Tianming. Qin Mo picked up his phone and glanced at it. There were still 8 minutes left before the launch of Tianming. Taking a deep breath, he steadied his emotions and sat quietly in place, waiting in silence. Soon the time on the phone ticked over to midnight. The tattoo on Qin Mo's wrist flared to life. Tianming officially launched. With a mere thought, Qin Mo instantly entered the game. After a dazzling burst of light, he arrived in an empty expanse. Darkness stretched all around, and a mechanical system voice sounded by Qin Mo's ear. Welcome to Tianming. Verifying player qualifications. Verification successful. Generating player character. Character generated. Please create a character name. Qin Mo moved his mind and entered the ID from his previous life mock. Checking name. Check complete. Name available. Confirm. Qin Mo said confirm. Creation successful. Please draw your exclusive talent. As the system voice faded, a lottery-style window appeared before Qin Mo. In Tianming, every player would receive a random exclusive talent at the very beginning. Talents came in various grades. The strongest were SS tier, while the weakest were F tier. Each person's exclusive talent was unique and could directly determine the heights a player could reach within the game. In his previous life, most people obtained talents no higher than tier, and those who managed to draw tier or above were exceedingly rare. Acquiring an tier or higher talent was tantamount to becoming a child of destiny, destined to shine brilliantly within Tianming. As for SS tier talents, there had only been 5 recipients in his previous life. These 5 later became the leaders of humanity's 5 great powers. In his past life, Qin Mo's luck had been quite good. He had obtained an tier talent. How would his fortune be in this life? Filled with expectation, Qin Mo pressed the start button, and the content within the window immediately began to spin rapidly. Soon the spinning content came to a stop. Exclusive talent bounty hunter, level 1. Talent grade, talent type, growth condition. Talent passives, overflowing wealth, spending like water. Overflowing wealth for every 1 gold coin carried. Attack power increases by 1 point up to a maximum of 1000 points. Spending like water for every 1 gold coin spent, gain 1 point of defense attribute. After reading this talent description, Qin Mo was utterly stunned. Bounty hunter. He had never even heard of such a thing in his previous life. A talent grade marked as unknown. Was this supposed to be strong or weak? After thinking it through carefully, Qin Mo suddenly grew excited. A talent with an unknown grade. Could this be a legendary hidden talent? One had to know that only talents of a tier and above could possess growth attributes. Since this talent could grow, it meant it was definitely not weak. It was just that the unknown growth condition was somewhat frustrating. Yet judging from these 2 passive skills alone, this talent was absurdly powerful. The more gold coins he carried, the higher his attack power would be. Although the current cap was an additional 100 attack points, a physical damage dealer typically had to reach about level 50 to possibly possess 100 attack power. And now the server had just opened. Everyone was only level 1. Moreover, this was merely the effect of Bounty Hunter at level 1. Once the talent level increased, what would the cap become? How high could it ultimately go? As for the other skill, it was even more outrageous. For every 1 gold coin spent, he would gain 1 point of defense. There would certainly be places in the game that required heavy gold expenditure. In his previous life, Qin Mo could not even remember how much gold he had spent in total. Qin Mo could almost see a future where both his attack and defense stats defied reason. The more he thought about this talent, the more fascinating it seemed. After obtaining his talent, the system voice sounded again, "Please select a class." Qin Mo pondered briefly, then chose Swordsman. In his previous life, Qin Mo had also chosen Swordsman. He was extremely familiar with this class, which would save him a great deal of effort in leveling and other aspects. Most importantly, the Swordsman possessed high physical damage while maintaining relatively balanced attributes in other areas, making it an excellent match for the Bounty Hunter talent's effects. Once a class is selected, it cannot be changed. Do you confirm your choice? Confirm. With the class chosen, Qin Mo's character creation was complete. Qin Mo then saw his attribute panel. ID Moke. Level 1. Health 200. Mana 150. Attack 24. Armor 10. Magic resistance 10. Attack speed 1. Attributes Strength 12, Constitution 10, Agility 10, Spirit 10, Defense 10. Exclusive talent Bounty Hunter. Active skills none. Passive skills Overflowing Wealth, Spending Like Water. A standard Swordsman template. After he finished reviewing his attributes, the mechanical system voice sounded again by Qin Mo's ear. Character creation successful. You will now be assigned to Novice Village No. 114,514. Enjoy your game. As the voice faded, the scene before Qin Mo began to distort and change. After a wave of vertigo, he found himself standing in a small town styled much like one from the medieval era. Longxi Town. This was the Novice Village of Destiny. By now the streets of Longxi Town were already crowded with players, and every so often a newcomer would suddenly materialize in the middle of the road, everyone's face brimming with excitement. So this is the world inside Destiny. It feels so real. All my senses are perfectly simulated. I can even smell the scent in the air. I rolled the sharpshooter talent. Where are the monsters? I'm going hunting. The players were giddy with excitement, each of them filled with boundless expectations for this game. Standing in a corner, Qin Mo smiled faintly, then strode toward the central plaza of the town. By the fountain at the very center stood a hunched old man with snow-white hair and beard. This was the guide of the Novice Village. As Qin Mo approached, the hunched old man immediately greeted him with a kindly smile. Young man, welcome to Longxi Town. Since this is our first meeting, you may choose a brocade pouch as a welcoming gift. As he spoke, the old man produced 3 brocade pouches and laid them out before Qin Mo. This was the Novice Starter Gift Pack. The contents inside depended entirely on luck. With good fortune, one might obtain bronze-grade equipment. With poor fortune, there would be nothing but a few copper coins. Qin Mo pondered for a moment, then casually selected the pouch in the middle. A flash of white light burst forth, and a prompt appeared in front of Qin Mo. You have obtained 100 gold coins. Qin Mo was momentarily stunned. His luck was astonishingly good. 100 gold coins. The server had only just opened. The vast majority of players did not even have a single copper coin to their name. In the early stages of the game, currency in Destiny was exceedingly valuable. Many wealthy players would choose to exchange real-world money for in-game currency. If Qin Mo remembered correctly, at the beginning 1 copper coin could be exchanged for 10 units of Longwa currency. 100 gold coins equaled 1,000 silver coins, 10,000 copper coins. Qin Mo had effectively just earned the equivalent of 100,000 in cash the moment he logged in. Of course, as a novice starter gift, 100 gold coins seemed somewhat mediocre. At the shop, it could only buy 2 pieces of plain white gear, far less immediately useful than the bronze equipment some lucky players had drawn. Yet for Qin Mo, the value of these 100 gold coins far surpassed a few level 1 bronze items. As the gold was credited to his account, the passive of Bounty Hunter, Wealth Laden, was triggered. When Qin Mo checked his attribute panel again, his attack power had risen to 124. At level 1, most players had around 20 points of attack, yet Qin Mo possessed a terrifying 124. A single slash from Qin Mo dealt as much damage as 6 strikes from others. His strength was overwhelming. Satisfied, Qin Mo put the gold away. The hunched old man spoke again. Young man, things have been unsettled outside the town lately. Monsters run rampant, and even small animals that usually seem harmless have become corrupted. To the west, a large number of corrupted rats have appeared. They have ruined much of the crops in the fields, and even, could I trouble you to help clear out the corrupted rats? I will reward you accordingly. As the old man's words fell, a prompt popped up before Qin Mo. Novice quest: kill 20 corrupted rats 020. Qin Mo accepted without hesitation. I'll head out at once. After taking the quest, Qin Mo turned and walked straight toward the western outskirts of Longxi Town. Before long, once he had left the town, a vast stretch of cornfields came into view. Amid the boundless sea of corn, he could occasionally see large rats about 30 centimeters long ravenously gnawing on the crops. Corrupted Rat. Level 1. Health 120. Attack 18. Defense 42, Armor Magic Resistance. Its stats were indeed weak, one of the friendliest monsters in the entire game. Yet for most level 1 players they were anything but easy to handle. Corrupted rats had one distinctive trait: once attacked, they would immediately flee. These rats were extremely agile and moved very quickly. With level 1 players' meager attack power, they often ended up drenched in sweat from chasing and still might not manage to kill even a single rat. And if one ran into a pack of more than 10 corrupted rats, the rodents would instead take the initiative to attack humans. When over 10 corrupted rats pounced at once, a level 1 player could easily be killed in an instant if careless. In the distance, many players who had accepted the novice quest were already locked in pitched battle with the rats. Damn, these rats run so fast. Block it. Block it. Seriously, I finally chased that rat to low health, and you kill-stealed it from me. Help! The rats are biting me. The players' shouts rose and fell, echoing through the cornfields. Qin Mo walked through the cornfield for a while and arrived at a spot where no other players were around. 10 meters ahead, several corrupted rats with red eyes and sharp fangs were gnawing on corn, occasionally glancing back at him warily. In his previous life, Qin Mo had suffered quite a bit while doing this very novice quest. But for the Qin Mo of today, these corrupted rats no longer seemed so difficult to kill. Locking onto the few rats ahead, he gripped his starter wooden sword and charged forward. Fixing on the rat closest to him, Qin Mo raised the wooden sword and brought it slashing down. 120. A red damage number leaped up, and the corrupted rat let out a shrill squeal before dropping dead on the spot. The corrupted rat dropped 2 copper coins. At the same time, the system prompt appeared: you have killed 1 corrupted rat and gained 8 experience points. The remaining rats, seeing this, immediately scattered in all directions. The starter wooden sword provided no bonus to attack, yet Qin Mo himself possessed a staggering 124 attack power. Subtracting the corrupted rat's 4 points of armor, each strike of his dealt exactly 120 points of physical damage, just enough to kill a corrupted rat in a single blow. Qin Mo picked up the copper coins on the ground and continued searching for more corrupted rats. Before long, several more rats appeared within his field of vision. Qin Mo repeated the same method, rushing in quickly, selecting one rat and killing it with a single strike. This time only experience points were awarded, no copper coins dropped. Qin Mo pressed onward, searching for monsters. With every swing of his sword, another corrupted rat fell in one hit. System prompts kept appearing one after another: you have killed 1 corrupted rat and gained 8 experience points. You have killed 1 corrupted rat and gained 8 experience points. After more than 10 minutes, when Qin Mo slew yet another corrupted rat, a beam of golden light descended upon him. His experience bar was full. Qin Mo had reached level 2. He opened his panel to check his stats. ID Moke. Level 2. Health 220. Mana 165. Attack 128. Armor 11. Magic Resistance 11. Attack Speed 1. Attributes: Strength 14, Constitution 11, Agility 11, Spirit 11, Defense 11. Exclusive Talent: Bounty Hunter. Active skills: none. Passive skills: Wealth Laden, Spending Like Water. Current quest: kill 20 corrupted rats, 1520. Only 5 more corrupted rats remained before the quest would be complete. Qin Mo continued deeper into the cornfields. Just then a commotion sounded ahead. Moments later, 3 disheveled players stumbled out of the corn, nearly falling over one another. Right behind them, 5 corrupted rats with vicious expressions were in hot pursuit. These 5 corrupted rats were noticeably larger than the others, with even longer fangs. Run! These rats are way too fierce. The 3 players wore looks of sheer terror. They had formed a 5-man party, but 2 of them had already been bitten to death by these rats. Qin Mo took one glance and immediately sensed something was off. Mutated Demon Rat. Level 1. Health 120. Attack 32. Defense 84. Armor Magic Resistance. So they were mutated corrupted rats. Their attack and defense were both considerably higher than ordinary corrupted rats, and they were far more aggressive. In the blink of an eye, the 3 players had already sprinted past Qin Mo. The 5 mutated demon rats followed closely behind and immediately noticed him. 2 of the mutated demon rats instantly veered and lunged at Qin Mo, intent on tearing this reckless human apart. Just as they rushed up, Qin Mo swung the wooden sword in his hand. 120. A red number flashed into view, and the first rat died on the spot. The second rat froze for a moment, apparently not yet understanding what had just happened. During that single heartbeat of daze, Qin Mo's wooden sword was already cleaving down upon it. 120. Another red number leaped up, and with a miserable shriek, the rat fell lifeless to the ground. The 3 remaining mutated demon rats halted when they heard their companions' death cries, turning to stare back. When they saw the corpses of the 2 rats on the ground, the ferocity in their eyes intensified. With sharp, piercing squeals, they charged at Qin Mo together. The three players who had been fleeing ahead also heard the commotion behind them and, mustering their courage, turned to look. They saw the three mutated demon rats pounce simultaneously at Qin Mo's feet as he swung his wooden sword. 120. A red number appeared, and the first rat died instantly. At the same moment, the remaining two rats sank their teeth into Qin Mo's thigh. 21. 21. Two red numbers rose up, and roughly 1/5 of Qin Mo's health bar vanished in an instant. Enduring the tearing bites of the rats, Qin Mo swung his sword twice more. 120. 120. Two more red numbers appeared in succession, and two more rat corpses joined the others on the ground. Altogether, Qin Mo had lost 63 health points. At this moment, a system prompt popped up before him: quest complete. 20 corrupted rats slain. Qin Mo picked up the few copper coins dropped by the mutated demon rats, then turned and walked away. The three players who had just been chased by the rats now stood rooted to the spot, eyes wide with shock. What did I do? He took down each mutated demon rat with a single sword strike. We're also swordsmen, and we're also using wooden swords. I had to hack at a mutated demon rat more than 10 times just to kill one. And he killed them with just one swing. He looked like he was only level 2. Even at level 2, it shouldn't be possible to deal that much damage. Did he coat his sword with some kind of deadly rat poison or something? At this moment, the game Destiny had just been launched for over half an hour. The World Channel was bustling with excitement as many players eagerly discussed their experiences within the game. Some were debating the strength of exclusive talents, others were discussing the differences between various professions, while some were talking about low-tier equipment. Of course, during this period, the most discussed topic was still about the novice quests. Holy crap! I chased a mutated rat for nearly 10 minutes, and just as I managed to bring its health down, it escaped. Everyone be careful. More than 10 mutated rats will attack people. The damage is insane. Damn it. I've already been killed by rats twice. There are also some aberrant magic rats among them. Each will actively attack humans. I've encountered them too. Their attack and defense are higher than ordinary mutated rats. They're incredibly difficult to deal with. I just saw a godly player take down an aberrant magic rat with a single strike of a wooden sword. Hey. The screen was filled with question marks. Is that for real? An aberrant magic rat has 120 health points and 8 armor. One hit to take down an aberrant magic rat. Does he have 128 attack power? Come on, even if you're bragging, at least have some grounding. We have a player in our guild who got an attack power bonus talent and drew a bronze-grade iron sword from the newbie gift pack, and he only has 38 attack power. Don't believe rumors, don't spread them, everyone disperse. The tales of Qin Mo's swift defeat of the aberrant magic rat did not cause much of a stir in the World Channel. After all, it sounded too fantastical for someone to have over 100 attack power just half an hour after the game's launch. It didn't seem real at all. On the other hand, Qin Mo had returned to Longxi town and found the hunchbacked old man in the center of the square. Qin Mo spoke up. I'm here to submit my quest. The hunchbacked old man looked at Qin Mo in surprise. You finished off 20 mutated rats so quickly. You have to know that before Qin Mo, the hunchbacked old man had issued thousands of novice quests, and those players had not yet returned. Qin Mo had been gone for less than 20 minutes, and was the first to return to submit his quest. After checking the quest, the hunchbacked old man nodded and said, "Very good, thank you for your effort. Young man, please choose one from these two options as your reward." As his words fell, two options appeared before Qin Mo: 1 damage bronze, sword level 2 quality whiteboard attack 5, 2, 200 silver coins, 3, 200 experience points, 1 broken bamboo armor level 2 quality whiteboard defense 4, 2, 300 silver coins, 3, 200 experience points. Both options were items of little use to Qin Mo, along with some silver coins and a bit of experience. As the first reward for a novice's quest, this was already considered decent. However, Qin Mo found it rather unimpressive. After some hesitation, Qin Mo tentatively asked, "How about this? I don't want the equipment or silver coins. Could you trade it for 20 gold coins?" The hunchbacked old man replied, Was the young man this greedy? For most people, Qin Mo's actions were hard to understand. You have to know that 20 gold coins could barely buy a level 2 whiteboard equipment. Yet Qin Mo was currently dressed in starting cloth and wielding a starting wooden sword with no enhancements. Wouldn't it be better to take a bronze sword or a piece of bamboo armor? But for Qin Mo, a level 2 whiteboard equipment indeed didn't appeal to him as much as 20 gold coins. After hesitating for a few seconds, the hunchbacked old man finally spoke. "Are you sure?" Qin Mo nodded sure. The hunchbacked old man gently shook his head. "Very well." With that, the hunchbacked old man waved his hand, and a beam of white light entered Qin Mo's body. A system prompt immediately popped up in front of Qin Mo. You have received 20 gold coins. You have received 200 experience points. At the same time, a golden light fell, and Qin Mo leveled up. Now checking his attribute panel, ID Mo cool level 3 health, 240 mana, 180 attack, 152 defense, 12 magic resistance, 12 attack speed, 1's attributes strength 16, Constitution 12, Agility 12, Spirit 12, Defense 12. Exclusive talent Bounty Hunter. Active skills, none. Passive skills, Wealthy, Spendthrift. Third, level 152 attack power. No one would probably believe it if they heard. It's simply absurd. While Qin Mo was checking his attribute panel, the hunchbacked old man spoke again. Young man, since you can easily slay 20 mutated rats, you must be quite capable. I have another task I would like to ask you to help with. Near the Dragon Trace ruins to the west of the town, a group of low-tier monsters known as bloodthirsty rats have appeared. The rats have been mutated, perhaps related to these bloodthirsty rats. Could you help clear them out? As the hunchbacked old man finished speaking, another system prompt appeared before Qin Mo. Newbie Quest 2. Kill 30 bloodthirsty rats 030. Qin Mo decisively accepted the quest and turned to head west. After all, at the beginning of the game, the large amount of experience points provided by novice quests is the fastest way to level up. Once he reached level 5, Qin Mo could consider triggering hidden quests. After all, having lived through a past life, Qin Mo remembered these hidden quests in the early stages of the game very clearly. Soon he arrived at the cornfield to the west of Longxi town. After passing through a large expanse of cornfield and walking along a dirt road for 20 minutes, a desolate ruin appeared before him. This was the Dragon Trace ruins. After walking a few steps into the ruins, Qin Mo quickly spotted a rat the size of a wild cat. Bloodthirsty rat, level 3, health 180, attack 38, defense 105, armor, magic resistance, skill pounce. This rat had sharp teeth and was covered in red fur, looking exceedingly fierce. While Qin Mo was checking its attributes, the bloodthirsty rat also noticed him and immediately lunged at him. When it was 4 or 5 meters away from Qin Mo, the bloodthirsty rat suddenly leaped up, aiming for Qin Mo's throat. This was the bloodthirsty rat's skill pounce. Leaping to bite the opponent's throat can cause 1.5 times attack damage. Qin Mo had already been prepared. As the bloodthirsty rat jumped, he took a step to the right. In the next second, the two bloodthirsty rats missed their target and landed to Qin Mo's left. The bloodthirsty rat froze in place, seemingly still processing what had happened. Qin Mo immediately swung his wooden sword, striking at the bloodthirsty rat. 142, a red number popped up, and the bloodthirsty rat's health bar was instantly reduced to a quarter. Before the bloodthirsty rat could react, Qin Mo swung his sword again. The bloodthirsty rat died instantly. You have killed a bloodthirsty rat and received 12 experience points. This was the experience players from the past had summarized to deal with bloodthirsty rats. As long as you moved to the right at the moment they jumped, you could avoid pounce. And after pounce missed, the bloodthirsty rat would enter a brief state of rigidity. Mastering this technique with proper execution, one could achieve damage-free monster hunting. Of course, the prerequisite was not to be surrounded by a swarm of rats. For ordinary novice players dodging at the moment the bloodthirsty rat activated its skill was not easy. But for Qin Mo, what he lacked the least was combat experience and skills. Next, Qin Mo continued to use this technique, constantly searching for isolated bloodthirsty rats. You have killed a bloodthirsty rat and received 12 experience points. You have killed a bloodthirsty rat and received 12 experience points. As the system prompts continued to pop up, Qin Mo quickly killed enough 30 bloodthirsty rats. The experience bar had risen to 90, only 40 experience points away from leveling up to level 4. At this point, Qin Mo was still at full health, having killed 30 bloodthirsty rats without taking any damage. Quest completed. Qin Mo turned back towards Longxi town. 20 minutes later, a faster group of players also arrived at the Dragon Trace ruins to start slaying bloodthirsty rats. Soon the world channel was filled with wails. What the hell? What kind of creature is this bloodthirsty rat? The damage is so high. Wah! A rat that big jumped up and bit my neck. I'm just a little girl, I'm so scared. Damn, this game is too insane. Even low-tier wild monsters are this strong. How are we supposed to fight them? I've been bitten by rats for the 4th time today. As players in the World Channel discussed how challenging it was to defeat the bloodthirsty rat, Qin Mo had already returned to Longxi town. He arrived at the central square with ease, finding the hunchbacked old man by the fountain. Qin Mo spoke. I've returned to turn in my quest. The hunchbacked old man looked at Qin Mo in surprise. So soon? After verifying the quest results, the hunchbacked old man couldn't help but praise. Young man, you are indeed stronger than I imagined. Thank you for your contributions to Longxi town. This is your well-deserved reward. After finishing his words, the hunchbacked old man raised his hand, and a beam of white light entered Qin Mo's body. A golden light descended immediately. Qin Mo leveled up to level 4. Moreover, the experience bar continued to rise to 80 before stopping. With just 120 experience points left, Qin Mo could level up. Meanwhile, a system notification popped up in front of Qin Mo. You have gained 520 experience points. You have obtained a rusty iron sword. You have obtained 2x intermediate life potions. You have obtained 2x intermediate mana potions. You have obtained 20 gold coins. This time the quest rewards were much more generous than the last. Qin Mo took a glance at the rusty iron sword. Rusty Iron Sword level 5 quality basic attack 15. Seeing this attack power, Qin Mo immediately raised his head and said, could I exchange the weapons and potions for equivalent gold coins? The hunchbacked old man was taken aback, sizing Qin Mo up, then glancing at the initial wooden sword in his hand. Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. This world is vast. Weapons and potions are indispensable. Qin Mo nodded. I know. So can it be exchanged for gold coins or not? The hunchbacked old man was momentarily stunned, then sighed helplessly. This young man was good in every way except he was too greedy for money. All right, I can exchange it. Let's go by the shop price. Soon a system notification popped up in front of Qin Mo. You have lost the rusty iron sword. You have lost 2x intermediate life potions. You have lost 2x intermediate mana potions. Following this, the hunchbacked old man handed Qin Mo a bag of gold coins. You have obtained 130 gold coins. Qin Mo remembered that an intermediate potion cost 5 gold coins each, so 4 bottles would be 20 gold coins. By this calculation, this level 5 basic weapon was worth 110 gold coins. This sword added 15 points to attack power. And with 110 gold coins under the effect of wealthy, it could increase 110 points of attack power. Even a fool knows how to choose. As for the potions, Qin Mo naturally needed them. However, by converting them into equivalent gold coins first, and then spending the gold to buy, he could trigger the defensive effect of spending like water right. A perfect deal. After storing the gold coins, Qin Mo eagerly looked at his attack power. It had already risen to 286 points. A level 4 swordsman with 286 points of attack power. This was just over an hour after the server opened. At this stage, among all players, there were probably very few who could withstand a single sword strike from Qin Mo. What a thrill. At this time, the hunchbacked old man spoke again. Young man, I have another commission I'd like to ask you to help with. The town mayor's daughter, Miss Gallus, was bitten by a poisonous bloodthirsty rat yesterday and has been in a coma ever since. The town's physician said that it requires 10 tails from mutated bloodthirsty rats to brew an antidote. Can you help? Meanwhile, a system notification popped up in front of Qin Mo. Beginner Task 3. Collect 10 tails from mutated bloodthirsty rats 010. Qin Mo nodded. Leave it to me. After saying this, Qin Mo turned and left. He did not rush to complete the task, but instead found the town's shop. I'd like 6 bottles of life potions. The shopkeeper glanced at Qin Mo. Young man, that will be 30 gold coins. Today, countless players had come to the shop to buy things, but upon hearing the price, they left dejectedly. In the shopkeeper's view, this was probably just another player who could ask, but couldn't afford it. Qin Mo calmly placed 30 gold coins on the counter. The shopkeeper was taken aback, immediately revealing a friendly smile. Dear guest, please wait a moment. Qin Mo glanced at him, somewhat speechless. In this day and age, even NPCs were so materialistic. Soon the shopkeeper took out 6 small green potion bottles and handed them to Qin Mo. Qin Mo stored the potions and took another look at his character panel. IDMO Co level 4 health, 260 mana, 195 attack power, 256 armor, 43 magic resistance, 43 attack speed, 1's attribute strength 18, constitution 13, agility 13, spirit 13, defense 43, exclusive talent bounty hunter, active skills, none, passive skills, wealthy, spending like water. After spending 30 gold coins, the attack power dropped by 30 points. Under the effect of spending like water, the defense attribute increased directly by 30 points. It is no exaggeration to say that at this stage there were probably very few players whose attack power could exceed 43. Most physical players wouldn't even be able to break through Qin Mo's defense. Even magical damage, Qin Mo could withstand quite a bit. Thinking of this, Qin Mo felt a surge of excitement and quickly walked westward. The tails of mutated bloodthirsty rats could drop only by killing mutated bloodthirsty rats. And these mutated bloodthirsty rats could be found deep within the Dragon Trace ruins. Entering the depths of the Dragon Trace ruins meant facing the risk of being besieged by hordes of rats. Qin Mo remembered that in his past life, players needed to prepare a large number of recovery potions and form teams to enter the Dragon Trace ruins. However, for Qin Mo, now forming a team was completely unnecessary. He might not even need potions. Soon Qin Mo returned to the Dragon Trace ruins once again. At this moment, the Dragon Trace ruins were filled with players being chased in all directions by bloodthirsty rats. Qin Mo ignored them and walked into the ruins. Soon several bloodthirsty rats spotted Qin Mo and screamed as they pounced towards him. Qin Mo skillfully dodged the bloodthirsty rat's skill bite and swung his sword to strike. 180, a red number popped up and a bloodthirsty rat died on the spot. With Qin Mo's current attack power, the damage dealt to bloodthirsty rats was already overflowing. The remaining bloodthirsty rats, regaining their senses, continued to leap up to bite Qin Mo's thigh. However, without the skill bite to enhance their attack, these bloodthirsty rats' damage couldn't breach his defense at all. 0-0. One by one white zeros popped up, and Qin Mo's health bar showed no sign of decrease. With a swift motion, he swung the wooden sword, and every strike could instantly kill a bloodthirsty rat. Soon these bloodthirsty rats were completely cleared by Qin Mo. He continued deeper into the ruins, effortlessly slaying every bloodthirsty rat he encountered along the way. Unfortunately, Qin Mo's level had already surpassed that of the bloodthirsty rats, and no experience could be gained from defeating them anymore. At this moment, at the edge of the Dragon Trace ruins, a few players had just managed to kill 3 bloodthirsty rats with great difficulty. At this moment, one of the players suddenly shouted, "What the hell? What is that?" The others turned to look, seeing a figure in the distance walking deeper into the ruins with a sword in hand. Around that figure, no less than 20 bloodthirsty rats had gathered, continuously biting him. That person seemed completely unfazed by the bites of the bloodthirsty rats, calmly swinging his sword, taking down one bloodthirsty rat with each strike. Holy crap! Who is this god? Is he soloing a horde of bloodthirsty rats? One sword for each bloodthirsty rat. Walking through all these bloodthirsty rats without a care in the world. Are we even playing the same game? Unfortunately, it's too far away to see what that person looks like. I feel like this shouldn't be a player, that might be some kind of NPC that we will encounter later. Indeed, the server has only been open for less than an hour and a half. How could any player be this formidable? On the other side, Qin Mo tirelessly walked deeper into the Dragon Trace ruins. Suddenly, everything around him fell silent, and not a single bloodthirsty rat remained. After walking for a while longer, Qin Mo finally spotted another bloodthirsty rat. However, this one was clearly different from the previous ones. It was a large rat with a bloody red body, 3 bone spikes on its back, and 5 centimeter long sharp claws on its hands. Mutated bloodthirsty rat, level 4 health, 240 attack, 50 defense, 189 armor, magic resistance, skill, toxic attack. The mutated bloodthirsty rat also noticed Qin Mo, letting out a sharp cry as it lunged towards him. Without hesitation, Qin Mo swung his sword at it. A red number jumped up. The mutated bloodthirsty rat was left with only 2 hit points. At the same time, it stood upright and clawed at Qin Mo's thigh. Qin Mo nimbly stepped back half a step, dodging the rat's attack, and countered with another swing of his sword. A red number appeared, and the rat's health bar was completely emptied, letting out a scream as it dropped 8 copper coins. A system notification popped up: "You have killed 1 mutated bloodthirsty rat and gained 16 experience points." Unfortunately, this rat did not drop its tail. Qin Mo picked up the 8 copper coins from the ground and continued forward. Soon 2 more mutated bloodthirsty rats emerged from the rubble. The 2 mutated bloodthirsty rats charged at Qin Mo simultaneously, and he struck one with his sword. A red damage number appeared, and that rat was left with barely any health. At the same time, the 2 rats clawed at Qin Mo's thigh. 2 red damage numbers popped up. With Qin Mo's high armor, the 50 attack power of the mutated bloodthirsty rat only dealt 7 points. In fact, the mutated bloodthirsty rat's passive skill, toxic attack, would inflict an additional 15 magic damage per second for 5 seconds upon hitting a target. However, Qin Mo's magic resistance was as high as 43, completely immunizing him from it. He continued to swing his sword at the severely weakened rat. With a cry, the bloodthirsty rat fell dead, dropping a tail. At the same time, the remaining rat lunged at Qin Mo's agility attribute was not high, giving him only a 20 chance to dodge the rat's normal attacks. He lost another 7 health points and struck back at the rat. The mutated bloodthirsty rat attacked again, but Qin Mo dodged and delivered another blow. The rat was also killed, dropping another tail. Lucky. Generally, 1 tail drops for every 5 mutated bloodthirsty rats. Qin Mo encountered 2 that dropped tails while only losing 21 health points. According to the game mechanism of Destiny, players can naturally recover health equal to their constitution value every minute. Qin Mo's constitution is currently 13, meaning he can recover 13 health points per minute. The lost health can be fully recovered in under 2 minutes. Qin Mo picked up the 2 rat tails from the ground and continued forward. Soon Qin Mo encountered several more mutated bloodthirsty rats. You have killed 1 mutated bloodthirsty rat and gained 16 experience points. You have killed 1 mutated bloodthirsty rat and gained 16 experience points. As system notifications continued to pop up, Qin Mo had consecutively killed 5 mutated bloodthirsty rats. In addition to 1 rat tail and 46 copper coins, Qin Mo also gained 80 experience points. Meanwhile, his health dropped to 198 points, a quarter less. His health was still in a healthy range, far from needing potions. Qin Mo continued walking forward and soon encountered another mutated bloodthirsty rat. 2 seconds later, this mutated bloodthirsty rat was killed and dropped a tail. At the same time, a golden light shone down from above, and Qin Mo leveled up to level 5. In an instant, Qin Mo's health was fully restored. Qin Mo glanced at his character panel ID. Mo cool, level 5, health 280, mana 210, attack power 260, armor 44, magic resistance 44, attack speed 1s, attribute strength 20, constitution 14, agility 14, spirit 14, defense 44, Unique talent bounty hunter active skills, none passive skills wealthy and spendthrift. However, for Qin Mo at this moment, there was one critical improvement. His attack power increased by 4 points. With this increase, he would no longer leave a mutated bloodthirsty rat with 2 hit points after a single strike. He could now kill them with 1 blow. This greatly improved Qin Mo's efficiency in farming monsters. After reviewing his attributes, Qin Mo continued moving forward. Soon 4 more mutated bloodthirsty rats appeared in front of Qin Mo. They charged at him simultaneously, and he swung his sword. A red number jumped up, and the first mutated bloodthirsty rat died, dropping 9 copper coins. Simultaneously, the claws of the other 3 mutated bloodthirsty rats struck Qin Mo, causing 3 red damage numbers to appear as he lost a total of 18 hit points. These 3 mutated bloodthirsty rats dropped 1 rat tail and 25 copper coins. Since Qin Mo's level exceeded that of the rats, he did not gain any experience points. Qin Mo picked up the items on the ground and continued forward. 10 minutes later, he had lost count of how many mutated bloodthirsty rats he had killed. 10 rat tails were finally enough. However, Qin Mo's health was reduced to just 76 points. At this point, he took out a bottle of basic divine potion and drank it. A green light flashed, and a green number popped up above Qin Mo's head, instantly restoring his health to 276 points. After restoring his health, Qin Mo did not intend to return to complete the quest just yet. Instead, he continued deeper into the ruins. By now, he had arrived at the central area of the Dragon Trace ruins. He intended to continue farming mutated bloodthirsty rats here. In his past life, someone had continuously killed 100 mutated bloodthirsty rats in the central area of the Dragon Trace ruins, triggering a hidden boss. Qin Mo's goal was precisely that hidden boss. Soon he found another group of mutated bloodthirsty rats and began to slaughter them. Meanwhile, deep within the Dragon Trace ruins, 4 players were cautiously making their way forward. They were Huiyun Tianyu LV4, Huiyun Yisha LV4, Huiyun Laoing LV4, Huiyun Kuangren LV4. From their IDs, it was clear that these 4 were from the same guild, all at level 4. Moreover, their class composition was quite reasonable, consisting of a warrior, a swordsman, a marksman, and a mage. After only a few steps, a mutated bloodthirsty rat burrowed up from the ground and charged at them ferociously. Without any command, the 4 players began to cooperate seamlessly. The warrior Kuangren stepped forward to bear the damage from the mutated bloodthirsty rat, while the other 3 focused their attacks on it. Various damage numbers popped up rapidly, and the health of the mutated bloodthirsty rat quickly decreased. At this point, most players had only 1 starting skill, and some classes like Qin Mo's swordsman didn't even have a As a result, even though the 4 players focused their fire on the mutated bloodthirsty rat, they were unable to take it down in 1 hit. 2 seconds later, the mutated bloodthirsty rat was left with only 21 hit points. At that moment, 3 of the 4 players halted their attacks, allowing the swordsman Tianyu to deliver the final blow. Tianyu swung a level 3 standard curved sword, striking the rat's back. A red number appeared, and the rat let out a shriek before collapsing to the ground. At the same time, a golden light fell, and Tianyu leveled up to level 5. Although these 4 players were grouped together, they were not in a party, so they did not share experience points. Thus, the experience points from killing this mutated bloodthirsty rat were entirely absorbed by Tianyu. In fact, these 4 were the elite members of the Huiyun Guild. It was precisely through methods like this that they quickly completed previous tasks and arrived here ahead of most players. Big brother, you finally reached level 5. Now most people are still below level 4. Big brother Tian, you should be the first to reach level 5 on the server. Of course, our guild has 300 members in this novice village. Who else has such conditions? Alright, now it's time for you 3 to level up. The Hallyu Guild has already made it over here. Let's quickly farm monsters and make sure you all reach level 5 before they do. It would be best if we can collect 40 rat tails too. The others nodded simultaneously and continued forward to farm monsters. However, this time the final kill was given to the marksman player named Yisha. 20 minutes later, after some concentrated feeding from the others, Yisha was just a little experience away from reaching level 5. At that moment, a beastly roar suddenly echoed from not far away. The 4 of them paused for a moment, looking in the direction of the sound. After a brief thought, Tianyu smiled and said there must be a boss up ahead. Let's go check it out. At the center of the Dragon Trace ruins, Qin Mo was in a frenzy. In the past half hour, over 100 mutated bloodthirsty rats had already perished beneath his wooden sword. 5 minutes ago, a massive swarm of mutated bloodthirsty rats suddenly surged from underground, numbering over 500. However, these mutated rats only dared to watch Qin Mo from a distance, none daring to approach. Then the ground began to tremble. A roar reminiscent of both a lion's roar and a tiger's growl echoed from below. Qin Mo stood at the edge with anticipation as the hidden boss he was searching for had finally been triggered. At the very center of the ruins, the ground started to crack and slowly collapse. It felt like a minor earthquake. The commotion lasted for several minutes. Then a piercing scream erupted as a beast the size of a wild bull emerged from the ground. The beast shook off the dust from its body, revealing its true form. It was a gigantic rat. Its face bore a human-like ferocity with sharp, long fangs, and the fur on its body stood up like steel needles. Roar! The mutated rat king let out a roar that was entirely uncharacteristic of a rat beginning to pace back and forth in the center of the ruins. Once a wild boss appears, as long as no one attacks it and stays out of its aggro range, it won't retaliate. At this moment, Tianyu and his group of 4 from the Fire Cloud Guild also arrived following the sound. Wow, it really is a level 5 boss. And it appeared in the wild. This is a hidden boss. Hurry, inform all the brothers above level 4 in the guild to come over. This boss is ours for the taking. The group chatted excitedly, as if they could already see the incredibly rich rewards from the boss. Tianyu and the others were completely focused on the boss only, then noticing Qin Mo standing aside. Upon seeing that Qin Mo was also level 5, Tianyu's expression froze for a moment. Why was he also? Tianyu had always thought he was the only player to reach level 5, and he had just barely achieved it with the combined effort of the entire guild. How could a random solo player encountered on the roadside also be level 5? After a moment of shock, Tianyu quickly smiled and asked, "Brother, did you discover this boss?" Qin Mo replied expressionlessly, "Is there something you need?" Tianyu's eyes flashed with annoyance, but he quickly suppressed it. Beside him, Yisha spoke up, "Let me introduce you. This is Tianyu, the vice president of our Fire Cloud Guild." The Fire Cloud Guild is ranked among the top 10 guilds in major online games worldwide. It is said that the founder behind it is the grandson of the chairman of the Yun Group, which is a major conglomerate ranked among the top 500 globally, making it very powerful. Basically, in any game, as long as the name of the Fire Cloud Guild is mentioned, most players would show some respect. After introducing themselves, Tianyu and his group awaited Qin Mo's reaction with pride on their faces. However, Qin Mo merely glanced at him indifferently and said, "Oh, Tianyu, Yisha, where did this clueless rookie come from? We are the Fire Cloud Guild, you know. Don't you know the Fire Cloud Guild? What does O mean?" Tianyu felt as if he had been choked, forcing a smile as he continued, "Brother, you can't handle this boss alone. How about we form a party? Let's hold it off until our guild brothers arrive, and then we can all focus fire." Qin Mo simply shook his head and replied, "No need, I can handle it myself." Tianyu was taken aback, "But this is a level 5 hidden boss. How can you fight it alone?" Qin Mo replied, "That's not your concern. I'm going to engage the boss now, so stay back. If you dare to have ideas about the boss, I'll kill you." Qin Mo's tone was calm, lacking any threatening undertone. After speaking, he turned and prepared to approach. Hearing this, Tianyu immediately scoffed, "You're asking for trouble. You think just because I'm being polite you're someone?" Tianyu declared coldly, "Everyone attack together and take him down." As soon as he finished speaking, the 4 of them moved simultaneously. Among the 4, Tianyu, the only one at level 5, took the lead, swinging his low-quality iron sword toward Qin Mo's back. At the same time, the archer Yisha shot an arrow at Qin Mo. Then the mage Eagle cast an initial fireball aimed at Qin Mo. Finally, the warrior Madman charged in with a wooden shield, preparing to withstand Qin Mo's counterattack while swinging his sword. I must say the coordination of these 4 was quite impressive. They completed all the above actions within a second. 0000, 4 pale zeros popped up in sequence. Tianyu and the others were left dumbfounded. What was going on? He was a swordsman with a full 42 points of attack power. How could he not break through the defense with a single strike? Why? If he had high armor, that would be understandable, but Eagle's initial fireball spell also had 40 points of magic damage, yet it didn't break through the defense either. This person clearly had no equipment on him. Just as the 4 were in shock, Qin Mo turned to look at them. Without any unnecessary words, he swung. Madman immediately raised his wooden shield in defense. 240, a red damage number popped up. Madman's health dropped to just 60 points. Damn, Madman couldn't help but curse. As a warrior, he had 300 health points and 20 points of armor. How could he feel as if he were made of paper before Qin Mo? That was just a basic wooden sword without any enhancements. Is the damage of a level 5 swordsman really this high? Madman didn't have time to think further when Qin Mo's second strike came down. 60, another red number appeared. Madman died on the spot. The remaining 3, Tianyu included, were completely stunned. What the hell was this monster? Others couldn't even scratch him, yet he attacked others like slicing an artery. How on earth are we supposed to fight this? After finishing off Madman, Qin Mo turned his gaze to the nearest Tianyu. Tianyu's scalp tingled, and he hurriedly shouted, "Wait. Brother, it's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding." Qin Mo ignored him and swung his sword. 246, a red number appeared, leaving Tianyu with only 24 health points. Tianyu panicked and turned to flee. Qin Mo chased after him without a second thought. Both were level 5 and had no shoes. Given such close distance, Tianyu stood no chance of escaping. Sweat poured down his face. Although being killed in the game would allow him to respawn, he would drop a level each time. He had only just reached level 5 with great difficulty and was unwilling to be killed so easily. As he saw Qin Mo raising the wooden sword, Tian Yu quickly shouted, "You can't kill me. Otherwise you'll be making an enemy of the entire Fire Cloud Guild." 24, a red number, jumped up and Tian Yu's voice abruptly stopped. Tian Yu fell to the ground as a corpse, dropping a level 3 low-quality iron sword. Watching Madman and Tian Yu get killed, the remaining Yisha and Eagle turned to run. However, Qin Mo had no intention of letting them go and chased after them with his wooden sword. Both were only level 4 and had no shoes, so their movement speed could not compare to the level 5 Qin Mo. Not far from their escape, Qin Mo caught up and dealt with them one by one. The mage and the archer, being fragile, had no chance to resist against Qin Mo. For Qin Mo, since they wished to kill him, there was no reason for him to hold back. As for the retaliation from the Fire Cloud Guild, Qin Mo truly did not take it to heart. The only regret he felt was that the 4 of them dropped only one level 3 low-quality equipment. In Destiny, killing players has a 50 chance to drop equipment, but the server had only just opened for a little over 2 hours, and everyone had very little equipment. Qin Mo picked up the level 3 low-quality iron sword, disdainfully cursing Penny Pincher. Qin Mo casually tossed the iron sword into his backpack and turned around to deal with the mutated Rat King. Just as he turned, he noticed several figures peeking from behind the crumbling walls not far away. Are they trying to steal the boss? Qin Mo thought for a moment and directly walked towards the figures. First, he needed to clear the trouble before engaging the boss. Seeing Qin Mo striding over the 4 people behind the wall, no longer hid and stepped forward voluntarily. Haoyue Bolin LV5, Haoyue Jingtao LV4, Haoyue Hailing LV4, Haoyue Xiangyong LV4. Upon seeing the IDs, Qin Mo understood that these people were from the Haoyue Guild. The Haoyue Guild is backed by the Mingyue Group, which is also among the global top 500 companies. The strength of the Haoyue Guild is on par with Tianyu's Huiyun Guild. In his previous life, both of these guilds were ranked in the top 10 among super guilds in Destiny. It goes without saying that Bolin and the others had also leveled up through feeding from their entire guild, which is why they appeared here at this time. Seeing Qin Mo approaching with a grim expression, Bolin hurriedly said, "Friend, don't misunderstand, we mean no." They had arrived here shortly after Tianyu and his group, so they had witnessed everything that had just happened clearly. Perhaps at first Bolin and his group had the intention of teaming up with Qin Mo to fight the BOSS, but upon seeing what happened to Tianyu and the others, they quickly dismissed such a suicidal thought. For a godlike player like Qin Mo, Bolin did not intend to offend him for no reason. He preferred to get on good terms. As Qin Mo stood before him, Bolin wore a friendly smile. "Friend, we all see your strength. If you are willing, the Haoyue Guild." Qin Mo directly interrupted Bolin, "I am not willing." Bolin was taken aback and awkwardly cleared his throat twice. Qin Mo continued, "Either back off, or I will send you back to the respawn point." Bolin smiled bitterly, "We will step back now." With that, Bolin led the others away. After walking a distance, Jingtao said indignantly, "Vice President, no matter how strong he is, he's just a lone player. Why should we lower ourselves like this for the Haoyue Guild?" Hailing also spoke out in frustration, "Exactly. That kid is too arrogant." Bolin calmly shook his head, "He has the capital to be arrogant. We basically have a list of everyone from major conglomerates, and the IDMO coup is not on it." Jingtao was puzzled. "Doesn't that just prove this kid doesn't have a background? Why should we be so polite to him?" Bolin replied, "No background, yet leveling up faster than us, and has greater combat power than us. Don't you think that's scarier than any background?" Hearing Bolin's words, the expressions of the others changed simultaneously. This. Eventually, Bolin and his group stood at a distance after walking away, looking at the center of the ruins. On Qin Mo's side, after seeing Bolin and the others leave a sufficient distance, he turned and walked towards the mutated Rat King. Hidden bosses like this should be dealt with quickly. The longer he delayed, the more troublesome it would become with more people arriving. Soon Qin Mo reached the central area. The mutated Rat King immediately entered a state of battle and let out a roar. Mutated Rat King boss, level 5, grade black iron, health 2800, attack 150, defense 60-30, armor, magic resistance skills, Fong charge, savage claw strike. I must say the attributes of the mutated Rat King as a hidden boss are indeed a bit monstrous. The mutated Rat King can be considered one of the strongest monsters among the first 5 levels in Destiny. Just over 2 hours after the game opened, most players would only avoid the mutated Rat King if they encountered it. Except for Qin Mo, probably no one would foolishly attempt to solo the mutated Rat King at this time. Even with 260 attack power and 44 armor, Qin Mo would only meet a dead end trying to face the mutated Rat King Hedon. However, Qin Mo had his own methods. In his past life, players had suffered a lot when they first discovered the mutated Rat King. It wasn't until later that someone observed the characteristics of the mutated Rat King and found a way to deal with it. The skills of the mutated Rat King were its weaknesses. As long as one grasped the timing and operated skillfully, both skills of the mutated Rat King could be dodged. After avoiding its skills, the mutated Rat King would fall into a state of dizziness or rigidity for varying durations. This is the moment to attack. And when it dispels the negative state and begins to attack, just keep running and waiting for its skill cooldown. This method is actually quite extreme, requiring high skill and timing. However, as one of the top players in his past life, Qin Mo was not lacking in skill and practical experience. At this moment, just as Qin Mo finished looking at the attributes, the mutated Rat King had already moved. It let out a roar and charged towards Qin Mo with heavy steps. Fang Charge. This skill can deal physical damage equivalent to 3 times the mutated Rat King's attack power. Qin Mo seized the timing and stepped left just as the mutated Rat King was about to collide with him. Boom! The mutated Rat King's bullseyed body crashed into the nearby crumbling wall. The wall collapsed, raising a cloud of dust. The mutated Rat King shook its head in the dust, having knocked itself into a state of dizziness. Seizing the opportunity, Qin Mo quickly followed up and swung his wooden sword. 200, a red number popped up, and the mutated Rat King's health bar decreased slightly. At this moment, the mutated Rat King had not yet recovered from its dizzy state. Qin Mo continued to swing his wooden sword in attack. 200. He silently counted the seconds as he attacked. 6 seconds. After the 6th strike, Qin Mo immediately took a step back. In this wave, Qin Mo dealt a total of 1200 damage to the mutated Rat King. Just then, the mutated Rat King dispelled its dizzy state. It shook its head, stood upright, and raised its claws high towards Qin Mo. Savage Claw Strike. If it hits, it will cause damage equal to double the mutated Rat King's attack power. Qin Mo again seized the timing and dodged this strike. The mutated Rat King's attack missed its claws, heavily landing on the ground, putting it back into a rigid state. Quick as a flash, Qin Mo seized the chance to strike again. 200, another red number popped up, and the mutated Rat King's health bar had decreased by half. This time, the mutated Rat King's rigid state lasted only 1 second. Qin Mo had no opportunity to strike a second time. The mutated Rat King turned around and swiped its claws at Qin Mo. 106, a red number popped up, and Qin Mo's health bar suddenly dropped significantly. At the same time, Qin Mo decisively turned and ran. The mutated Rat King's massive body lost the agility of a rat, and its movement speed was slightly slower than Qin Mo's. As Qin Mo ran, he silently counted in his mind. 3, 4, 5. At the moment he counted to 5 seconds, Qin Mo stopped. 5 seconds was precisely the cooldown time for the mutated Rat King's skill Savage Claw Strike. The mutated Rat King stood upright again, raising its claws to strike down. Qin Mo repeated the maneuver, dodging this strike at the right moment, and seizing the opportunity during the mutated Rat King's 1 second of rigidity to strike again. 201 seconds later, the mutated Rat King again swiped its claws and hit Qin Mo. 106, a red number popped up, and Qin Mo's health bar was down to a quarter. Qin Mo decisively turned and continued to run while pulling out a bottle of basic life potion and drank it. 200, a green light flashed, and Qin Mo's health was nearly full. Qin Mo continued to run while silently counting. 5 seconds later, both of the mutated Rat King's skills finished cooling down. The mutated Rat King, which was chasing Qin Mo, suddenly stopped and let out a roar. Then the mutated Rat King suddenly accelerated, charging like a crazed bull. Fang Charge was coming again. Qin Mo stood his ground, watching as the mutated Rat King rapidly approached, and in the final second, boom. This time the mutated Rat King crashed through 3 walls. Qin Mo ignored the dust being kicked up and rushed into attack. 200. The red damage numbers kept popping up, and the mutated Rat King's health was visibly decreasing. As the mutant Mouse King fell to the ground, a system notification appeared before Qin Mo. You have killed the hidden boss, Mutant Mouse King. You have gained 1200 experience points. Qin Mo's experience bar immediately began to surge. Shortly after, a golden light descended. Qin Mo leveled up to level 6. This was not the end. His experience bar continued to rise rapidly. Another golden light fell. Qin Mo leveled up to level 7. Since Qin Mo faced the boss alone, there was no need to share experience points with anyone. The high experience points from the hidden boss allowed Qin Mo to level up twice in a row. Hidden bosses are indeed more rewarding. Qin Mo sighed. Turning around, he saw a plethora of items scattered beside the corpse of the mutant Mouse King. Excitedly rubbing his hands, he approached to collect them. System notifications continuously popped up. You have obtained the item Fang Blade. You have obtained the item Claw Necklace. You have obtained the item Mystic Scroll Fragment. Qin Mo glanced at the item attributes. Fang Blade level 5 grade black iron attack power 30. Claw Necklace level 5 grade black iron attack power 10 agility 2. Mystic Scroll Fragment description: collect all fragments of the Mystic Scroll to unlock the unknown Mystic Realm. 2 pieces of level 5 black iron equipment is quite a significant haul. Moreover, as items dropped from a hidden boss, their attributes are slightly better than ordinary equipment of the same level. A level 5 black iron weapon available in stores only adds 24 attack power. Qin Mo equipped both items on the spot, but seemed somewhat unsatisfied. It's a pity that they can't be exchanged for gold directly. As for the Mystic Scroll fragment, it's a rare item that cannot be easily obtained. Once the entire Mystic Scroll is collected, the rewards upon unlocking the Mystic Realm will far exceed those of dungeons of the same level. With a vast amount of experience and 3 decent items, this hidden boss encounter was indeed worthwhile. At that moment, another system notification popped up before Qin Mo. You have achieved the first kill of a level 5 boss and the first kill of a level 5 hidden boss. Would you like to publish an announcement? Publishing the announcement will grant you 10 reputation points. Qin Mo decisively chose to publish it. Reputation is quite useful in Destiny. Many hidden quests require a sufficient amount of reputation points to trigger. The next moment, a bold system announcement appeared in the World channel. Congratulations to player Moku for achieving the first kill of a level 5 boss and the first kill of a level 5 hidden boss. Details of the first kill. Congratulations to player Moku for achieving the first kill of a level 5 boss and the first kill of a level 5 hidden boss. Details of the first kill. Usually system announcements are repeated 3 times. However, since Qin Mo achieved 2 first kill achievements at once, the system announcement was repeated 6 times in a row. The World channel instantly erupted. What the heck? A system announcement was triggered. Who is this god? Is this even fair? I am still fighting with level 2 mice while this god has already claimed the first kill of a level 5 boss. Pay attention. It's the first kill of a level 5 boss and the first kill of a level 5 hidden boss double achievement. It's only been a little over 2 hours since the server opened. This god is too fast. This is probably the work of some major guild. Ordinary players can't level up this quickly. No. If you look at the details, this god single-handedly took down a level 5 hidden boss. What the heck? Impressive. This big shot is impressive. I've been bitten by mice 7 times today, or I think I want to quit the game. Qin Mo paid no attention to the content in the World channel and turned to return to Longxi town to complete his quest. Just as he turned around, he saw 4 members of the Haoyue guild, including Bo Lan, walking towards him. Bo Lan immediately shouted, "You're amazing god." The others, including Jing Tao, looked at Qin Mo with admiration. They had witnessed Qin Mo take down the mutant Mouse King the whole time. Setting aside Qin Mo's frighteningly high damage, just his smooth and extreme pulling and operations were enough to impress anyone. Someone like him would undoubtedly be a core force in a top-tier guild. Bo Lan tentatively asked, "God, you're so strong, have you considered joining a guild? Our Haoyue guild is one of the top guilds in the server, if you're willing." Before Bo Lan could finish, Qin Mo decisively shook his head, not interested. Bo Lan was taken aback, but persisted. God, the server just opened and guild advantages aren't very apparent yet. Over time, the resources and strength of the guild will far surpass what an individual can compare to. Qin Mo continued to shake his head, showing no interest. He was well aware of the guild's advantages. However, for the current Qin Mo, it seemed he didn't need them that much. Having lived again, Qin Mo possessed various resource information that no guild starting from scratch could compare. Qin Mo's greatest advantage lay in his powerful, unique talent, which was his biggest trump card and secret. The more he interacted with others, the higher the risk of exposure. Moreover, joining a guild would inevitably lead to some restrictions. Qin Mo preferred to remain a free and easy independent player. Seeing that Qin Mo was completely unyielding, Bo Lan still did not lose hope. God, how about this? Let's add each other as friends first, just to be friends, and we can look out for each other if any trouble arises. Qin Mo was about to shake his head in refusal, but Bo Lan continued, "Even if you don't join the guild, we can cooperate in the future if the opportunity arises. You might encounter inconveniences on your own. Our guild has plenty of people and resources, and we might be able to help you." Upon hearing this, Qin Mo paused slightly. If that's the case, it might not be a bad idea. Bo Lan's eyes lit up with excitement as he saw Qin Mo finally relenting. Qin Mo then said, "I have a few pieces of equipment I want to sell. Are you interested?" Bo Lan was taken aback. Selling equipment. What kind of strategy is this? After a second of confusion, Bo Lan quickly nodded, "Sure. What equipment does the god want to sell?" Qin Mo directly presented the Fong blade and claw necklace he had just obtained, along with a level 3 whiteboard iron knife dropped by Tianyu. 2 pieces of level 5 black iron equipment, 1 piece of level 3 whiteboard equipment. Do you want them? Seeing the 3 pieces of equipment Qin Mo took out, Bo Lan was dumbfounded. Those 2 pieces of level 5 black iron equipment were just dropped from the hidden boss. Moreover, they perfectly suited his class. Wouldn't it be better to keep them for himself? He's actually selling them. Especially after checking the equipment attributes, Bo Lan's eyes almost popped out. After all, items dropped by hidden bosses had attributes that were superior to those of the same level equipment available in stores. So far, this was the only one in the entire server. It is no exaggeration to say that whoever obtains these two pieces of equipment will rank among the top in the entire server. Although this advantage will quickly diminish as players level up for a major guild like Awaken, every bit of lead at the start is extremely important. Seeing Bolan lost in thought, Qin Mo frowned and asked, "What's the verdict? Do you want them or not?" Bolan finally snapped back to reality. "Yes, of course. Just, how do you want to sell them, God? Our guild currently has a basic skill scroll, but it probably won't be enough to trade for these two pieces of equipment." Bolan thought that since Qin Mo was willing to sell such rare equipment, he must want to exchange for other rare items. To Bolan's surprise, Qin Mo shook his head and said, "I only want gold. I won't accept any other trading methods." Bolan, huh? This time Bolan was completely baffled. Why would someone abandon a unique piece of equipment in the whole server for mere gold? What kind of game is this? Could it be that this deity is lacking money in real life and wants to cash out quickly? Upon considering this, Bolan felt he had roughly guessed the truth. After a moment's thought, he decisively said, "In that case, let's trade using gold. The price of a level 5 black iron equipment in the shop is 240 gold coins, but since these two items are dropped by hidden bosses and have better attributes, how about we set it at 300 gold coins each?" Qin Mo nodded slightly in agreement. Bolan showed a hint of joy on his face. "As for this level 3 plain dagger, let's go with the shop price of 50 gold coins. That totals to 650 gold coins. Is that okay?" Qin Mo nodded and replied, "All right, cash." Upon hearing this, Bolan immediately displayed an awkward expression. Deity, please wait a moment. 650 gold coins is not a small amount. I need some time to gather it. Actually, 650 gold coins could be considered a small sum. Even though game currency was extremely valuable at the beginning, 650 gold coins would only convert to 6500 in Dragon Kingdom currency. For an organization like the Awaken Guild backed by a consortium, it was just a drop in the bucket. However, Bolan indeed couldn't produce it immediately. Even the entire Awaken Guild might not be able to gather it right away. After all, the server had only been open for just over 2 hours. Most players only had a pitiful few copper coins in hand. At this time, the circulating gold coins in the game were scarce. To put it bluntly, everyone was broke. Players like Qin Mo, who had over 200 gold coins on them, were probably. However, with the strength of the Awaken Guild gathering some funds from its own members and purchasing a bit from random players using Dragon Kingdom currency would ultimately allow them to gather the amount. Even if at this time an average of 1,000 players could only pool together 1 gold coin, it wouldn't matter since there were billions of players in Destiny. Gathering 650 gold coins was just a matter of time. Bolan chuckled awkwardly. "Deity, how about we add each other as friends, and I'll contact you again once I have the money. This way it won't delay your leveling up." For Bolan, being able to add Qin Mo as a friend was also a significant. Qin Mo thought for a moment, then nodded sure. As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Mo received a system prompt: "Player Awaken Bolan has requested to add you as a friend. Do you agree?" Qin Mo chose to agree. After successfully adding him as a friend, Bolan let out a slight sigh of relief. "Then Deity, take care. I will contact you again within 2 hours." Qin Mo nodded and turned to walk towards Longxi Town. After Qin Mo left, Bolan immediately posted a guild task in the guild channel. "From now on, the guild will exchange cash for gold coins from brothers in the 114514 new player village. 1,000 yuan for 1 gold coin, however much you have, bring it on." At the same time, they publicly sought to purchase gold coins from random players, urging them not to be reluctant to spend money. "I need 650 gold coins within 2 hours. As soon as Bolan's announcement was sent out, the guild channel. "Wow, the vice president has spoken." This is the first time since entering this game that a vice president has issued a guild task. Vice President Bolan, is something going on? Are we going to war with another guild? Wow, I'm so excited. For a time, discussions filled the guild channel. However, Bolan did not explain the reason to everyone. There was indeed competition between guilds. For example, the Hoyun Guild had always been a rival of the Awaken Guild. The guild channel was a mixed bag, and there would definitely be spies from other guilds. It was still necessary to keep the transaction with a deity like Moku under wraps. Soon the Awaken Guild began to take action. The 114514 new player village even sparked a trend of gathering gold coins. Many ordinary random players, in order to cash out some gold coins, began requesting to exchange their quest rewards for gold coins. The hunchbacked old man in charge of the new player tasks was baffled. Were young people really this greedy nowadays? Meanwhile, Qin Mo had already killed several mutated bloodthirsty rats along the way and finally exited the Longji ruins. By the time he returned to Longxi Town, it was already 40 minutes later. Qin Mo skillfully arrived at the central square and found the hunchbacked old man. "I have collected 10 tails of mutated bloodthirsty rats," Qin Mo said, taking the tails out of his backpack and handing them to the hunchbacked old man. The hunchbacked old man nodded. "I thank you on behalf of Miss Gallus. This is your deserved reward." As soon as he finished speaking, a system prompt popped up in front of Qin Mo. You have gained 800 experience points. You have received the item 4-leaf clover pendant. You have received 10 gold coins. 800 experience points and 10 gold coins were a decent haul. However, since Qin Mo had already reached level 7, the experience needed for leveling up was increasing, and this amount of experience was insufficient for him to level up. After distributing the rewards, the hunchbacked old man subconsciously asked, "This necklace was given to you by Miss Gallus. If you want to exchange it for gold coins, I need to evaluate it at the shop." Qin Mo shook his head. Not this time. The 4-leaf clover pendant was merely a level 6 plain necklace. It provided 50 health points and 2 agility. As equipment, it didn't serve much purpose. However, Qin Mo knew that this pendant was a key item to trigger. The hunchbacked old man was somewhat surprised that Qin Mo didn't exchange it for gold coins. Could it be that this young man was also an admirer of Miss Gallus? The hunchbacked old man shook his head, slightly dismissing these gossipy thoughts. "Young man, thank you for your help. I have no more commissions to give you. You might want to check out the administrative office in town. They seem to be recruiting heroes who can deal with monsters, but you may need to wait until you are a bit stronger to become a candidate." Qin Mo nodded, stowed his items, and turned to leave. In fact, the new player quests in Destiny ended here. Next, players needed to explore and take on some side quests. There were many tasks available at this stage, and the rewards varied greatly. Some quests only offered a few silver coins, while others provided low-tier items, and some even offered relatively high experience points. Players would only be able to take on the main quest from the administrative office once they reached level 10. During this time, the benefits of being part of a guild became evident. Guild players would have designated individuals summarize the task details and rewards after completing different quests, quickly allowing them to ascertain the rewards of various tasks. Then players in the guild would perform different tasks according to their roles. Core combat players would focus on quests with high experience points to level up as quickly as possible. Other players would be responsible for earning money and collecting items, which would then be supplied to the core combat players. In this model, the core members of large guilds could quickly level up and would not lack various equipment or items. It was from this stage that large guilds could rapidly widen the gap with ordinary players. However, for Qin Mo, things were much simpler. Having lived a second life, Qin Mo was well acquainted with the various tasks in Longxi Town, allowing him to directly take on those with high experience points. Just based on this, his leveling speed would not be slower than that of core players from top guilds. He only needed to level up and earn money, and his combat strength would soon reach its peak. For Qin Mo, the primary task at this stage was to reach level 10 as quickly as possible. As for gold coins, there were plenty of ways to earn them. As Qin Mo left the square, he was just preparing to take on other tasks when the system suddenly displayed a prompt: "You have received a friend message." In Qin Mo's friend list, he only had Bolan added. Could it be that the gold had been gathered? Opening the message, he saw Hyo Bolan: "Deity, I just received news that the Hoyun Guild seems to be preparing to retaliate against you. Hyo Bolan, I haven't figured out their specific plans yet, but it's certain that you are being followed." After reading the news about Bolan, Qin Mo instinctively glanced back. Following him? In this day and age, who still resorts to such tricks? Qin Mo shook his head and replied to Bolan, "I understand." Then Qin Mo quickly walked into the shop. Upon seeing Qin Mo, the shopkeeper immediately wore a beaming smile and asked, "Esteemed guest, what do you need?" Qin Mo directly asked, "Do you have any tasks that require assistance?" The shopkeeper immediately dropped his smile and replied sternly, "Here to find work. You poor wretch. However, you are quite fortunate. I happen to have a job for you. My leather jackets are sold out, and due to the recent havoc caused by monsters outside the town, suppliers are unable to come in. Go to the Dragon's Breath forest to the north of the town and fetch me some silver fox pelts." As soon as the words left his mouth, a system prompt popped up before Qin Mo sighed. Quest obtained: 15 silver fox pelts 015. Qin Mo accepted the task, but did not leave immediately. The shopkeeper impatiently looked at him and said, "Aren't you going to get to work soon?" Qin Mo calmly took out 30 gold coins and said, "Another 6 bottles of basic life potions, please." The shopkeeper was momentarily stunned, but then immediately resumed his enthusiastic smile. "Esteemed guest, please wait a moment." Soon the shopkeeper handed Qin Mo 6 bottles of green potions. Qin Mo stored the potions away and glanced at his status panel. ID Mo, cool, level 7 health, 370 magic, 240 attack, 238 armor, 70 magic resistance, 70 attack speed, 1's attribute strength 24, constitution 16, agility 18, spirit 16, defense 70, exclusive talent bounty hunter, active skills, none, passive skills wealthy spendthrift. After spending 30 gold coins, his attack power decreased by 30 points. However, an attack power of 238 was more than enough to dominate any player at this point in time. Before this, Qin Mo's defense was 44 points. After spending 30 gold coins, it was supposed to increase to 74 points due to the effect of spendthrift. But Qin Mo's defense attribute had already reached a level barrier. In Destiny, aside from the warrior class, after job change, most classes had a defense value that was capped by their level. That is, one's defense attribute cannot exceed 10 times their own level. Apart from the warrior class post-job change, only a few rare items or skill effects could break the restrictions of the level barrier. With Qin Mo currently at level 7, the defense attribute cap was 70 points. Nevertheless, 70 points of armor and magic resistance were more than sufficient for him at this moment. After reviewing his attributes, Qin Mo quickly headed north. After leaving Longxi town, he soon entered a patch of forest. Dragon's Breath Forest. In the outer areas of the forest, there were some low-level magical creatures, among which the silver fox was one. As soon as Qin Mo stepped into the forest, he immediately sensed someone behind him. Looking back, he discovered there were at least 40 to 50 people trailing closely behind him. Once outside, these people no longer hid blatantly following Qin Mo. To Qin Mo's surprise, all of them were level 1. Their IDs all bore the same prefix Fire Cloud. Clearly, they were sent by the Fire Cloud Guild to deal with Qin Mo. Yet Qin Mo could not comprehend why these cannon fodder players were sent to him, as they would be utterly ineffective against him. These players seemed to know they could not harm Qin Mo and did not show any intention to attack. 40 to 50 people like a group of bodyguards followed closely behind Qin Mo, getting nearer with each step. Qin Mo glanced at them and couldn't be bothered. Mainly because they did not take the initiative to attack, Qin Mo found it inappropriate to strike them down. If Qin Mo were to take the first move, he would be marked as a criminal. Once marked, the vast majority of NPCs would refuse to trade with Qin Mo and would not issue him quests. Was this the plan of the Fire Cloud Guild? To provoke him into killing these players, thus marking him as a criminal? Indeed a bit disgusting. However, it was what it was. Qin Mo had great patience and completely ignored these people. A few minutes later, Qin Mo, surrounded by his bodyguards, had already entered the outer area of the Dragon's Breath Forest. Soon several pure white foxes appeared ahead. Despite being called foxes, these silver foxes were as big as calves. Each of them had 2 5-centimeter-long fangs protruding from their mouths, clearly ferocious beasts. Silver Fox level 6 health, 300 attack, 68 defense, 26, 13 armor magic resistance. Qin Mo glanced at them, preparing to engage the monsters. Suddenly, he noticed that the group of Fire Cloud Guild players following him had taken action. Several players rushed forward, surrounding Qin Mo and blocking all his paths. Meanwhile, the remaining players quickly ran towards the distant silver foxes. 3 to 4 dozen players spread out, beginning to attract monsters in various ways. A few minutes later, over 20 enraged silver foxes were chasing after the Fire Cloud Guild players, who were risking being killed by the foxes while leading them in one direction. Seeing this, Qin Mo finally understood the plan of the Fire Cloud Guild. So they intended to sacrifice these level 1 cannon fodder to draw a large number of monsters to attack Qin Mo. After all, these players were level 1. If they died, they wouldn't lose any levels. If they could make Qin Mo get killed and lose levels, it would be a win-win situation. It must be said the Fire Cloud Guild's tactic was indeed quite despicable. If it were any other player being constantly tormented by such a group, that character would be considered ruined. However, they were up against Qin Mo. Standing calmly in place, Qin Mo quietly watched their performance. Soon over 20 silver foxes were drawn to Qin Mo. In just a few seconds, all the players surrounding Qin Mo were killed by the silver foxes. This left Qin Mo completely exposed in the embrace of the silver foxes. Not far away, a few players who had escaped the aggro range of the silver foxes stood still watching the spectacle. The leader was a player named Fire Cloud Liuzi. At this moment, Liuzi privately messaged Tianyu, Vice President, "That guy is surrounded by monsters now. With 24 level 6 monsters, he's definitely dead this time." Tianyu quickly replied, "Haha. Well done. Each of you will receive a bonus of 3000 after logging off." Liuzi got it. "I thank you on behalf of my brothers. Tianyu, I've already arranged for people to be lying in wait at the resurrection point. As soon as he dies, you all go over immediately and follow him, preventing him from leveling up." Understood. While the two were messaging, the group of silver foxes had already pounced on Qin Mo. Holding a wooden sword, Qin Mo showed no signs of panic. In the next moment, a silver fox lunged at Qin Mo, sinking its teeth into his shoulder. From a distance, Liuzi observed this scene, revealing a sinister smile. However, the next second, the smile on Liuzi's face froze. A pale zero popped up, standing out starkly. Level 6 wild creatures couldn't break through Qin Mo's defenses. In the next moment, more silver foxes pounced. However, the scene Liuzi anticipated of Qin Mo being instantaneously overwhelmed did not occur. Qin Mo's figure was engulfed by the silver foxes. 000. Yet all that appeared were 0. Qin Mo's health bar showed no signs of change. The next moment, Qin Mo swung his sword and struck a silver fox. 212, a red damage number popped up. The health of that silver fox instantly dropped by 2/3. In the next second, Qin Mo's second strike also landed on this silver fox. 88. Another red damage number appeared, and that silver fox died on the spot, dropping a silver fox pelt, and following this, Qin Mo continued to endure the attacks of the silver foxes, swiftly striking down foes. Every 2 seconds, one silver fox was killed. After 48 seconds, all the silver foxes in front of Qin Mo had been defeated, leaving behind 6 silver fox pelts and a heap of copper and silver coins. Far away, Liuzi and the remaining Fire Cloud Guild players stood frozen in shock. Qin Mo leisurely gathered the spoils from the ground, turned to Liuzi and others, and grinned. "You all helped me pull the monsters, saving me a lot of trouble. Well done, let's continue next time." Liuzi finally snapped back to reality, swallowing hard. At that moment, Liuzi received a message from Tianyu. "So did that guy die? Is that guy dead yet?" Upon reading Tianyu's message, Liuzi fell momentarily speechless. Glancing again at Qin Mo, who was already preparing to leave not far away, Liuzi felt a chill crawl up his scalp. Vice President, he's not dead." Tianyu replied almost instantly. "Not dead? Didn't you say you'd lured 24 level 6 monsters to surround him? How is it possible he's still alive?" "Liuzi, those level 6 monsters can't even scratch him." "Tianyu can't scratch him?" "Yes, completely ineffective. He didn't lose a single drop of blood and cleared the entire pack of level 6 monsters in under a minute." After sending that message, Liuzi suddenly felt as though reality itself had grown surreal. He only knew that Vice President Tianyu had ordered him to bring people to harass Qin Mo, utterly unaware of Qin Mo's terrifying strength. After all, Tianyu would certainly never tell his underlings that he'd already been slain once by Qin Mo. So when Liuzi witnessed Qin Mo standing unscathed beneath the onslaught of 24 silver foxes, slaying one with just 2 sword strikes, then annihilating the entire pack in under 60 seconds, his entire worldview shattered. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tianyu froze upon receiving Liuzi's message. "Back then, with over 40 attack power, I couldn't even pierce his defense, that I could tolerate. But level 6 monsters, with 60 plus attack power, still can't breach his defense. Just what kind of monster is this Moke?" A flash of cold malice flickered across Tianyu's eyes. "No matter what kind of monster you are, I will break you." Tianyu was a man who repaid every slight with ruthless vengeance. Those who crossed him rarely met favorable ends. "I'll let you run free a little longer. Once everyone's levels rise further, I'll show you the chasm between lone players and guilds." With those icy words, Tianyu turned and resumed leveling up. After being killed by Qin Mo, his level had plummeted to 4. Only now, with great effort, had he barely clawed his way back to level 5. He had also just completed the novice quest phase. From here on, Tianyu would fully leverage his advantage as vice president of a guild. For upcoming side quests, legions of dedicated guild members, the so-called bricklayers, would scout ahead and uncover the fastest leveling paths for him. Tianyu could even accept multiple side quests simultaneously. For gathering tasks, say collecting a specific material, he merely needed to pursue other objectives while waiting for bricklayers to harvest and deliver the item, then hand it in himself. At this pivotal moment, countless guilds, large and small, were springing into synchronized motion, and their core members were rapidly outpacing ordinary solo players. Meanwhile, Qin Mo continued advancing deeper into the Dragonbreath Forest. Cannon fodder from the Huiyun Guild had drawn 24 silver foxes toward him, yielding 6 silver fox pelts in total. Qin Mo still needed 9 more pelts to complete his quest. Soon he spotted 3 silver foxes ahead. No sooner had he approached than the trio erupted into snarling charges. Yet these silver foxes couldn't even pierce Qin Mo's defense. No matter how many came, he remained utterly untroubled. There was no need for finesse, only simple decisive sword swings. 2 strikes felled each fox. In 6 seconds, all 3 lay lifeless upon the forest floor, one yielding a single pelt. Qin Mo pressed onward, hunting more silver foxes. "You have slain a silver fox. You have slain a silver fox." System notifications flashed repeatedly as silver fox after silver fox collapsed beneath his wooden blade. Alas, since Qin Mo's level far exceeded that of the silver foxes, he gained no experience from them. After all, this stage's quests were designed around confronting monsters of levels 5 to 6. Qin Mo, however, had surged far beyond that benchmark after slaying a hidden boss and amassing its vast experience reward. After defeating nearly 50 silver foxes, he finally collected the required 15 pelts. Picking up the final pelt, Qin Mo turned and headed back toward Longxi Town. Emerging from the Dragonbreath Forest, the silhouette of Longxi Town appeared clearly in the distance. Qin Mo strode forward steadily, when suddenly he noticed a hunched old woman setting up a roadside stall. Above her head floated the name Elderly Peddler. When had this NPC appeared? Qin Mo distinctly recalled passing through Longxi Town earlier. There had been no such woman then. Even in his memories of the previous life, no trace of this old woman existed. Could she be a long overlooked, hidden NPC? Without hesitation, Qin Mo stepped forward and greeted her. "Is there anything I can assist you with?" The old woman lifted her gaze and rasped. "Young man, my late husband's hairpin was stolen by a twisted goblin deep within the Dragonbreath Forest. Could you retrieve it for me? As compensation, I will grant you a generous sum of gold coins." At that moment, a system prompt materialized before Qin Mo. Unknown quest: recover the stolen heirloom 01. Accept. Qin Mo frowned in confusion. He had fought every monster in the Dragon Breath Forest in his past life, yet he'd never encountered a twisted goblin. Still, after only a brief pause, he accepted the quest. An unknown NPC. An unknown quest. Always worth exploring. Perhaps there would be a surprise. Once Qin Mo confirmed acceptance, the old woman handed him a ring. Young man, take this ring. It will guide you to the twisted goblin. Good fortune be with you. Qin Mo examined the ring. Mysterious ring. Level. Rarity. Attributes. Row upon row of question marks left Qin Mo utterly bewildered. After a moment's thought, he slipped the ring onto his finger. Wearing the ring, he checked his stats again. Nothing had changed. So it was merely an initial item, ornamental and functionless. After donning the ring, Qin Mo first returned to Longxi town. He entered the shop and placed the 15 silver fox pelts upon the counter. The shopkeeper inspected them and nodded. Excellent. Here is your reward. As the words faded, a beam of white light merged into Qin Mo's body. System notification. You have gained 1000 experience points. You have gained 2 basic health potions. Simultaneously, Qin Mo's experience bar surged dramatically. In the next instant, golden light rained down. Qin Mo ascended to level 8. Not bad, he thought, nodding in quiet satisfaction before turning to leave. Soon Qin Mo departed Longxi town once more, this time heading northward straight into the Dragon Breath Forest. As he exited the town, he glanced deliberately toward the roadside, only to find the old woman gone, leaving behind only her abandoned stall. Qin Mo gave it no further thought and strode directly into the forest. Along the way, he wondered aloud, did the Dragon Breath Forest truly harbor creatures called twisted goblins? If so, where might they dwell? He glanced again at the ring upon his hand. The old woman claimed it would lead him to the twisted goblin, yet so far it showed no sign of response. As he pondered, Qin Mo reached the forest's edge. The moment his foot crossed the threshold, the ring flared with a violet light. In the next breath, the Dragon Breath Forest before him transformed. The woods remained the same, but the light dimmed sharply and mist coiled thickly in the distance. An aura of profound darkness and eerie disquiet settled over the entire expanse. Qin Mo surveyed the altered landscape, then prepared to step forward, when suddenly a friend message arrived. Opening it, he saw it was from Bolin. Master, I've gathered the gold. Where are you? I'll come meet you for the trade. Qin Mo replied, Dragon Breath Forest. I'll wait here. Bolin, perfect. I'm nearby. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Closing the chat, Qin Mo stood still waiting. Moments later, Bolin arrived, breathless and sprinting. Empowered by his guild's advantages, Bolin had already reached level 7. Yet upon seeing Qin Mo's level 8 status, Bolin's expression stiffened. He had barely scraped to level 7, completing 1 monster-slaying quest and 4 gathering quests simultaneously, all backed by full guild support. And the experience required to advance from level 7 to 8 was exponentially greater. Bolin simply could not fathom how a lone player like Qin Mo had leveled so astonishingly fast. Bewildered, Bolin sent a trade request. Instantly, a system prompt appeared before Qin Mo. Player, how you Bolin requests a trade. Accept. Qin Mo accepted, placing the 3 agreed-upon items into the trade interface and entering the amount 650 gold coins. Bolin confirmed payment. Another system notification flashed before Qin Mo. You have lost Fong Blade Sword. You have lost Claw Necklace. You have lost Damaged Iron Blade. You have gained 650 gold coins. As the transaction was completed, the number of gold coins on Qin Mo's body instantly surged to 850. The effect of Wealthy was triggered, causing Qin Mo's attack power to soar. Qin Mo excitedly glanced at his stats panel. ID Mo Ku level 8, health 390, mana 255, attack power 800, armor 71, magic resistance 71, attack speed 1s, attribute strength 26, constitution 17, agility 19, spirit 17, defense 71, exclusive talent bounty hunter, active skills, none, passive skills wealthy spendthrift. Seeing his attribute values, Qin Mo revealed a satisfied smile. An 8th level swordsman, 800 points of attack power. Other players of the same level generally only have around 4,050 attack power at this time. Qin Mo was already more than 10 times ahead of others. Unfortunately, he was only at level 8. He had triggered the level barrier for attack power. For the vast majority of classes, attack power has a barrier that cannot exceed 100 times their own level. Otherwise, Qin Mo's attack power at this moment should be able to reach 892 points. But it's still fine. 800 points of attack power is enough for Qin Mo to sweep everything at this point. After all, the extra money on him will naturally trigger the effect of Wealthy after leveling up. Moreover, the swordsman class can enhance the attack power barrier after completing the second job transfer. However, Qin Mo had previously spent gold to trigger Spendthrift to increase his defense in countering the level barrier. After reaching level 8, the system did not restore the defense that was reduced by the level barrier. It seems that the gold spent in advance will not trigger Spendthrift again after leveling up. However, now that he had reached level 8, there was still an excess of gold under the level barrier, and he could first max out his defense. Thinking of this, Qin Mo turned to Bolon beside him and asked, "Do you have any beginner health potions?" Bolon immediately nodded yes. After saying this, Bolon took out 2 bottles of beginner health potions and said, "Take them, consider them a gift from me." Qin Mo shook his head. "That won't do, I will buy them." He certainly wouldn't take a favor from someone for beginner potions that cost 5 gold each. Moreover, Qin Mo was not short of potions, he simply wanted to spend money. Bolon naturally understood that Qin Mo would not easily owe him a favor and smiled without insisting. Soon the two conducted another transaction. Qin Mo spent 10 gold to buy 2 bottles of beginner health potions from Bolon. Checking his attributes again, his defense had risen to 80. Both attack and defense had reached their level barriers. Battle power maxed out. Looking at his attribute values, a bold idea suddenly popped into Qin Mo's mind. If he bought things with money and then sold them back at the same price, could he not infinitely increase his defense value? Spendthrift seems to have a bug. With this thought, Qin Mo said to Bolon, thinking carefully, "I might not need the health potions. How about I return them to you and you refund my money?" Bolon was taken aback. "What? Refund? Is there such a method? Could it be that after spending 10 gold on the potions he regretted it and felt it was too expensive? How poor could this great god be in real life?" Ahem. Of course that's possible. To protect the great god's pride, Bolon did not ask further and readily agreed to refund the money. Quickly the two completed the transaction. A system prompt popped up for Qin Mo. "You have lost beginner health potion X2. You have gained 10 gold. At this moment, Qin Mo looked at his attributes again and found that his defense value had dropped back to 71 points. Well, it seems that the path of exploiting the bug is not feasible. Qin Mo smiled and shook his head, then said to Bolon, "You should sell me the potions again." "Bolon, it's just 10 gold. Converted to Dragon Country currency, it's only 1000 yuan. Is it really worth getting so entangled over it?" Bolon silently shouted a few times, but still readily traded with Qin Mo again. Qin Mo bought back 2 bottles of health potions, and his defense increased back to 80 points. It seems this great god is really short on money in real life. If I give him a bit more money, perhaps he would agree to join the Haoyue Guild. But first I need to find a way to get closer before I can open my mouth. If I just throw money at him, he might not be able to get over his pride. Bolon thought to himself. With this in mind, Bolon spoke up, "Great god, I happen to have a quest to do in the Dragon's Breath Forest. How about we go together?" Before Qin Mo could respond, a sudden rustling sound came from the dense forest ahead. Both of them turned their gazes toward the sound and saw a large bulge suddenly forming on the thick layer of fallen leaves on the ground. In the next moment, a monkey-like creature crawled out from the bulge. It was a creature that resembled a monkey in shape, but it was hairless and covered in metallic, gleaming scarlet scales. Qin Mo was taken aback. What kind of creature is this? In his past life, he had encountered all kinds of monsters, but had never seen this before. Thinking of this, Qin Mo quickly glanced at this creature's stats. Twisted Goblin, level 10, health 400, attack power 92, defense 60, 30, armor magic resistance. So this is the Twisted Goblin. Qin Mo nodded slightly. It seemed he indeed had received a special quest encountering such a monster he had never seen before. Moreover, looking at the attributes of this Twisted Goblin, it was clearly higher than that of an ordinary level 10 wild monster. Especially its defense attribute, which was significantly higher than that of typical level 10 wild monsters. Beside him, Bolan's face changed upon seeing the attributes of this goblin. What the hell? Didn't they say the most one could encounter in the Dragon's Breath Forest was level 8 wild monsters? What is this Twisted Goblin? Bolon was indeed flustered. After 3 hours of gameplay, most players had understood one characteristic of Destiny. That is, the strength of small monsters is outrageously high. Bolon was unsure of the attributes of other level 10 wild monsters, but he knew that this Twisted Goblin could easily defeat him. After pausing for a second, Bolon immediately said, "Great god, let's run quickly. This wild monster is way too strong." Honestly, if it weren't to get closer to Qin Mo, Bolon would have wanted to abandon him and run away. This was a level 10 monster. It clearly wasn't one of those cumbersome monsters. Its movement speed was definitely above theirs. If they hesitated for a few more seconds, they wouldn't even have the chance to escape. Bolon anxiously shouted, "Great god, let's split up and run. At least one of us can escape." To be honest, Bolon was really a little panicked. Now that the game had just been open for a little over 3 hours, major guilds were racing against time to level up. If they were inexplicably killed by a wild monster at this juncture, that would be a huge loss. As they spoke, another bulge formed on the ground. In the next moment, another Twisted Goblin crawled out. Following that, bulges kept appearing on the ground within a radius of 100 meters. One after another, Twisted Goblins crawled out. In just a few seconds, over 50 Twisted Goblins appeared around Qin Mo and Bolon. Bolan's face turned pale. They had already been surrounded by Twisted Goblins. There was simply no possibility of breaking through. Seeing no hope of breaking through, Bolon calmed down a bit, and wryly smiled. I didn't expect my first death in this game to be alongside you, great god. Qin Mo glanced at him, raised 2 fingers, and said 500 gold coins. Bolon was taken aback, looking at Qin Mo in confusion. What 500 gold coins? Qin Mo replied, 500 gold coins, and I'll guarantee you won't die. Just then a twisted goblin screeched and lunged at the two. Qin Mo calmly swung his wooden sword. For 100, a red damage number popped up, and that twisted goblin immediately let out a scream and fell lifeless. Bolon watched this scene with wide, incredulous eyes. With a wooden sword, he dealt 400 points of damage. Adding the twisted goblin's 60 points of armor, Qin Mo must have at least 460 points of attack power. And this is still because the twisted goblin only had 400 points of health total. Heaven knows how much attack power Qin Mo actually has. I know you're strong, but you can't be this strong, right? This is too exaggerated. In that instant, Bolon was stunned. Soon another 2 twisted goblins charged in. Qin Mo swung his sword again, and another goblin was instantly killed. Seeing this, the other twisted goblin knew Qin Mo was not to be trifled with, and turned to pounce at Bolon. Bolon's face changed. He saw that the twisted goblin was already right in front of him. For 100 just then, Qin Mo swiftly intervened and killed the twisted goblin in an instant. Qin Mo then leisurely said, have you thought it over? Do you want to spend 500 gold coins to hire me to protect you? When Qin Mo uttered these words, several twisted goblins charged at him. Bolon immediately shouted, deal. I will have someone start gathering the money right away. As long as I don't die, it's fine. For Bolon, 500 gold coins was indeed a trivial matter. Converted to the currency of the Dragon Kingdom, it was merely 5,000. However, if he died here and dropped a level, the price would far exceed that amount. The two were in a perilous situation. Qin Mo was not taking advantage of Bolon's troubles. After all, they were not related, and Qin Mo had no obligation to protect him. Spending 500 gold coins to ensure Qin Mo would save his life was quite worthwhile. Hearing Bolon's words, Qin Mo nodded and shouted, follow me. With that, Qin Mo swung his sword and instantly killed a charging twisted goblin. At the same time, he led Bolon forward for a bit, finding a large tree that they could both lean against. In this way, Bolon could avoid attacks from behind, while Qin Mo stood in front of him, blocking the oncoming twist. However, this also had a drawback. Qin Mo could not maneuver and soon found himself surrounded by the twisted. Qin Mo waved his wooden sword once again, slaying a twisted goblin. At the same time, the claws of 4 twisted goblins landed on Qin Mo. 12, 12, 12, 12. 4 red numbers popped up, and Qin Mo's health dropped by 48 points in an instant. This left Bolon behind him, stunned once more. One attack from a twisted goblin could only reduce Qin Mo's health by 12 points. That was from a level 10 monster with an attack power of 92 points. If those 4 attacks had hit Bolon, he would have been instantly killed. Calculating this way, Qin Mo's armor must be as high as 80 points. No wonder Tian Yu and the others couldn't break through his defense earlier. An 8th level swordsman with 80 points of armor. Over 460 points of attack power. Who could withstand that? Qin Mo stood in front of Bolon, repeatedly swinging his sword. With Qin Mo's current attack speed, he could strike once per second. One strike could instantly kill a twisted goblin. Although Qin Mo was surrounded by twisted goblins, only 4 could attack him at the same time each second. In this way, the scene fell into a stalemate. Every second, 1 twisted goblin was killed. Meanwhile, Qin Mo would lose 48 health points. You have killed 1 twisted goblin and gained 61 experience points. You have killed 1 twisted goblin and gained 61 experience points. With the system notifications constantly popping up after 5 seconds, Qin Mo had killed a total of 8 twisted goblins. He had also lost 240 health points. At this moment, Qin Mo took out a bottle of basic life potion and consumed it. 200 green light flashed, and Qin Mo's health was restored, just 40 points short of full health. Qin Mo continued to slay twisted goblins one after another. Whenever his health ran low, he would use a bottle of basic life potion. Bolon stood behind Qin Mo, dazed. He could never have imagined that at this moment he would witness someone face a group of level 10 monsters in such a manner. At this rate, as long as the potions were sufficient, Qin Mo could keep slashing away indefinitely. At the same time, Bolon also noticed that within half a minute, Qin Mo had already used 5 bottles of basic life potions. This made Bolon involuntarily click his tongue. How many potions did he have? A bottle of basic potion costs 5 gold coins, and at this point in time, even Bolon had only dared to buy 4 bottles. How could Qin Mo keep pulling out one bottle after another as if it were endless? In fact, Qin Mo had spent gold coins to trigger the talent spendthrift, and counting the 2 bottles he bought from Bolon, he had purchased a total of 14 life potions. He had used 5 bottles when grinding the bloodthirsty rat, and the mutated rat king just used another 5 bottles, and now had 4 bottles left. After 40 seconds, as Qin Mo killed the 43rd twisted goblin, a golden light fell. Qin Mo leveled up to level 9. With the level increase, his health was refreshed, and Qin Mo was back to full health. This saved him a bottle of basic life potion. Qin Mo continued grinding the twisted goblins. After 50 seconds, he used his last potion. At the same time, Qin Mo swung his sword at the last twisted goblin. For 100, as a red number popped up, this twisted goblin screamed and fell lifeless. In front of Qin Mo lay a pile of twisted goblin corpses. Additionally, the ground was littered with copper coins and a small amount of silver coins dropped by the goblins. When Qin Mo picked them up, he found 24 silver coins and 621 copper coins. Qin Mo glanced at his backpack: gold coins 840, silver coins 38, copper coins 1108. It was no exaggeration to say that Qin Mo was most likely the richest person in Destiny at this point. Moreover, this wave of twisted goblins had also granted Qin Mo a great deal of experience. He directly leveled up to level 9. After all, these were level 10 monsters, so the experience points awarded were quite substantial. On top of that, with the 500 gold coins he earned as protection fee from Bolon, this haul was simply delightful. Of course, the most important thing was that Qin Mo found an ordinary wooden hairpin on the ground. This hairpin was very ordinary. If not for a closer look, one might think it was a dry twig from the ground. It was unclear which twisted goblin it had dropped from. Old wooden hairpin. As Qin Mo picked up the hairpin, the quest status immediately changed. Unknown quest: retrieve the stolen relic. 11. It seemed this was the hairpin the old woman wanted Qin Mo to find. Qin Mo tucked the hairpin away and walked towards the edge of the forest. Seeing this, Bolon immediately followed, nervously looking around in case another group of twisted goblins appeared. The moment Qin Mo stepped out of the dragon breath forest, the mysterious ring on his hand trembled slightly. Qin Mo sensed something and turned to look back. He saw that the dragon breath forest had returned to its original appearance, the light soft, and the trees lush with the gloomy mist dissipated. Even the twisted goblin corpses that had been all over the ground just moments ago had vanished completely, as if they had never appeared. In the distance, several silver foxes could even be seen. "Tisk, how strange," Qin Mo muttered. Bolon beside him was taken aback. "What did you say, Great One?" Qin Mo shook his head. "Nothing. Aren't you supposed to go to the dragon breath forest for the quest?" Hearing this, Bolon looked back nervously. "Forget it, I won't go for now. I'll go back to buy some potions and bring a few more people next time." Qin Mo was speechless and didn't say much. The two walked towards Dragonstream Town, and when they were less than 500 meters away from the town, Qin Mo stopped. The stall by the roadside was still there, but the old woman was nowhere to be seen. Seeing Qin Mo stop, Bolon asked curiously, "What's wrong, Great One?" Qin Mo shook his head. "It's nothing, I have something to deal with. You can go back first." Bolon nodded. "Then I'll leave first, Great One. The promised 500 gold coins are being gathered, and they will be delivered to you as soon as they are ready. If you have any equipment you want to sell, feel free to contact me. I guarantee the price will satisfy you." Qin Mo nodded in agreement, and Bolon left satisfied. After Bolon walked far away, Qin Mo approached the stall left by the old woman and looked around. The old woman still did not appear. Qin Mo frowned slightly. The quest was completed, but the NPC was gone. What is this? Could it be that he couldn't even turn in the quest? As Qin Mo was pondering this, he suddenly felt the ring on his hand move again. Looking down, the mysterious ring was actually gone. At that moment, a system notification popped up in front of Qin Mo. "You have lost mysterious ring. You have received old wooden hairpin. You have gained 600 gold coins." Qin Mo, what's going on? So he hadn't even seen the NPC's shadow, and the quest was completed. Can quests be turned in from a distance? However, the rewards for this quest were incredibly generous. 600 gold coins. The value of this reward far exceeded all the side quests available at this stage. No wonder it was a quest given by an NPC that even Qin Mo had never seen. Especially for Qin Mo, the value of these 600 gold coins surpassed the coins themselves. Before Qin Mo could get excited, another system notification popped up in front of him. "The requirements for upgrading your exclusive talent have been met. Please check the exclusive talent upgrade options." Seeing this, Qin Mo was momentarily stunned before becoming extremely excited. His exclusive talent could be upgraded. Qin Mo immediately opened the exclusive talent page. Exclusive talent: Bounty Hunter, level 1 talent. Talent type: growth conditions. Talent passives: Wealthy Spendthrift. Wealthy. For every 1 gold coin carried, attack power increases by 1 point up to 1,000 points. Spendthrift: for every 1 gold coin spent, gain 1 point of defense. Notice total gold exceeds 1,000. Upgrade conditions met. Would you like to upgrade now? Seeing this prompt, Qin Mo couldn't help but laugh in disbelief. So the so-called unknown growth conditions are related to the amount of gold. Qin Mo decisively chose to upgrade. After choosing to upgrade, a system prompt immediately popped up in front of Qin Mo. Upgrading your exclusive talent requires 100 gold coins. After upgrading, you will randomly obtain an active skill. Do you confirm the payment of 100 gold coins? Seeing this message, Qin Mo's eyes lit up. There's such a thing. Upgrading the exclusive talent can also grant an active skill. Most players currently only have one initial skill they can use, and the damage is generally low. Professions like swordsmen and knives have no initial skills at all. For Qin Mo to obtain an active skill now is truly enticing. The two passive skills of the bounty hunter, wealthy and spendthrift, are already so powerful, so the active skill surely won't be weak. It's worth noting that 100 gold coins can't even buy the lowest level skill scroll. With 100 gold coins, he can buy an active skill. Where can one find such a good deal? 100 gold coins, it's a risk-free investment. With this thought, Qin Mo decisively chose to pay. A system prompt immediately appeared in front of Qin Mo. You have lost 100 gold coins. Randomly drawing a skill for you. Congratulations. You have obtained the skill Spendthrift. At the same time, a golden skill icon appeared in Qin Mo's skill bar. Qin Mo excitedly clicked on the skill details. Spendthrift consumes 10500 gold coins, throwing your weapon to attack a target within a 10-meter range, dealing attack power consumed gold coins x 5 points of physical damage. Cooldown time 1 minute. Upon seeing the skill attributes, Qin Mo's expression suddenly stiffened. It consumes gold coins to activate the skill. What the hell is this? No wonder it only costs 100 gold coins. Turns out using the skill requires spending more money. The minimum is 10 gold coins. What kind of family can afford such a skill? Spending money to cast skills, is it really just wanting Qin Mo to throw money to crush others? However, after careful calculation, Qin Mo found that this skill is actually quite strong. The more gold coins consumed, the higher the damage dealt. If he were to spend 500 gold coins, he could add 2,500 points of damage. Plus, with Qin Mo's current attack power of 900, this one skill could deal 3,400 points of physical damage. It could even one-shot a level 5 hidden boss. For ordinary players, even at level 10 after their first class change, very few skills can reach 300. Qin Mo's skill can already deal up to 3,400 points of damage. It's simply invincible. Although it costs a bit, it's not something that can be used easily. If he were to really go all out using this skill with Qin Mo's current finances, he wouldn't be able to use it many times. But in the future, that's hard to say. Thinking carefully, once he has enough gold coins, the feeling of dealing high damage by throwing money seems quite good. But for now, the most important thing is to upgrade first. With Qin Mo's advantage of being well-versed in Destiny, the higher the level, the more opportunities there are to make money. The more money he has, the stronger Qin Mo becomes. With this in mind, Qin Mo returned to Longxi Town and spent 10 gold coins to buy 2 bottles of low-level life potions at the shop. Spending 10 gold coins triggered the effect of Spendthrift, increasing Qin Mo's defense by 10 points. Qin Mo glanced at his attributes: IDMO, Cool level 9, Health 4, 10 mana, 270, Attack Power, 900, Armor, 90, Magic Resistance 90, Attack Speed, 1's attributes: Strength 28, Constitution 18, Agility 20, Spirit 18, Defense 90, Exclusive Talent, Bounty Hunter, Active Skill, Spendthrift, Passive Skills, Wealthy Spendthrift. As Qin Mo reached level 9, the level barrier increased. His attack power also rose to 900. Plus, after spending 10 gold coins, his armor and magic resistance also increased to 90. Both attack and defense are pushed to the current limit. Battle power maxed out. After checking his stats, Qin Mo did not take on any other side quests, but instead turned back towards the Dragon Breath Forest. Now that Qin Mo is already level 9, the experience points gained from ordinary side quests are too little for him. With his current battle power, it's faster to grind monsters for experience. Soon Qin Mo returned to the Dragon Breath Forest. This time he ignored the low-level monsters like silver foxes on the outskirts and ventured deeper into the forest. After a few minutes, 4 wild wolves comparable in size to a yellow cow appeared before Qin Mo. These wild wolves looked similar to ordinary wild wolves, but were larger, had longer claws, sharper fangs, and were extremely vicious. Raging Wild Wolf, level 10, Health 380, Attack Power 88, Defense 48, 24 Armor, Magic Resistance. Even from 50 meters away, the 4 raging wild wolves noticed Qin Mo's presence and immediately charged at him. When the raging wild wolves charged close, Qin Mo calmly swung his wooden sword. 380, a red damage number popped up, and the first raging wild wolf let out a howl and fell dead on the spot. You have killed 1 raging wild wolf, gaining 61 experience points. At the same time, the other 3 raging wild wolves pounced on him, swinging their massive claws at Qin Mo. 000 zeros popped up. These wild wolves couldn't break through Qin Mo's defense. With a casual 3 sword swings, Qin Mo killed the 3 wild wolves, collected the copper coins that dropped, and continued forward. Not long after, Qin Mo encountered raging giant wolves once again. This time he faced a whole pack. Everywhere he looked in the dense forest, there were raging giant wolves, and the piercing howls echoed continuously. Qin Mo roughly scanned the area. There were at least 100 raging giant wolves here. Tisk, this time the experience should be enough. Qin Mo murmured as he brandished his wooden sword and charged in. The wolf pack surrounded Qin Mo from all sides, pouncing towards him. In an instant, Qin Mo's figure was completely engulfed by the wolves. From a distance, Qin Mo's figure was completely hidden. All that could be seen was the surging wolf pack. Upon closer inspection, numbers could be seen jumping up continuously in the center of the wolf pack. 400, 400. 000. Qin Mo managed to strike a sword once every second, killing one raging wild wolf with each swing. Qin Mo's health bar, on the other hand, remained completely unchanged. At that moment, Qin Mo had transformed into a soulless monster-killing machine, efficiently harvesting vast amounts of experience. You have killed one raging wild wolf, gaining 61 experience points. You have killed one raging wild wolf, gaining 61 experience points. As the system prompts continuously popped up after 1 minute and 24 seconds, the once densely packed raging wild wolf pack had dwindled to less than half. With another sword swing, Qin Mo killed one raging wild wolf, and a golden light fell from above his head. Qin Mo finally leveled up to 10. In that instant, another system prompt appeared before Qin Mo. Congratulations. You have become the first player in the entire server to reach level 10. Would you like to issue a server-wide announcement? Issuing the announcement will grant you 10 reputation points. Publish it. Qin Mo disliked keeping things secret, and besides, there was reputation to be gained. Soon a bold system announcement appeared in the World channel. Congratulations to player Moku for becoming the server's first player to reach level 10. The announcement was broadcast 3 times. The World channel instantly erupted. What the? The server has been open less than 4 hours. Someone's already level 10. Is there any justice? I'm only level 4. This is unfair. I've been outsmarting rats, and this expert is about to clear the newbie village. People are simply incomparable. I finally reached level 3, then a mutated bloodthirsty rat killed me, and I dropped back to level 2. This game is impossibly hard. How can that god level player level up so fast? Need it even be asked? Must be some top guild heavyweight. Indeed, core guild players are not comparable to people like us. Wait, isn't Moku the powerhouse who soloed the hidden boss 2 hours ago? I remember he was alone. No way, a solo legend. He really is incredible. Does the legend need an accessory? I can cling to his coattails. I'm done playing. I died to rats 7 times today. Meanwhile, while players debated, Qin Mo had already finished off the remaining frenzied wild wolves. After collecting the copper coins and a few silver pieces on the ground, Qin Mo turned to leave. Reaching level 10 meant he could undertake his first class change. At the same time, he could continue with the main quests. At this stage, the main quest rewards far outstripped those from grinding monsters. Most importantly, at level 10, Qin Mo could trigger that hidden quest. Soon he returned to Longxi Town and found the class change hall. The hall was spacious with 7 desks arranged in a curved row. Behind each sat an elder, the mentors for the 7 base careers of Tianming. Qin Mo glanced around and located the mentor for the Jianku career. The mentor glanced at him and said slowly, "Young one, what class do you wish to change to?" "There are Jian Xiachong, Jian Shi Mo, Jian Shi. I want to become a Jian Xia." Qin Mo cut him off. He had no wish to waste time. The mentor raised his head and said, "Young man, I have not yet explained the characteristics and differences of each class. Do not be so impatient." Qin Mo replied firmly, "No need to explain. I will change to Jian Xia." He was already thoroughly familiar with the career branches that followed the Jianku change and had no need to listen to the mentor's introduction. The Jian Xia specialized in high agility and high damage, above average burst, maximal sustained output, and purely physical damage. This fit perfectly with the passive Yao Chuan Wan Guan. The only drawback of Jian Xia was short reach. Every skill required close contact, making it easy to be killed before touching the enemy. However, the defensive bonus from Yao Chuan Wan Guan allowed Qin Mo to perfectly mitigate that weakness. The mentor stared at Qin Mo, deeply sighed, and quickly wrote a few characters in a ledger. Then the mentor rose, waved one hand, and a jade light flowed into Qin Mo. At the same moment, a system notification popped up. "Congratulations, you have completed class change to Jian Xia." Immediately, another system prompt appeared. "You have a new skill available to learn." Qin Mo opened his panel. ID Moku, level 10 HP, 430 MP, 285 attack, 1000 armor, 91 magic resist, 91 attack speed, 1's attributes strength 30, constitution 19, agility 21, spirit 19, defense 91, exclusive talent bounty hunter, active skills, e.g. Qianjin Yuing Jian, not learned, passive skills, Yao Chuan Wan Guan Hui Jin Ru 2. Qin Mo opened the Yuing Jian skill description. Yuing Jian costs 40 mana. The next attack produces 3 afterimages that strike up to 3 targets within 2 meters, dealing physical damage equal to the wielder's attack. If there are no other targets in range, the afterimages hit the same target as the main strike and deal 50 physical damage. Note: Yuing Jian costs 10 gold to learn. Yuing Jian was the Jian Xia's starting skill. Against multiple enemies, it served as a small area AoE. Against a single target, it became a modest burst skill. In the early game when players had few skills it cost only 10 gold to learn, not expensive. Qin Mo chose to learn it at once. You have lost 10 gold. You have learned the skill Yuying Jian. Watching another icon light up in his skill bar, Qin Mo nodded and said, as a Jian Ku arriving at level 10 with 2 active skills, both with respectable damage, was already potent. Coupled with Qin Mo's terrifying attack, his combat power exploded. He had finally completed his first class change. Qin Mo exhaled softly and glanced at his panel again. He had just spent 10 gold to learn the skill. Would that trigger Hui Jin Ru too? But when he checked, his defense, armor, and magic resist remained at 91. It appeared that only gold spent on purchases would activate Hui Jin Ru too. Qin Mo shook his head, paid it no mind, and left. A few minutes later, he arrived at Longxi Town's administrative office, the place where the town's officials worked and where subsequent main quests were accepted. Guided by memories of his former life, Qin Mo easily found the town's military commander. The commander was studying a map in his office and looked up as Qin Mo entered. Do you have business here? He asked. Qin Mo said, I heard you were in need of help. The commander paused, then spoke in a grave tone. Monsters have been active outside the town lately. People are afraid to go out. To ensure Longxi Town's safety, we wish to take the initiative and cleanse the monsters, he continued. Unfortunately, we are terribly short-handed. We are recruiting brave warriors like you to assist in exterminating the beasts. Young man, will you join us? Qin Mo nodded. I will join. As he spoke, a system prompt appeared. Main quest: assist Longxi Town's military in resolving the monster infestation. Prompt: the task content unlocks after recruiting 5000 players. 15,000. Qin Mo read the note and felt a touch of helplessness. In truth, the quest required gathering all players above level 10 for a large-scale battle against the monsters outside Longxi, and then defeating a boss, after which this branch of the main quest would be temporarily concluded. Because Qin Mo had leveled so rapidly, he had left everyone behind. Now, he could only wait for another 4999 players to reach level 10. So leveling too quickly could be a kind of trouble. Fortunately, Qin Mo knew of a hidden quest he could pursue, so he would not have to waste his time waiting idly. Seeing that recruiting 5000 players would take a long time, Qin Mo decisively left the administrative office. Soon he arrived at a small building on Longxi Town's South Street, guided by memory. This was the mayor's residence. As Qin Mo approached, a maid immediately came out to stop him. The mayor is not at home. Please take any matters to the administrative office. Qin Mo shook his head. I'm not here for the mayor. I'm here to see Miss Jiali Si. The maid looked at him with suspicion. Who are you? What business with Miss Jiali Si? Qin Mo produced the 4-leaf clover pendant and handed it to the maid. Show this to Miss Jiali Si and she'll know. The maid was taken aback, giving Qin Mo a doubtful once-over. Wait here. She took the pendant, and normally players could not enter the mayor's house. In his prior life, a lecher had been obsessed with seeing the mayor's daughter, and after trying many methods had accidentally discovered that this pendant granted entry. But that lecher in the previous life had been so occupied with this trick that he never reached level 10. Although he saw Jiali Si, he did not receive the hidden quest. Later, he sold the information at a high price to the Huiyun Guild. Tian Yu took on the hidden quest and even publicized the discovery to flaunt the guild's strength. This time, however, Qin Mo had intercepted the opportunity. Shortly, the maid hurried back out. Honored guest Miss Jiali Si invites you in to speak. Qin Mo nodded and followed the maid into the house. She led him to the door of a room on the 3rd floor and then quietly withdrew. The door stood open. Inside, a girl of 17 or 18 idly sat by the window, basking in the sunlight. Her chestnut hair and pale, slightly ailing complexion made her beauty fragile. Her exquisite face was marked by fatigue. This was Jiali Si, the woman who had been voted one of Taiming's top 10 most beautiful NPCs in his previous life. Gallus saw Qin Mo and stood up smiling as she greeted him. Young warrior, please come in. Once Qin Mo entered the room, Gallus softly said, Young warrior, thank you for bringing me the tale of the mutated bloodthirsty rat. You saved my life. Qin Mo shook his head with a smile. It was just a small effort. Gallus replied, There aren't many enthusiastic young warriors like you left, a trace of worry flashing in her eyes. Qin Mo immediately asked, Miss Gallus, you seem to have something on your mind. Gallus' expression became somewhat unnatural as she replied, No, nothing. Taking advantage of the moment, Qin Mo said, Miss Gallus, you are not very good at lying. Gallus' cheeks flushed instantly, revealing a look of hesitation in her eyes. Finally, Gallus spoke up, All right, I'll tell you. Everyone says I was bitten by the mutated bloodthirsty rat, but that's not true. As Gallus spoke, she cautiously glanced at the door, seemingly worried about being overheard. After confirming no one was outside, she continued, Actually, I was injured by a humanoid giant rat. Qin Mo smiled slightly. That's right. Seeing Qin Mo smile, Gallus hurriedly said, Don't laugh. That giant rat walked on 2 legs and was holding a bow and arrow. I was accompanying my father to inspect the abandoned mine that day and saw it in a cave. It noticed me too and shot a poisoned arrow at me. The arrow struck a rock beside me, and just the smell of the arrow made me poisoned. Qin Mo's eyes lit up. Where exactly is that humanoid rat you mentioned? Gallus hesitated for a moment and replied, It's in the No. 2 cave of the abandoned mine. I originally wanted my father to send someone to deal with it, but he doesn't believe what I said. Gallus gave a self-deprecating smile. No one believes me saying I'm hallucinating due to poisoning. In fact, the mayor did not disbelieve Galice's words, but rather did not want the news to spread and cause panic. The mayor had secretly sent people to the abandoned mine to deal with the humanoid rat, but none of them returned alive. Therefore, completing this task would allow one to receive a substantial reward from the mayor. Qin Mo softly reassured Gallus, I believe what you say. With that, he prepared to stand up and take his leave. He had already obtained the information about the hidden BOSS, and now he just needed to go and kill the monster waiting to collect his reward from the mayor. However, just as Qin Mo was about to get up, Gallus said again, Young warrior, if you are strong enough, could you eliminate that troublesome rat? I am willing to pay an appropriate reward. Hearing this, Qin Mo paused for a moment. This plot seemed a bit different from what he had heard in his past life. Could it be that in his previous life, Tian Yu rushed to fight the monster before Gallus finished speaking? Or perhaps they deliberately concealed this part in the information they released. Gallus continued, I saved some money, about 500 gold coins, but I'm not sure if it's enough. 500. It was indeed not a small amount, but compared to the reward given by the mayor, it seemed rather ordinary. Before Qin Mo could speak, Gallus added, By the way, I also have a bracelet that a mysterious wizard gave me. I always felt it was special and can give it to you as well. As she spoke, Gallus took out a green jade bracelet from the drawer, intricately carved with patterns resembling certain runes. At the sight of this bracelet, Qin Mo's eyes brightened. He had seen this pattern before. In his past life, many secret realms were discovered by players, but they struggled to enter due to the lack of opening items. After all, secret realms are rare, and the opening items could be hidden in some inconspicuous side quests. Qin Mo had encountered in Slevel's secret realm that he could never open. At the entrance of that secret realm, there was a circular missing piece in the erase stone, and the pattern on it was identical to that of this jade bracelet. This bracelet could very well be the opening item for that secret realm. So it was here. No wonder Qin Mo could not find it despite trying everything in his past life. Who would have thought that the opening item of Slevel's secret realm was actually in the novice village? Seeing Qin Mo's silence, Galice's face turned red as she lowered her head, saying, This is all I have if it's not enough. Qin Mo stood up and said, It's enough. Gallus looked at Qin Mo in surprise. Then can you eliminate that giant rat? Qin Mo nodded, I will go now. After saying that, Qin Mo bid farewell to Gallus and turned to leave. Just as he exited the mayor's house, he received a friend message from Bolin. Bolin, big shot, I've gathered the 500 gold coins we talked about earlier. Where are you? He'll bring it to you. Qin Mo then remembered that Bolin still owed him 500 gold coins. He almost forgot. Meet me at the shop in trance. After replying to the message, Qin Mo walked toward the shop. A few minutes later, Qin Mo arrived at the shop entrance where Bolin was already waiting. As soon as Bolin saw Qin Mo, he smiled warmly and said, Big shot, thanks to you, I didn't lose a level last time. Here is the 500 gold coins. As Bolin spoke, he opened the gifting page, entered the amount of gold, and then clicked confirm. Immediately, a system prompt popped up. Player, how you Bolin is sending you 500 gold coins. Do you accept? Qin Mo clicked accept, and 500 gold coins were credited to his account. At this moment, Bolin smiled again. That day I counted and you consumed 9 bottles of basic life potions to protect me. Since it was to protect me, these potions should be provided by me. Bolin said, sending Qin Mo another gift, this time 9 bottles of basic life potions. In order to build a closer relationship with Qin Mo, Bolin was quite willing to spend some money. After all, he himself wouldn't dare to carry 9 bottles of potions at once. Although Bolin had money, no one wanted to be a spendthrift. However, the power Qin Mo displayed was simply too. Thus Bolin, or rather the Haoyue guild, believed that as long as they could bring Qin Mo into the guild, spending a little money was completely worthwhile. Seeing the potions Bolin sent, Qin Mo hesitated for a moment, but chose to accept them. It was just right that he needed to prepare some potions to fight the BOSS, and it wouldn't be considered as owing Bolin a favor, so why not take it? After handing over the potions, Bolin chatted with Qin Mo for a few more moments before tactfully taking it. Qin Mo then turned and walked into the shop, buying 2 more bottles of basic life potions. You lost 10 gold coins. You gained basic life potions X2. The spending spree was triggered, bringing Qin Mo's armor and magic resistance back to their limits. A level 10 swordsman with 1000 attack power, 100 points of armor. This could be said to have reached the peak of combat power for players at this stage. After checking his stats, Qin Mo left the shop and headed toward the abandoned mine. The abandoned mine was located south of Longxi town. It was still quite a distance away. After exiting Longxi town and walking south for nearly an hour, Qin Mo finally arrived at the site. This was a fairly large copper mine, now abandoned for many years, with most of the factory buildings having collapsed. Seeing the attributes of the source of the plague, Qin Mo couldn't help but click his tongue in astonishment. It must be said that as a level 10 BOSS, it was incredibly strong. He had already learned about its two skills from the information released by the Fire Cloud Guild in his previous life. Raging Shot. The source of the plague enters a berserk state, allowing attacks to penetrate all targets within a 20-meter radius, dealing damage to all targets in a straight line for 10 seconds, cooldown time 45 seconds. Poisonous Shot. The source of the plague's attack deals an additional 80 points of magic damage, high damage, high chaos damage, and AoE capability. Such a boss is simply a nightmare for beginners in the early stages of the game. Normally, players at this point in time would need to form a group to have any chance of defeating a boss. When a group of inexperienced beginners stands before the source of the plague, one can imagine the scene. In his previous life, Tian Yu from the Fire Cloud Guild brought 40 players and barely managed to kill it after 3 attempts. However, for Qin Mo, the skills of the source of the plague did not seem that formidable. Since Qin Mo was fighting alone, the AoE skills were practically useless against him. As for the 80 points of magic damage dealt with each attack, it couldn't break through Qin Mo's defenses with his 100 magic resistance. While Qin Mo was checking the attributes, the source of the plague had already begun to move. Berserk. As these words appeared above the source of the plague, its hands glowed red, and the raging shot was whoosh. An arrow shot through Qin Mo's body and landed on the rock wall. 170, a red damage number popped up, and Qin Mo's health bar instantly dropped by nearly half. At the same time, Qin Mo also moved. It was the perfect time to test his 2 new skills. Spending it all, Qin Mo currently had 1920 gold coins, so he decided to splurge and directly consume 500 gold coins to maximize his damage. In the next moment, the wooden sword in Qin Mo's hand was enveloped in golden light and thrown. As the wooden sword flew, the golden light grew more intense, even leaving a golden tail behind resembling a falling coin. Pretty cool. Quite a display of wealth. In the next second, the wooden sword wrapped in golden light accurately struck the chest of the source of the plague. 3430, a red number jumped up, and the health bar of the source of the plague dropped by more than half. This damage was truly satisfying to behold, though it was a bit costly. After the skill ended, the wooden sword reappeared in Qin Mo's hand. Qin Mo immediately moved closer to the source of the plague, and after spending it all entered cooldown, he could only engage in close combat. At that moment, the second arrow from the source of the plague shot out as well. 170, another red number popped up, and Qin Mo was left with only 40 health points. While maneuvering, Qin Mo took out a basic health potion and consumed it. 200, a green light flashed, and Qin Mo's health rose back to 2/3. At this point, Qin Mo had finally rushed to the front of the source of the plague. Shadow Blade. Qin Mo immediately cast his other skill. Mana 40. In the next moment, a white light appeared in Qin Mo's hand. As Qin Mo swung the wooden sword, 3 afterimages appeared beside him, attacking along with him. 930,430,430,000. 434 red damage numbers jumped simultaneously. Although the afterimages dealt only 50 damage when attacking the same target as the main body. But under Qin Mo's terrifying attack power, this single skill dealt 2,220 points of damage to the source of the plague. The source of the plague was instantly left with only 230 health points. At this moment, the source of the plague had just shot its 3rd arrow. 170, the damage number popped up, and Qin Mo was left with 70 health points. At the same time, Qin Mo swung his wooden sword and struck out. 230, a red damage number popped up, and the health bar of the source of the plague was completely empty. 2 skills plus 1 normal attack, and he defeated the level 10 hidden boss. From start to finish, Qin Mo killed the source of the plague in just 5 seconds. Is it really 1 hour of travel and 5 seconds of monster grinding? As the source of the plague fell, a system prompt appeared before Qin Mo. You have defeated the hidden boss, the source of the plague. You have gained 5,000 experience points. 5,000 experience points is already quite substantial. Unfortunately, Qin Mo did not level up. After reaching level 10, the amount of experience required for each level increases significantly. However, Qin Mo was still quite satisfied, as defeating a hidden boss is an opportunity not available to everyone, and these 5,000 experience points put him ahead of other players. After the source of the plague fell, it dropped a plethora of items. Qin Mo stepped forward to pick them up one by one. You have obtained the item Corrupted Bow. You have obtained the item Cunning Ring. You have obtained the material Poisonous Gem. You have obtained the item Tail of the source of the plague. You have obtained 100 gold coins. After picking up the loot, Qin Mo glanced at the attributes. Corrupted Bow, level 10, grade black iron, attack power 50, attack speed 10. Cunning Ring, level 10, grade black iron, attack speed 10, special effect, each attack deals an additional 20 points of magic damage. Poisonous Gem, grade 1, description, a crafting material used to enhance weapons. Enhancement effect, after successful enhancement, the weapon gains an additional 1 point of true damage with each attack. These are all good items. At this point in time, these few items are practically divine artifacts. The corrupted bow and cunning ring are considered top tier among level 10 black iron equipment. As for the poisonous gem, although its enhancement effect is average, it is still the only item available at this stage that can enhance weapons. Qin Mo clearly remembered that in his previous life, players only began to obtain such enhancement items after reaching level 20. As for the half-meter long tail of the source of the plague, it is a material for exchanging rewards with the town chief. This haul of loot was quite satisfying. After collecting the loot, Qin Mo clapped his hands and turned to leave. After emerging from the hidden space, Qin Mo returned to the black stone in Cave No. 2. At this moment, the system finally displayed the prompt: you have achieved the achievements of first player to defeat level 10 boss and first player to defeat level 10 hidden boss. Would you like to publish an announcement? Publishing the announcement will grant you 20 reputation points. Without hesitation, Qin Mo chose to publish it. You have gained 20 reputation points. Meanwhile, on the World Channel, congratulations to player Mo Ku for achieving the accomplishments of first player to defeat level 10 boss and first player to defeat level 10 hidden boss. Achievement details. The announcement rolled 6 times on the World Channel. The World Channel immediately erupted in excitement. Oh my god, I can barely kill a mouse, and there's already a big shot farming level 10 boss. It's Mo. Who on earth is this big shot? It's only been less than 6 hours since the server opened. This big shot has already farmed 2 hidden bosses. Are there really that many hidden bosses in this game? While we are racking our brains to kill small monsters to level up, the big shot has already made killing hidden bosses a routine meal. 2 meals a day. After level 5, all major guilds will start to exert their strength, and there will likely be many such big shots appearing soon. Indeed, everyone's unique talents vary. Perhaps Mo's talent is strong early on, but will be overshadowed by the larger guilds as levels increase. Wait, did you all see the achievement details? Mo Ku single-handedly took down the boss in just 5 seconds. Countless question marks flooded the screen. That's absurd. It's outrageous. What does it mean to kill a boss in 5 seconds? Who has killed a boss? Can someone share their experience? So far it seems only Mo Ku has killed a boss. Let me put it this way: how many of you can kill a wild monster in 5 seconds? I don't want to play anymore. I've died to a mouse 9 times, and am still level 1. Qin Mo left the abandoned mine and returned to Longxi Town. On the way, he glanced at the mission status: main quest, assist the military of Longxi Town in dealing with the demon plague. Note the quest will be activated after recruiting 5,000 players. 1877500. Already 1877 people. The progress isn't too slow. After accepting the task, Qin Mo first visited the town mayor's house, and then spent a considerable amount of time traveling to the abandoned mine, which has already taken nearly 2 hours. During this time, the various guilds were putting in effort using collective strength to push core players to level 10 first, and then finding ways to help other players level up after the core players change classes. In this situation, as more and more players from major guilds reached level 10, the speed of leveling up other players also accelerated. The number of players reaching level 10 across the server is increasing rapidly. However, at this stage, most of those who can reach level 10 are still the core players of the top guilds. As for ordinary players, there are very few who can reach level 10 by their own efforts at this time. A few minutes later, Qin Mo checked the mission status again. Main quest: assist the military of Longxi Town in dealing with the demon plague. Note the quest will be activated after recruiting 5,000 players. 221-85000. The rate of increase in numbers is indeed getting faster. At this rate, by the time Qin Mo returns to Longxi Town, the quest should be just about ready to activate. As he walked, he suddenly received a message from a friend. Bolon, Master, you've defeated another hidden boss. Congratulations. Qin Mo, what's up? Bolon, I just wanted to ask if there's anything from the hidden boss that you want to sell at. The price is negotiable. It turned out to be about this, and Qin Mo smiled slightly. I have to say, Bolon is quite proactive. In fact, most of the top guilds are trying to get in touch with Qin Mo right now. Given Qin Mo's current dazzling performance, he is naturally the target that all major guilds want to recruit. Even if they can't win him over, being able to buy some equipment dropped by the hidden boss from him is also worthwhile. However, so far Bolon is the only one who has Qin Mo as a friend, so he is indeed in a favorable. After thinking for a moment, Qin Mo directly sent Bolon the attributes of the 3 items dropped by the source of the plague: corrosive bow, cunning ring, and toxic gem. Qin Mo, you give me a price. Bolon was instantly excited. So many good items. Master, please wait a moment. Let me take a careful look before I give you a quote. Seeing the attributes sent by Qin Mo, Bolon was indeed thrilled. A top guild like the Haoyue Guild has dedicated personnel to analyze and organize various game data. They have collected data on all levels of black iron equipment available in the shop and concluded the attributes of the equipment available in the shop are generally below average. However, the corrosive bow and cunning ring have attributes that exceed the 10-level black iron equipment available in the shop by 40. At this stage, these items can be considered top-notch. For top guilds, anything that can give them an advantage at this stage is worth spending any amount of money, even if such equipment will turn into trash in a few days. However, for Qin Mo, he generally does not value the equipment of this stage. Firstly, Qin Mo's combat power does not rely on equipment at all. Secondly, the benefits that an equipment itself can bring are usually far less than what he can gain by converting it into gold. Even if Qin Mo's attack power and defense attributes have already reached the level cap, he would still choose to exchange equipment for money. Even now, it is very likely that Qin Mo is the richest player in the server, but he still needs money. Increasing attack power costs money. Increasing defense attributes costs money. Learning skills costs money. Even casting skills costs money. Most importantly, the growth conditions for his exclusive talent are also related to money. Therefore, Qin Mo feels that entering destiny in this life is like falling into a money pit. Until he has enough gold coins, he will not consider exchanging money for equipment. Except for essential items like potions, everything else that can be turned into money will be exchanged for money, and only for gold coins. A few minutes later, Qin Mo received another message from a friend. Bolon, Master, sorry to keep you waiting. I discussed with the guild the price of 10 level black iron equipment in the shop is 600 gold coins per piece, but yours is top-notch, so let's calculate it at 900 gold coins per piece. As for the toxic gem, there are no such items in the shop. It's the first in the entire server. Considering everything, let's estimate it at 1,200 gold coins. With these 3 items, that makes a total of 3,000 gold coins. Master, does that sound good to you? Seeing Bolan's message, Qin Mo nodded in satisfaction. I have to say the sincerity of the Hoard guild is quite strong. This price has even exceeded Qin Mo's psychological expectations. Qin Mo replied, okay, gather the money. Bolan replied immediately, I'll contact you in half an hour. Since the game open, players are finally not as poor as they were at the beginning. Although most players still do not have much money, an average of a few gold coins is still there. 3,000 gold coins is still not a small amount, but it is not as difficult for the Hoard guild to gather it as it was at first. After closing the chat window, Bolan quickly made arrangements in the guild channel to start purchasing gold coins. Then Bolan opened the Hoard guild senior management chat channel and sent a message, Mo Ku has agreed to sell us the equipment. In this channel, there are only 6 people in total. 5 of them are vice presidents of the Hoard guild, and the remaining one is the president. Qin Kong, what is the background of this Mo Ku? Is it really possible for a lone player to be this strong? Bolan, from the current information, he does indeed operate alone. Xian Shouken Long, such a person must be brought into the guild as soon as possible. Oh, it's worth spending more money. Xing Jian, indeed, although he is relatively close to us now, if we delay any longer, he may be recruited by other guilds, and then he will become our competitor. Bolan, I've been looking for opportunities to get closer to him, and the progress has been quite good so far. Bolan, this person is quite reclusive. My idea is that we shouldn't be too eager for success, or it may backfire. Hua Luo, I agree, even if we can't get him to join our guild, we at least can't become enemies with him. Qin Kong, isn't that a bit too cautious? A lone player, no matter how strong, can only make so many waves. Once everyone levels up, he will just be another player in front of top guilds. Bolan, if you had seen his combat power with your own eyes, you probably wouldn't think that way. Xing Jian, do we have any information about his attributes? Bolan, last time in the Longxi forest, I personally spent 500 gold coins to have him protect me from dying. Based on the data, when he was fighting monsters, I calculated that his attack power was over 460 points and his armor was 80 points. Bolan, at that time he was level 8. Xing Jian, wow. Qin Kong, wow. Xian Shouken Long. Time passed by slowly. Nearly an hour later, Qin Mo finally returned to Longxi town. Looking at the mission status again, main quest: assist the military of Longxi town in dealing with the demon plague. Note the quest will be activated after recruiting 5,000 players. 4377500. Looking at the time, there is still time to go find Gallus and the mayor to claim the rewards. After entering Longxi town, Qin Mo first walked towards the town mayor's house. However, just as Qin Mo entered Longxi town, a player who had been standing at the south entrance of the town in a daze silently sent a message to Tian Yu. Vice President, I saw him, but we just returned to Longxi town from the south. On the other side, in the square of Longxi town, over 3,000 players waiting for the main quest to start had all. Tian Yu and a group of players from the Hoyun Guild were among them, all at level 10. Upon receiving the news, Tian Yu immediately whispered to a few others, Mo Ku is back. According to reliable sources, that guy's attack power had already exceeded 460 when he was at level 8, and his armor even reached 80 points. Hearing Tian Yu's words, everyone showed shocked expressions. Tian Yu said solemnly, everyone don't panic. Although he has high attributes, we are not to be underestimated either. Let's find an opportunity to control him and attack together. We can definitely take him down. As long as we can make him die once and drop a level, we can kill him a second and third time. I will definitely make him drop back to level 1. Tian Yu said, his eyes filled with resentment. He is now fully equipped with black iron gear and has obtained a high damage skill after changing classes, feeling quite... The players he summoned this time have physical attackers with damage over 100 points and magic users who can deal over 100 points of damage as well. No matter how powerful Qin Mo is, his defense attributes always have a level cap. He can't exceed 100, right? As long as Qin Mo's defense does not exceed 100, of these players can inflict damage on him. Even if the damage is low, a swarm of ants can kill an elephant. Moreover, the biggest confidence Tian Yu has in attacking Qin Mo is that they have a mage player who obtained a control skill after changing classes capable of imposing a 3-second control on a single target. While Tian Yu briefed his subordinates on the operational details, Qin Mo had already returned to the town mayor's modest 2-story residence. This time, as soon as Qin Mo arrived at the entrance, the maid bowed respectfully and said, "Honorable guest Miss Clarice is upstairs." Qin Mo nodded and ascended effortlessly to the 3rd floor. Clarice remained languidly seated by the window, basking in the sun. Her face bore a sickly pallor from her injury, and her entire demeanor exuded profound exhaustion. Upon seeing Qin Mo, Clarice immediately rose to her feet. "You're back. That giant rat." Qin Mo nodded. "It has been dealt with. I've brought its tail back. Would you like to see it?" At these words, Clarice's expression flickered faintly. I dare not look. And besides, I trust you." She then produced a pouch of gold coins and the jade bracelet, handing them to Qin Mo. "Brave warrior, this is your promised reward." Qin Mo accepted them with a quiet nod. A system prompt instantly appeared before him. "You have obtained 500 gold coins. You have obtained an item, Flowing Cloud Bracelet." Qin Mo lifted the bracelet for a glance. Flowing Cloud Bracelet attributes. Description: a delicate bracelet intended for women. You cannot wear it. Attributes: unknown. Such a description was indeed startlingly perfunctory. Had Qin Mo not been reborn, even if he had held this very bracelet, he would never have realized it was the key to unlocking the hidden realm. No wonder that secret realm had remained sealed throughout his past life. Qin Mo tucked the bracelet away and took his leave of Clarice. With some time still remaining before the main quest activated, he needed to visit the mayor to claim his reward. Compared to the 500 gold coins Clarice had offered, the mayor's reward was undoubtedly far more substantial. Soon Qin Mo arrived once again at the administrative office. Military recruitment was nearing completion. A fierce battle against the monstrous creatures outside the town loomed ever closer, and the entire administrative office buzzed with frantic activity. Inside the office, the mayor was conferring with the Longxi Town Legion commander about battle strategy when Qin Mo appeared at the door. Both men instantly ceased their discussion. The Legion commander glanced at Qin Mo. "Young man, combat begins shortly. Please proceed to the plaza and await deployment alongside the others." Qin Mo replied, "I've come to see the mayor." "Young man, I'm extremely busy at the moment. Please return after the battle concludes." Qin Mo said calmly, "I've just resolved the matter concerning the assailant who injured Miss Clarice." At these words, both the mayor and the Legion commander subtly shifted in expression. The Legion commander's voice hardened. "Who doesn't know Miss Clarice was bitten by a mutated bloodthirsty rat? Young man, did you eliminate every single one of those mutated bloodthirsty rats?" Tiring of further delay, Qin Mo simply withdrew the half-meter-long tail of the plague source. "I trust no further explanation is necessary." The instant the half-meter rat tail came into view, both the mayor and the Legion commander froze in stunned silence. "This is..." The Legion commander strode forward, seized the tail, and scrutinized it closely, then uttered incredulous, "It truly is its tail." Hearing this, the mayor hurried over, examined the severed tail himself, and stared at Qin Mo astonished. "That monster, you slew it." Qin Mo gave a slight nod. The mayor studied him anew, up and down, and murmured, "Unbelievable. Young man, you are truly extraordinary." Indeed, this colossal rat had long plagued Longxi Town. The military had launched multiple expeditions to eradicate it, each ending in total annihilation. The narrow confines of the mine tunnels nullified all numerical advantage. Sending in more troops merely meant feeding more lives to certain death. For a time, Longxi Town stood utterly helpless before the plague source. The mayor himself lost sleep over it. To prevent mass panic, the mayor had even refrained from publicly acknowledging its existence. And yet, this young man standing before him had slain it. With that thought, the mayor released a deep, steadying breath. "Young man, you have rid Longxi Town of a grave calamity. I must express my deepest gratitude." As he spoke, the mayor raised his right hand, and a streak of white light pierced into Qin Mo's body. "This is your reward. Please do not refuse it." The moment the words left his lips, a system prompt flashed before Qin Mo. "You have gained 500 experience points. You have obtained an item, Hero's Armor. You have gained 1000 gold coins." As the rewards registered, a golden radiance cascaded from above Qin Mo, lifting him to level 11. At this juncture, the vast majority of players were still struggling desperately to reach level 10. Even those few who had succeeded waited anxiously for the main questline to commence. Yet Qin Mo had already ascended to level 11, utterly beyond the expected progression curve. After accepting the rewards, Qin Mo reviewed the attributes of the hero's armor. Hero's armor level 10 tier black iron constitution, 6 armor 25. A quintessential warrior's gear. For warriors post first class promotion, each point of constitution granted 30 additional hit points. This armor thus conferred 180 extra hit points and 25 armor, a truly exceptional set of stats for its level. At a time when most players wore nothing but tattered makeshift gear, this piece would be fiercely coveted on the market. Another handsome sum of gold awaits me, Qin Mo mused cheerfully. After all, it was warrior equipment. He couldn't wear it himself. And even if he could, he'd still prefer converting it directly into gold. So naturally selling it was the only course. Bidding farewell to the mayor and the Legion commander, Qin Mo departed the administrative office and made his way toward the plaza. En route, he sent a message to Bolin, "I have another piece of equipment. Interested?" He then transmitted the full attribute sheet of the hero's armor. Seconds later, Bolin replied, "Holy Master, did you just slay another boss?" Qin Mo responded, "It's a quest reward." "What quest grants gear of this caliber? Just say yes or no. If you want it, name your price." "Yes, absolutely yes. Master, please wait. I'll send you the offer right away." After another dozen seconds, Bolin messaged again, "Master, this piece is slightly inferior to the previous two. I'll offer 800 gold. Does that suit you?" Qin Mo paused briefly. "Accepted." Bolin instantly replied, "Perfect. I've just gathered enough gold. Where are you? Let's meet at the plaza." "Agreed." Moments later, Qin Mo arrived at Longxi Town's central plaza. The plaza teemed with crowds, every single one a level 10 player. Scanning the throng, Qin Mo noted that nearly every player's ID bore the prefix of some guild or faction. At this stage, reaching level 10 marked one as a core member of a major guild. The moment Qin Mo entered the plaza, nearby players turned their heads curiously. "Is this the legendary Master Ink visitor? What's going on? Why is he wearing only starter gear? That's not what I imagined at all. Right? A master of his stature should at least be decked out in black iron gear. Could this Ink visitor possibly be an imposter? IDs are unique. How could anyone impersonate him? Probably he's deliberately keeping a low profile. Maybe he's even removed all his gear." "Exactly. And look at his level, level 11. Go ahead, try impersonating that." "Holy, how did he even reach level 11? Impossible. I've completed every available quest and cleared every possible mob, and still capped at level 10. Don't forget, he's already slain 2 hidden bosses. Truly worthy of a master." Players chattered animatedly, soon drawing a wide circle of unavoidable really. The ID Ink visitor having appeared 3 times in official system announcements, coupled with Qin Mo's unprecedented level 11 status, rendered him impossible to ignore. Qin Mo ignored the crowd entirely, retreating quietly to a corner to await Bolin. The players meanwhile instinctively kept their distance, gathering nearby to watch, hushed and fascinated. Soon Bolin finally broke free from the press of spectators. "Master, I'm here." He rushed forward with an apologetic grin. "I spotted you the moment you arrived, but there were so many people crowding around you it took me ages to squeeze through." Qin Mo shook his head, smiling faintly. "Did you gather the gold?" Bolin nodded eagerly. "Gold's easier to acquire now. I even had my people prepare extra just to ensure a smooth transaction with you." Qin Mo nodded. "Then let's proceed." Instantly a system prompt appeared. "Player Full Moon Bolin requests a trade. Accept." Qin Mo confirmed acceptance, then placed 4 items into the trade interface: the corrosive bow, the cunning ring, the venomous gem, and the hero's armor, and entered the agreed amount, 380 gold coins. On the other side, Bolin confirmed payment, and the trade was complete. 3,800 gold coins have been credited. Looking at the 6,820 gold coins in his backpack, Qin Mo revealed a satisfied smile. "Comfortable. This is barely acceptable, but it's still not enough." With nearly 7,000 gold coins, he hasn't even triggered the prompt for the exclusive talent upgrade. How many gold coins are needed for the next upgrade? And 6,820 gold coins, while it seems like a lot, is only enough for Qin Mo to use the skill, throwing money away about 10 times at full damage. He still needs to think of ways to earn more money and increase his strength. After glancing at his attributes, Qin Mo discovered that his defense attribute remained at 100 points after reaching level 11, leaving him with 10 points for improvement. That won't do. It must be maxed out. With that thought, Qin Mo turned to Bolin and asked, "Do you have any life?" Bolin was slightly taken aback, then immediately nodded yes. He then took out 5 bottles of basic life potions and said, "Great one, let's not be polite this time and consider it a gift for trading with us." Qin Mo decisively shook his head, "No, I'll buy them for 2 bottles. Bolin smiled wryly. At this point, basic life potions weren't that precious for a top-tier guild. Isn't it a simple favor that the Great One refuses to accept? It seems the Great One is quite sensitive about money. I must be cautious not to offend him." Thinking of this, Bolin no longer insisted and proactively initiated a trade invitation with Qin Mo. Qin Mo, of course, was simply wanting to spend some money to trigger throwing money away, completely unaware of Bolin's assumptions. The two completed the transaction, with Qin Mo spending 10 gold coins to purchase 2 bottles of basic life. At this moment, Qin Mo took another look at his attribute panel. IDMO Ku level 11 health 4, 20 mana, 300 attack power, 1100 armor, 110 magic resistance, 110 attack speed 1. 2s. Attributes strength 34, constitution 21, agility 21, spirit 20, defense 110, exclusive talent bounty hunter. Active skills: throwing money away, shadow blade. Passive skills: wealthy, throwing money away after transitioning to a swordsman. The attribute gains from leveling up have increased. Each level gained increases strength by 4 points, constitution by 2 points, agility by 2 points, and spirit and defense by 1 point each. Moreover, according to the swordsman's template, 1 point of strength increases attack power by 3 points. However, for Qin Mo, the values of attack power and defense have become largely independent of the class template. Now Qin Mo stands as the pinnacle of combat power among all players. The only level 11 player in the entire server. 1100 attack power, 110 armor, and magic resistance. After reviewing his attribute panel, Qin Mo glanced at the quest status in the top left corner. Main quest: assist the military of Longxi Town in eliminating the demon threat. Hint: the quest will unlock after recruiting 5,000 players. 499250000. We're almost there. The main storyline can be activated soon. Sure enough, a few seconds later, a system notification popped up before Qin Mo. Main quest: assist the military of Longxi Town in eliminating the demon threat has begun. Meanwhile, the deputy commander of the Longxi Town Guard stepped to the center of the square and stood on the fountain. Warriors, thank you for your willingness to fight for Longxi Town. The deputy commander shouted loudly. Recently, the monsters outside the town have become increasingly active, posing a serious threat to the safety of Longxi Town. Today is the day we completely eradicate these monsters. Our brave soldiers have prepared to battle on the eastern outskirts of Longxi Town, where a large number of monsters have gathered. Now all warriors join me in slaying the monsters. Defend our homeland. The deputy commander passionately rallied the troops from atop the fountain. The players below waited with little enthusiasm for the cutscene to end. This NPC is so long-winded. Yeah, this cutscene is way too long. When do we start killing monsters? I think it's fine. This game is so realistic, it's getting me pumped up. Once the deputy commander's speech concluded, as the system prompted all players to head to the eastern outskirts to fight, the players began to march towards the east. At that moment, a system notification appeared for all players. World quest: assist the military in eliminating the demon threat. 1 quest objective: repel the monster army's attack. Quest reward 1. Upon completion, all players will receive 100 experience points. Quest reward 2. Players recruited by the military will receive an additional 5,000 experience points upon completion. Quest reward 3. All players can receive additional rewards based on the number of monsters they kill. Quest reward 4. This quest will unlock the merit board. Players will earn corresponding merit points for killing monsters, and the top 100 players on the merit board will receive extra rewards. Quest reward 5. The player ranked first on the merit board will receive a unique special reward. Hint: in this world quest, players killed by monsters will not lose levels or equipment and can respawn after 1 minute to rejoin the battlefield. Special hint: if the quest fails, Longxi Town will be destroyed and all players will be forcibly logged out, with the game restarting after 1 month. Upon seeing this system notification, the players instantly erupted with excitement. Wow! Completing the quest means everyone gets 100 experience points. That's so awesome. The first 5,000 players to reach level 10 are truly the lucky ones. They also get an extra 5,000 experience points. I just reached level 10, and the recruitment number is already full. So frustrating. Talking about this now is pointless. We can still earn extra rewards from killing monsters, so let's just kill more. Considering the outrageous difficulty of wild monsters in this game, I feel like this quest won't be so simple. Damn, now that you've said that, I'm feeling anxious. Do you think we might get forced offline without even fighting? That shouldn't be the case, considering all those top-tier guild leaders are in the mix. Speaking of which, I feel like the merit board will probably just be about the competition among major guilds. Not necessarily. I think Mo could take the top spot. As the players hurried to the battlefield, they discussed a wide range of topics. Simultaneously, a leaderboard appeared in the upper right corner of all players' views. Merit board: current ranking none. The leaderboard remained empty as the players had yet to reach the battlefield. A few minutes later, a massive number of players arrived at the eastern outskirts of Longxi Town. It was a vast flat wasteland and natural battlefield. At this time, the Longxi Town Guard had already lined up in front, numbering around 100. Opposite them on the distant horizon, a dark mass could be seen, roughly estimated to number at least over 100,000. Upon closer inspection, it was the monster army. Damn, so many. Oh my, what are those things? Three-headed wolves, rats bigger than dogs. And skeletons too. They're all level 34 monsters, not that strong. But there are just too many. If we can't hold them back, it'll be... We have unlimited respawns and won't lose levels, so what are we afraid of, right? Let's just do it. Countless players quickly rushed to the battlefield. However, the players' strength levels varied greatly, with the top-tier combatants being a small group of level 10 players. The majority, accounting for 80% of the player population, ranged from levels 5 to 9. As for players below level 5, they were essentially just there to participate. Soon the monster army charged the Longxi Town Guard, and the players also charged forward, officially starting the great battle. Qin Mo, with his level 11 agility advantage, was almost at the forefront of the players. Not far behind him, Tian Yu followed closely with a group of players from the Huayun Guild. Quickly, the human army collided with the monster army. Qin Mo led the charge, and a level 3, three-headed magic wolf pounced at him. 200 Qin Mo swung his wooden sword, and a red damage number popped up, instantly killing the three-headed magic wolf. But soon 2 large magic rats and 3 three-headed magic wolves pounced towards Qin Mo. Qin Mo swung his wooden sword again, instantly killing another three-headed magic wolf. The other monsters simultaneously leaped onto Qin Mo. 000. A series of 0 damage numbers popped up, and Qin Mo's health remained completely unchanged. Monsters of this level posed no threat to Qin Mo. He disregarded all damage from the creatures and unleashed a massacre with his sword, taking down one monster after another. However, Qin Mo was aware that this was merely the first wave of monsters. As the battle continued, the creatures that rushed forth would become increasingly powerful and difficult to handle. Especially towards the end, there would be a bronze-grade boss. The armies of monsters and players were engaged in a fierce battle. Due to the varying strengths of the players, a chaotic situation quickly formed on the battlefield. 20 minutes later, the players at the forefront, like Qin Mo, had already breached the formation of the monster army and were about to cut through them. Meanwhile, the players at the back, who had just made contact with the monster army, found themselves stuck, as if trapped in a quagmire. As for Tian Yu and his group from the Fire Cloud Guild, they had intended to follow closely behind Qin Mo for a chance to ambush. However, just after the fighting began, they lost sight of even Qin Mo's shadow. Qin Mo moved through the monster army, as if strolling in his own backyard, slaying monsters with a single sword strike, without any decline in his health. Many players watched from a distance, stunned, as Qin Mo sliced through the monsters with ease. Wow, which NPC is that? That's not an NPC, that's the great god Mo Ku. Oh my god, monsters can be farmed like this. I can't be seeing this right. Those monsters can't even break his defense. This is too strong. He's almost cut through the monster army. Is this what a great god looks like? I feel like that's how you play a game while we are just looking for punishment. On the other side, Qin Mo had already left other players far behind. Even the soldiers of Longxi Town's guard couldn't keep up with his speed. You have killed one three-headed wolf and gained 20 merit points. You have killed one skeleton soldier and gained 20 merit points. Qin Mo's wooden sword was like the Grim Reaper's scythe, swiftly reaping the lives of the monsters. With the system prompts constantly popping up, Qin Mo had already slain tens of thousands of monsters. His merit points rose to 288,000. At that moment, the merit leaderboard showed first place, Mo Ku, 288,000 second place, Hao Yu Bolan 7,000 third place, Lei Ting Xiong Ba 71880 fourth place, Hao Yu Jing Tao 71820. Looking around, the top 100 on the merit leaderboard were almost all players from top guilds. Moreover, the merit points of players with similar rankings were very close, and rankings changed several times every second. Above these players, the ID Mo Ku stood out remarkably. Qin Mo had become the only free player in the top 100 of the merit leaderboard, and he was galloping ahead, far ahead of everyone. The group from the Hao Yu Guild, advancing in a collective manner, was one of the few besides Qin Mo that had killed a significant number of monsters. This was also because Qin Mo had sold all the equipment he had obtained earlier to the Hao Yu Guild, giving them a slight advantage over other guilds. Yet even so, they were still vastly outmatched by Qin Mo. While Bolan was farming monsters, he glanced at the merit leaderboard and could only shake his head with a wry smile. With a monster like Mo Ku, no one can hope for first place. Let's aim to secure as many spots in the top 100 as we can. The other players of the Hao Yu Guild nodded in agreement. Before today, they had only heard Bolan talk about how strong Mo Ku was, but it had only been hearsay. Now, witnessing Qin Mo's monstrous efficiency firsthand, everyone was deeply shocked. Not just Bolan, but almost all the top guilds capable of making it into the top 100 on the merit leaderboard came to the same conclusion upon seeing the leaderboard. There was no way to contend for first place. The first place on the merit leaderboard could earn a unique special reward, something all top guilds desired. But there was nothing to be done. Mo Ku was too formidable. The gap was too great. Even top guilds had no competitive edge against Qin Mo. Aside from the first place, the top 100 could all receive additional rewards. Thus, the goal of all top guilds shifted to securing as many spots in the top 100 as possible. Meanwhile, the battlefield was filled with many ordinary free players. Most of these players had not yet reached level 10 and lacked the cooperative capabilities of the top guilds, forcing them to fight alone. These players, lacking sufficient combat power and not understanding how to cooperate, suffered heavy casualties. Fortunately, during this task, players killed by monsters would not lose levels nor drop equipment, dying meant just reviving and coming back. Many players rushed back to the battlefield after reviving while discussing heatedly in the World Channel. Damn it. I finally farmed 60 merit points and dying made me lose it all. What a... Dying resets your merit points. No, I just had 180 merit points and after dying I still had 80 left. I rushed and got to 420 merit points and after dying once I still had 320 left. It's confirmed each death costs 100 merit points, but thankfully that's not too much. Not too much. I've not obtained a single merit point yet. I already have over 1000 merit points. If I can survive, I might have a chance to enter the top 100. Free players shouldn't even think about it or just look at the merit leaderboard. The top several hundred are all from the major guilds. Where do you think Great God Mo stands? Great God Mo is not an ordinary person. He is definitely first place. On the battlefield at the eastern outskirts of Longxi town. Half an hour into the battle, the first wave of the monster army was finally nearing annihilation. At this point, the human players had completely taken the initiative on the battlefield. A few minutes later, as the last monster on the battlefield was slain, everyone suddenly paused. Players looked at each other in confusion, seemingly unaccustomed to the sudden quiet. At this moment, the players were completely dispersed across the vast battlefield. Qin Mo stood alone at the front, over 500 meters ahead of the nearest player. Most players looked around with expressions of disbelief. Is that it? While this task wasn't difficult at all, they said if we failed, we'd be forced offline. It just feels too simple, doesn't it? Is this the world task? This is it. This is it. Come on, I can still kill 1000 more monsters. Damn it. I'm ranked 101 on the merit leaderboard, and you tell me the monsters are gone. Just as everyone was discussing, someone suddenly exclaimed, "Look, it seems like more monsters are coming from the distance." In an instant, everyone looked up towards the front. On the horizon, a dark mass of monsters was gathering again. That is, what the hell, it's a silver fox. Wow, this wave of three-headed wolves is much larger than the last ones. What are those gray shadows? Standing at the front, Qin Mo was also preparing for the second round of battle. However, he still felt very relaxed. The second wave of monsters consisted of level 5 to 8 creatures. These monsters still couldn't break Qin Mo's defense. Their health was also insufficient for him to slay with a single sword strike. To Qin Mo, these monsters were merely walking merit points. However, the other players were not so relaxed. Even level 10 players faced pressure from level 8 monsters, let alone those under level 10, where even the level 6 silver foxes made them feel immense pressure. After all, they had just recently experienced the fear of being dominated by the silver fox. The distant monster tide began to charge forward, a dark mass rushing towards them. Qin Mo raised his wooden sword, standing at the front ready to start the slaughter again. Behind Qin Mo, the players from various guilds were pushing forward in groups, eager to engage with the monster tide and farm more merit points. Among these groups, one was rapidly closing in on Qin Mo's direction. On the other side, Bo Lan noticed the situation and realized with a closer look that it was Tian Yes group from the Fire Cloud Guild. With nearly 40 players from the Fire Cloud Guild, all level 10, they were charging towards Qin Mo under Tian Yes lead. Meanwhile, Qin Mo had his back turned to them, completely unaware. Bo Lan's expression changed. Not good. Tian Yu and his crew are trying to ambush Great God Mo. Beside him, Jing Tao glanced over. Should we go help him? Helping him out now might just convince him to join our guild. Hai Lang shook his head. We're too far away, we won't make it. The distance was too great, and the noise on the battlefield was too loud. Even if Bo Lan shouted out, Qin Mo wouldn't hear. With no other choice, Bo Lan opened his friend list and sent Qin Mo a message. Be careful, Great God. The Fire Cloud Guild members are coming for you. However, just seconds after Bo Lan sent the message, Tian Yu and his group had already charged up behind Qin Mo. Tian Yu laughed loudly. Kid, you're finished. As Tian Yu's voice fell, the 42 level 10 players of the Fire Cloud Guild had completely surrounded Qin Mo, forming a battle formation. A line of warriors stood at the front, interspersed with melee classes such as swordsmen and knife wielders, while archers and mages occupied the perimeter, with priests providing support in the back. One must admit that as core players of a top-tier guild, the coordination of these 42 individuals was quite impressive. As the formation spread out, one of the mages waved his staff to cast a skill. Suddenly, several vines emerged from the ground, wrapping around Qin Mo completely. Imprisoned. A negative status prompt popped up above Qin Mo's head, and he immediately entered a state of immobility. Tian Yu immediately shouted, "Focus fire, and take him down now." In an instant, all 42 players moved simultaneously. Tianyu led the charge, the first to swing his large sword at Qin Mo. At this moment, Tianyu was clad in level 10 black iron gear, and his attack power had reached 160. Additionally, he had gained a new skill after his class change, which, when activated, guaranteed that the next 3 attacks would be critical hits, increasing damage by 50. Tianyu was confident. Even if Qin Mo had high defenses, these 3 strikes would surely take away a significant portion of his health. Coupled with the players from the Fire Cloud Guild, every damage dealer could deal over 100 points of damage per second. Disregarding Qin Mo's damage reduction, even if each player dealt 10 to 20 points of damage per second, they could overwhelm Qin Mo with sheer damage. In the blink of an eye, Tianyu's large sword struck Qin Mo. 9. A red damage number popped up. Defense broken. Upon seeing that the damage number was not 0, Tianyu felt a surge of excitement. However, when he clearly saw the damage number, his expression froze for a moment. How could it only be 9 points of damage? According to his expectations, this strike should have dealt at least around 20 points of damage. Without giving Tianyu much time to think, a flurry of attacks and skills from the players of the Fire Cloud Guild followed, all landing on Qin Mo. 84602. A series of damage numbers continuously popped up above Qin Mo's head, yet they were all single-digit damages. Some even failed to break through his defenses. However, quantity leads to quality. Although everyone's damage was very low, their numbers made up for it. Qin Mo's health bar was visibly decreasing at a steady pace. Seeing this, Tianyu could only grit his teeth and continue attacking regardless of anything else. Although the damage did not reach the expected values, it was still enough to chip away at his health. Since they had already attacked, Tianyu had no way back now. Even if the damage was minimal, Tianyu could only hope to defeat Qin Mo within the 3 seconds of control. 4057. One value after another popped up above Qin Mo's head as his health continued. Soon Qin Mo's health bar dropped below half. However, having just reached level 10, most players only had 1 or 2 skills. After the initial burst of skills ended, the damage output from the players of the Fire Cloud Guild noticeably decreased. Especially for the mages, after using their 2 skills, they could only watch as they waited for cooldowns. Their normal attacks could not penetrate Qin Mo's defenses at all. Thus, although there was a 3-second control time, the true concentrated damage only lasted for the first 2 seconds. By the 3rd second, only swordsmen, knife wielders, and archers could barely deal some damage. Meanwhile, the speed at which Qin Mo's health bar was decreasing also slowed significantly. As the 3 seconds of control time ended, Qin Mo had 104 health points remaining. The 42 level 10 players of the Fire Cloud Guild had collectively dealt only 316 points of damage to Qin Mo in those 3 seconds. The moment the control state was lifted, Qin Mo moved. He first pulled out a bottle of basic health potion and drank it, a green light immediately shining around him. 200. Qin Mo's health bar quickly returned to near full. Simultaneously, he activated the skill Mana 40. In the next moment, Qin Mo swung his wooden sword at a warrior player standing directly in front of him. At the same time, 3 phantoms appeared around Qin Mo, all striking towards 3 other players. The closest players to Qin Mo were all warriors. However, to Qin Mo, the fragile backline was not much different. 520 billion, 500 million, 534,500. Considering the equipment bonuses at this stage, the level 10 warriors who had just undergone their first class change had health points around 500. Their armor generally hovered around 50 points. Such values were utterly insignificant before Qin Mo. With 1 strike, he killed 4 warrior players in an instant. Seeing this, Tianyu's face changed dramatically, and he hurriedly shouted, "Quick, continue to output. We need to overwhelm him with damage." The remaining players of the Fire Cloud Guild did not stop their attacks. Qin Mo's health continued to decrease. However, a pile of single-digit damage was simply insufficient to quickly kill Qin Mo. Qin Mo swung his wooden sword again, and yet another player from the Fire Cloud Guild fell. Regardless of the class of the players or the quality of their gear at this moment, they all fell to Qin Mo's sword. 1 sword, 1 kill. No matter how much health the target had, Qin Mo could deal that much damage with a single sword. He took out another bottle of basic health potion and drank it, his health nearly restored. Meanwhile, Qin Mo wielded his wooden sword effortlessly, unleashing a flurry of strikes. The players from the Fire Cloud Guild fell one after another like lambs to the slaughter. In just 10 seconds, 12 players from the Fire Cloud Guild had been killed by Qin Mo. Tianyu was now in a complete panic. He never expected that what he thought would be a well-prepared operation would result in such an outcome. In fact, if Qin Mo hadn't leveled up to 11 and maxed out his defense at 110 points, he might have truly fallen to Tianyu's hands. Although the increase from level 10 to 11 was only 10 points of defense, it was precisely this increase that caused the damage dealt by Tianyu and others to drop to single digits. It was these 10 points of defense that turned Tianyu's plan to focus fire and kill Qin Mo into a pipe dream. And once the focused attack failed to take down Qin Mo, it was an inevitable massacre by Qin Mo. As the core players of the Fire Cloud Guild fell one by one, their levels dropping to 9, Tianyu's scalp grew numb with anxiety. In this quest, there was a protective setting. Being killed by monsters wouldn't cause a loss of level or equipment, but being killed by players was not covered by this protection. The Firecloud Guild had only 42 players who had reached level 10 in the 114514 newbie village, and now only half remained. Tianyu hurriedly shouted, "Quick retreat. Everyone scatter." With Qin Mo being level 11, his agility was higher than most, making it unrealistic for 1 or 2 players to escape from him. However, with about 20 players left, if they all dispersed at once, Qin Mo couldn't possibly catch everyone. After receiving Tianyu's command, the members of the Firecloud Guild immediately scattered and fled. Qin Mo took a glance and quickly chased after Tianyu's direction. He couldn't be bothered to chase down everyone else, but he couldn't let Tianyu escape. Seeing that Qin Mo was fixated on him, a glimmer of despair flashed in Tianyu's eyes, and he simply stood still without running. As Qin Mo approached step by step, Tianyu gritted his teeth and shouted, "If you kill me again, it means war with the entire Firecloud Guild. Our Firecloud Guild is not without experts. If you truly provoke us, you'll find it impossible to move an inch in this game once we leave the newbie village. You better think it over." Qin Mo stepped in front of Tianyu, expressionless, raised his hand, and swung his sword. 380, a red damage number popped up, and Tianyu died on the spot, dropping 2 pieces of black iron gear on the ground. After that, Qin Mo wandered around picking up the equipment dropped by the recently slain players of the Firecloud Guild. 8 pieces of black iron gear and 17 whiteboard gear. Well, that's another pile of coins. As for Tianyu's threat of becoming enemies with the Firecloud Guild, Qin Mo didn't take it to heart at all. "If you strike at me, then of course I will strike back. What does it matter which guild you are?" Watching the remaining less than half of the level 10 players of the Firecloud Guild scatter and retreat, with even Tianyu being taken down by a single strike, the players watching from afar all wore complex expressions. Especially the group, led by Bolin, who had been paying attention to this side from the very beginning. Bolin smacked his lips. "The Mo master is truly fierce. These are 42 core players from a top guild, and in front of him, they are no different from minor monsters." The Shockwave exclaimed in shock, "So strong. It's like a single person is completely dominating an entire guild." The Surge sighed. Fortunately, the boss was wise and decided to befriend him from the start. This type of monster at this stage, any guild would have no way to deal with him. Just as the players reacted in various ways, suddenly an announcement popped up in front of all players. Detected that players Firecloud, Tianyu Firecloud, Liuguang Firecloud, Laojiu. A total of 42 players attacked other players in the World Task Battlefield, and their merit points are halved. In the system announcement, 42 IDs appeared in one breath, all belonging to members of the Huoyun Guild, and everyone had their merit points halved. Originally, the Huoyun Guild had 17 players occupying positions in the top 100 of the merit leaderboard. After the merit points were halved, they instantly fell outside the top 1,000. The players witnessing this erupted in excitement. So it turns out attacking players on the battlefield leads to punishment. That's right. Otherwise, if players start fighting among themselves, how can we complete this task? I'm dying of laughter. So many members of the Huoyun Guild lost levels and had their merit points halved. Whoa, I have another chance to break into the top 100. Huh, I was just at 107th place, and now I've jumped to 90th. I didn't do anything, and I reached 97th place just by lying down. This is so comfortable. While the players were heatedly discussing, the system issued another announcement. Detected player Mo killing other players in the World Task Battlefield, deducting all existing merit points. After the prompt appeared, the ID of Mo, who had been leading the merit leaderboard, instantly disappeared. As of just now, Qin Mo had accumulated a total of 586200 merit points, all of which were cleared. At this moment, the merit leaderboard showed first Haoyu Bolin 12640, second Haoyu Ejingtao 126380, third Tianqijian Pingchuan 126340. Looking at the leaderboard's changes, players first fell silent for a second, then erupted. Whoa, the merit points of Mo have been cleared. If I remember correctly, that was over 5800 merit points. Smack. Just like that, it's gone. This system is ridiculous. Clearly, it was the Huoyun Guild that attacked first, yet it punishes the great deity, Mo. Now I understand, no matter who strikes first, attacking a player deducts half, and killing a player clears it all. So because of the Huoyun Guild's attack, the great deity, Mo, lost the top spot on the merit leaderboard. If that's the case, then the ultimate ownership of the top spot on the merit leaderboard is uncertain. At this moment, the most excited group was undoubtedly the Haoyu Guild. Bolin watched as the ID Mo disappeared from the leaderboard, and his own ID instantly became number 1, nearly laughing out loud. This is possible. Jingtao was equally excited. Boss, if that's the case, we have a great chance. Hailing also chimed in. As long as we maintain our pace and hold our advantage, we really have a chance to take the first place. Bolin nodded slightly. But we can't be complacent. The merit points among everyone aren't that far apart, and we could be overtaken at any time. Alright, let's focus on defeating monsters for now. In fact, it wasn't just Bolin from the Haoyu Guild. The other top guilds also had their eyes lit up simultaneously. When Mo was dominant, everyone thought there was no chance to compete for the top spot. Now that Mo is gone, the top 100 on the merit leaderboard are tightly contested. The gap between the upper and lower ranks often only had a difference of 20 merit points. There was still a wave of monsters left, and it's uncertain who the first place would ultimately fall to. From the moment the monster army charged at the player army, to Tianyu leading the Huiyun guild members to attack Qin Mo, and then Qin Mo swiftly completing his counterattack, followed by the system's announcement of penalties for both sides, it all happened in less than a minute. Only at this moment did the monster army and the player army collide with each other. The slaughter commenced once more. Qin Mo, having been delayed by the Huiyun guild members for a while, lost some time to kill and loot, and at this point he had fallen quite a distance behind. Surrounded by players, the battle line was still 300 meters ahead. At this moment, players from all major top guilds were exceptionally excited, all wanting to do their utmost to contend for the first place on the merit leaderboard. After all, the unique special reward at this time node was simply too tempting. Some players who had died a few times earlier, remaining at level 34, had completely given up struggling and no longer ventured onto the battlefield. After all, going there would only lead to death, which was utterly pointless. There were still a considerable number of such players, and many began cheerfully betting on forums, wagering which top guild would ultimately take the first position on the merit leaderboard. Whether it was various top guilds or other casual players just joining in, everyone had already cast Mo. Everyone subconsciously excluded Qin Mo from the list of candidates for the first place on the merit leaderboard. This doesn't require much thought. Mo's merit points have been cleared, and now starting from scratch, how could he catch up with those ahead? Only Qin Mo did not think this way. He had just finished clearing the first wave of monsters, and he had already outpaced the others by so much. Isn't it just 580000 merit points? After clearing the second and third waves of monsters, wouldn't Qin Mo effortlessly accumulate a few million? There are still bronze grade bosses ahead. Therefore, while all the top guilds were striving to push forward, Qin Mo walked leisurely ahead. A few minutes later, while Bolin and the others at the forefront had already accumulated over 1,000 merit points, Qin Mo finally reached the battle line at a slow pace. Then Qin Mo began to swing his sword again. 300 A silver fox was killed on the spot. Qin Mo gained 30 merit points. The next second, with another sword strike, he instantly killed a large three-headed wolf. Another 30 merit points. As more and more monsters appeared before him, the players from the top guilds that had initially surged ahead soon fell into a tough battle. Meanwhile, Qin Mo advanced steadily, enduring the attacks of all the monsters, swinging his sword repeatedly. 5 minutes later, Qin Mo had already caught up with the players from various top guilds. Upon seeing Qin Mo continue to advance, killing one monster with each sword strike, while completely ignoring the monster's attacks, most felt a chill run down their spines. Whoa, he just killed a level 3 monster with a single sword strike, and now he's doing the same to level 8 monsters. What kind of attack power does the great deity, Mo have? High attack power is one thing, but does he not get damaged by level 8 monsters? Is he even human? Among all the players, only Bolin, who had seen the world, had already witnessed Qin Mo's monstrous attack and defense capabilities and managed to maintain his composure. Everyone else was stunned. Qin Mo ignored everyone's gazes and continued to forge ahead. Soon he surpassed all players and reached the forefront. In less than 10 minutes, Qin Mo had completely left all other players behind, killing his way into the pile of monsters. If one were to look down from above at this moment, the battlefield could roughly be divided into 3 lines. The last line had the longest engagement between the player army and the monster army. About 300 meters ahead was a group of players from various top guilds grouped in circular formations, working together diligently as they fought their way through the monster army. And a further 500 meters ahead was Qin Mo alone, strolling amidst the throngs of monsters. At this position, Qin Mo was attacked by more than 5 monsters at every moment. Yet Qin Mo's health remained completely undiminished as he kept repeating the motion of swinging his sword, reaping merit points. You have killed one silver fox, gaining 30 merit points. You have killed one large three-headed wolf, gaining 30 merit points. As Qin Mo swung his wooden sword, system prompts kept popping up. At this moment, Qin Mo glanced at his merit points: 32400. Merit leaderboard rank 2174. Qin Mo looked up at the endless tide of monsters ahead. At this rate, once he cuts through this wave, he should be able to return to the upper positions on the merit leaderboard. The players from the Haoyue Guild, led by Bolin, were the closest group to Qin Mo at this moment. After killing another large, three-headed wolf, Bolin instinctively glanced in Qin Mo's direction. 000. From a distance, one could only see the area of monsters in a frenzy and the zeros jumping up and down. Qin Mo's figure was completely submerged in the tide of monsters. If it weren't for the zeros representing unbroken defenses, still jumping, Bolin might almost lose track of Qin Mo's position. Time passed second by second. Players were finding it increasingly difficult to fight the monsters. Especially for the casual players, the frequency of being killed by monsters was increasing. The second wave of monsters was far greater in number than the first, seemingly endless to kill. Just then someone in the crowd shouted, "Whoa! Moku has returned to the top 100 on the merit leaderboard." The great deity Moku has once again made it back to the top 100 on the merit leaderboard. The voice was not loud, yet it caught the attention of many. These individuals quickly opened the merit list to check and soon discovered the ID Moku. Rank 97, Moku 558660. Damn. The great god Moku has swiftly returned to the 97th rank. What? How many monsters has he killed? While we struggle to fight, he slaughters monsters as if chopping vegetables. Can it be the same? More and more people began to discuss, and soon the news that Moku had reclaimed the 97th rank on the merit list spread throughout the battlefield. Quickly another exclamation arose: where? Isn't the 97th rank Moku? Damn, he has risen to the 91st rank. This is outrageous. In just a few minutes he has risen so much. The closer the ranking, the smaller the gap between players. With the speed at which the great god Moku kills monsters, his rank is bound to rise quickly. Indeed, at this rate it's not impossible for the great god Moku to reclaim first place. Damn, I was careless and forgot to add the great god Moku when the game started. As they watched Qin Mo's merit value skyrocketing like a rocket, his rank on the merit list also climbed higher, causing panic among the top guilds, especially for the Awaken guild and the Thunder guild. At this moment, the top positions on the merit list were essentially a competition between these two guilds. The first place kept switching between the IDs Awaken and Thunder Shonba. Both regarded each other as their biggest competitors and were constantly competing in silence. However, now both felt a tightness in their hearts and unconsciously began to pay attention to the rising speed of Moku's merit value. Although Qin Mo was still outside the top 50, there was still quite a distance between them. If it were any other player, they wouldn't have cared at all about someone ranked so far behind. But this was the great god Mo. For some reason, Bolin and Shonba both began to feel anxious. Bolin glanced at the merit list and suddenly gritted his teeth, saying to those around him, "You all weaken the monsters to low health. Let me take the last hit." Although Bolin had always intended to get closer to Qin Mo, the unique special reward for being number 1 on the merit list was something worth fighting for. The players of the Awaken guild immediately changed their tactics. The players standing in a row with Bolin all weakened the monsters to low health and stopped no longer killing monsters for merit value. They did their best to let Bolin collect as much merit value as possible. As a result, Bolin's merit value increased noticeably faster, and there was a hint of widening the gap with Shonba. On the other side, the people of the Thunder Guild also noticed something was wrong and immediately began to imitate the Awaken guild, trying to let as much merit value as possible go to Shonba for collection. As a result, the rankings of several players from the Awaken guild and Thunder Guild in the top 10 of the merit list began to drop and soon fell out of the top 10. Meanwhile, Bolin and Shonba quickly widened their gap from the players behind them. Half an hour passed. At this moment, the merit list showed first Awaken 828860, second Thunder Shonba 828230, third Tianchujian Pingchuan 786,300. Other than the tight competition between Bolin and Shonba, the merit value gap behind them was gradually widening. Yet Bolin and Shonba remained extremely tense. Because Moku had already soared to the 17th rank on the merit list, Bolin felt a sense of urgency, as if he were being hunted. Moku is terrifying. Damn it, why didn't I push harder to bring him into our guild earlier? If he were in our guild, I could just relax now. On the other side, Shonba felt like cursing as well. Although he was competing with Bolin, the most pressing threat for him was the 17th ranked Moku. This feeling of being chased forward was truly uncomfortable. Compared to the tense Bolin and Shonba, Qin Mo appeared much more relaxed. Qin Mo simply kept swinging his sword, killing the monsters in front of him, and then taking a couple of steps forward, unknowingly completely disconnecting from the other players. Looking up, Qin Mo saw a dense mass of monsters surrounding him, and behind him, he could no longer see the other players. However, directly in front of Qin Mo, he could already see the end of the monster army not far away. This indicated that Qin Mo was about to break through the monster army once again. Qin Mo glanced at the merit list. He had already reached the 15th rank. Given the current situation, finishing off this wave of monsters wouldn't be enough for him to reclaim the top rank. However, Qin Mo was not anxious. There was still a third wave of monsters and a boss to deal with. Half an hour later, this wave of monsters was finally defeated by the players. Bolin and Shonba were less than 100 meters apart. After killing the last few monsters in front of them, they exchanged glances and simultaneously looked ahead. 800 meters ahead of them, a blurry figure stood alone with a wooden sword. It was none other than Qin Mo. Bolin hurriedly checked the merit list. First Awaken 884630, second Thunder Shonba 884,600, ninth Moku 757,600. Seeing Qin Mo's rank, Bolin let out a deep breath. Thank goodness. I managed to keep my first place. With this thought, Bolin looked at Qin Mo's back and smiled. This monster is truly too fierce. Fortunately, the monsters have been killed. If he were allowed to kill for a while longer, he might have overtaken us all. On the other side, Xiongba looked at the merit list, seeing he lost to Bolin by a mere 30 points, feeling furious and stamping his feet. Damn it. Just one more monster. Behind me, Mo Ku is relentlessly pursuing, while in front Bolin is just out of reach. What kind of monsters are these? Meanwhile, the scattered players behind had also gradually cleared the monsters around them. The entire battlefield had once again come to an end. The players once again began to chatter excitedly. Damn, we finally finished. There were just too many monsters this wave. It's simply outrageous. With all players participating, a quest took over 3 hours. It was too difficult. I died a total of 6 times. So frustrating. I'm ranked 101 on the merit list. Speaking of which, the great god Mo Ku is truly fierce. He has forcefully climbed back to the 9th rank. Absolutely fierce. If he gets another wave of monsters, won't he just tear through the merit list? It's a pity that the great god Mo Ku was originally a secure first. It seems that the feud between the Huiyun Guild and the great god Mo Ku has solidified. The Huiyun Guild is not doing well either. Not only did they lose half their merit value, but many players were also pushed back to level 9 by the great god Mo Ku, losing quite a bit of equipment. Indeed, that wave turned the Huiyun Guild into a second-rate guild, instantly losing competitiveness on the back. Let me see. There isn't a single player from the Huiyun Guild in the top 300 of the merit list. It feels like after this quest ends, the great god Mo Ku and the Huiyun Guild are bound to clash. Damn, is it a battle between the top guild and the scattered gods? Just thinking about it is thrilling. I feel that as time goes on and everyone's levels rise, the great god Mo Ku might not be able to compete with the Huiyun Guild. After all, guilds grow stronger in the late game. It's hard to say. The great god Mo Ku is nearly invincible at this stage. Who knows how strong he can become in the future? At this moment, almost all players were on the battlefield. Some were very forward, some were relatively behind, and others simply lay flat, standing at the edge of the battlefield watching. A group of players turned the vast battlefield into a chat plaza, exchanging words while waiting for the quest rewards to be settled. A few minutes later, a player finally sensed something was wrong. Strange, why hasn't the system responded for so long? Could it be that the quest isn't complete? Impossible. Look, the monsters have been cleared. No, it seems like there are still monsters over there. The players turned their heads to look ahead. They saw a dark mass of monsters gathering on the horizon once again at some point in time. Damn. What? Is this quest never ending? Oh no, it seems they are all level 10 monsters. As they watched the approaching horde of monsters, the players' expressions grew grave. Seeing this, Bolin immediately wore a bitter smile. It's over. I absolutely cannot maintain first place. Amidst the varied reactions and discussions of the players, the army of monsters in the distance has already begun. At this moment, aside from a few players ranked just above 100 on the merit list who still wanted to fight for a place in the top 100, most players felt an undeniable sense of exhaustion. The monsters came in waves, far too many to handle. Even the top guilds, ranked among the few highest on the merit list, had lost the will to continue pushing for higher ranks. Everyone understood a certain fact: the top position on the merit list undoubtedly belonged to the great god Mo Ku. No matter what means these top guilds employed, they could never surpass Mo Ku. At this moment, the top guilds shared a common sentiment: they were tired and found it meaningless. The great god Mo Ku had essentially gifted them a wave of monster merit points, yet they still could not compete. At this time, both Bolin and Xiongba, who had been desperately grinding for half a day, felt an urge to just lay back and give up. They had fought fiercely for the top position, even sacrificing several spots in the top 100. In the end, they could only watch as the great Mo Ku trembled in triumph. Especially Bolin felt the most despairing. He was still ranked first in merit points, but not entirely, because he knew in his heart that it wouldn't be long before this position would become Mo Ku's ID. Soon the army of monsters collided with the players once again. Though everyone was already exhausted from the fight, they still needed to keep grinding for monsters. The Haoyue Guild and the Thunder Guild quickly adjusted their strategies, no longer simply allowing Bolin and Xiongba to kill the monsters, but instead trying to push as many of their own guild members into the top 100 as possible. As for Qin Mo, he took the lead from the very beginning, charging forward to slay the monsters. This wave of monsters was all level 10. The level 10 monsters still couldn't break through Qin Mo's defenses. He continued to slay one monster at a time, completely unharmed amidst the sea of monsters. As for Qin Mo's strength, the players seemed to have grown accustomed to it, and this time it did not spark much discussion. Level 10 monsters posed no difference to him compared to the previous 2 waves. However, for the other players, the pressure suddenly intensified. The frequency of player deaths was rising. Even those from the top guilds felt great pressure, experiencing considerable casualties. You have slain one rampaging skeleton, gaining 50 merit points. You have slain one poison mist phantom, gaining 50 merit points. Qin Mo continued his usual routine of slaying one monster at a time, quickly finding himself deep within the army of monsters. As the monsters fell one by one under Qin Mo's wooden sword, his merit points rapidly increased at a visible rate. Meanwhile, his ranking on the merit list also rose gradually. Half an hour later, Qin Mo once again left all the other players far behind. At this time, the merit list showed first place, Awaken, 912450, second place, Thunder Xiong Ba, 910,500. Sixth place, Mo Ku, 865,600. At this point, Bolin and Xiong Ba groups were no longer focused on the merit list. With so many monsters to slay, it was only a matter of time before Qin Mo took first place. Facing the onslaught of level 10 monsters, both the Haoyue Guild and Thunder Guild felt substantial pressure and had to slow their advance, choosing to form a battle line with other players to face the monsters together. The battlefield fell into a stalemate of bitter fighting. From a high vantage point, the player army and the monster army looked like two torrents colliding, with a winding battle line stretching across the entire battlefield, distinctly separated. The only exception was Qin Mo, who stood alone 600 meters in front of the battle line, leisurely wielding his wooden sword and attacking. At this time, almost all players left were above level 6. Players below level 6 mostly stood at the rear edge of the battlefield, chatting while observing the battle. It wasn't that they truly accepted defeat, it was just that there was no place for them on the battlefield at this point. Most of these players had tried to rush in to mix in some damage, but against the level 10 monsters, they couldn't even breach their defenses and were unable to inflict damage. Instead, they themselves died after just a few hits from the monsters. Helplessly, this portion of players decided to stay behind as spectators after respawning. Damn, the difficulty of this game is really outrageous. We haven't even left the novice village yet, and we have to face a world task of such difficulty. Why do I feel like the people in front are about to collapse? Are we really going to fail the task and be forced offline? Not necessarily. At worst, we still have the great god Mo Ku to rely on. I saw someone say in the World Channel that the level 10 monsters can't break Mo's defenses while he kills these monsters one by one. Damn, doesn't that mean Mo Ku is completely invincible on this battlefield? Oh my. Before I knew it, the great Mo Ku has already reached the top. Players chatting and joking suddenly opened the merit list upon hearing this. Merit list: first place, Mo Ku 979100, second place, Awaken, 939600, third place, Thunder Xiong Ba, 931,200. Upon seeing Mo's ID once again at the top, the players erupted into discussions. So impressive. The great god Mo Ku is truly formidable. To return to the top like this, that's real. The great god Mo Ku essentially let a wave of monsters' merit points build up before starting to kill again, yet still easily dominated those big guilds. It's truly outrageous. A lone player has suppressed so many top guilds to the point they cannot lift their heads. Having provoked such a great god, I feel the Huiyun Guild is in deep trouble. Huh. Polite guild, are you Huiyun? At this moment, within the player group of the Thunder Guild, Xiong Ba, this Mo Ku is really too fierce. Once this task ends, I need to find a chance to connect with him, preferably to recruit him into our guild. Quick, find someone to check the background of this Mo Ku. If he really is just a lone player, we must find a way to bring him into our guild. Within the player group of the Huiyun Guild, Tianyua, why is this dog so strong? At this moment, Tianyu felt an overwhelming sense of panic. The stronger Qin Mo performed, the more uneasy he became. This was the first time in many years that Tianyu felt such intense anxiety. He had an ominous feeling that he might have brought great trouble to the Huiyun Guild today. After another half hour, Qin Mo was once again about to break through the army of monsters. The third wave of monsters consisted entirely of level 10 creatures, significantly stronger than the previous two waves, though thankfully their numbers were not as exaggerated. After nearly 2 hours of arduous battle, the number of monsters had clearly dwindled. Now only a sparse few remained, and the players gradually formed a situation of many attacking few. As for Qin Mo, he had completely pierced through the army of monsters and stood at the very front. The players all let out a sigh of relief. This wave of monsters, while the least in number, was the hardest to defeat. Even among the core players of the top guilds, more than half had been killed at least once. Bolin finished off the last few monsters in front of him, letting out a deep breath. At this moment, looking at the merit list, first place, Mo Ku 147,6500, second place, Awaken 104,5700, third place, Thunder Xiong Ba 104,1200. Seeing the terrifying value next to Mo's ID and glancing at Qin Mo's blurred figure in the distance, Bolin could only let out a helpless, bitter smile. It's really true that people can be infuriating, at least we chose to befriend him from the start. At this point, the players on the battlefield felt like they were about to vomit from exhaustion. Damn, playing this game for the first time makes me feel more tired than working. Oh, come on. It's already been confirmed that everything obtained in this game can be brought into reality. Working. can work even compared to this. This task should finally be coming to an end, right? With all this time, the system still hasn't hinted that the task is over. I have a bad feeling about this. Just as the players complained about when this task would finally end, a massive figure appeared in the distance. It was a black bull standing upright, over 20 meters tall, massive and robust. The bull was clad in armor and wielded a gigantic battle axe, exuding an overwhelming sense of oppression. Qin Mo looked at the enormous figure in the distance, a glimmer of anticipation flashing in his eyes. The level 10 bronze boss, the Demon Bull General, has arrived. At this moment, the other players also noticed the massive figure in the distance. What the hell is that? It's way too... I feel like it could crush an entire area with one step. This must be the final boss of the quest, it looks... Why panic? Even if that boss is powerful, there's only one of it. With so many of us, we can wear it down. Brother, you probably haven't experienced the fear of facing a monster that can't be damaged. This has to be at least a level 10 boss. I feel like more than half of us won't even break through its defenses. That's true. I can barely deal damage to level 10 minions. How could I possibly hurt a level 10 boss? What should we do then? Why panic? We can't even deal damage. Let's just watch the top guild players fight it. Exactly, we struggle to fight even minions. Why worry about it? Did you guys forget? The great Mo Ku has already soloed a level 10 hidden boss. Right. If I remember correctly, Mo Ku took only 5 seconds to solo that hidden boss. Speaking of which, Mo Ku is in the front now. He will definitely confront the boss first. Do you think the others will arrive only to find the boss already defeated by Mo Ku? After all, this is a world quest boss. It shouldn't be that easy to be taken down, right? Indeed, for a world quest boss to be soloed by Mo Ku seems a bit unreasonable. It's hard to say. Do you think it's reasonable for Mo Ku to solo a level 10 hidden boss in 5 seconds? Compared to these low-level onlookers, players from various guilds showed much more excitement upon seeing the boss. Quick. Let's catch up. We can't let Mo Ku take down the boss all by himself. Clearly, Mo Ku's record of soloing a level 10 hidden boss in 5 seconds is just too impressive, and other guilds are worried this boss might be taken down just as quickly. If that's the case, they wouldn't even get a drop. They at least need to contribute something. Of course, if luck is on their side, getting the final blow would be even better. At this moment on the battlefield, the Bull Demon General was moving with heavy steps towards the players. Qin Mo was at the front, walking slowly, the distance between him and the Bull Demon General decreasing. Players under level 10 began to stand still to watch, some even taking a few steps back. Meanwhile, players from the major guilds rushed forward, fearing the boss might not hold up against Qin Mo. Finally, when Qin Mo was less than 100 meters away from the Bull Demon General, players from various guilds caught up to his pace, and many quickly surpassed him, heading straight for the Bull Demon General. Qin Mo glanced at the crowd rushing ahead, shook his head slightly, and stopped in his tracks. Bolon, who was about to continue charging forward, noticed Qin Mo had stopped and hurriedly signaled his guild members to halt, standing around Qin Mo. Bolon approached Qin Mo and whispered, "Great one, why have you stopped? Is there an issue?" Qin Mo shook his head. "Someone has already gone ahead to test the waters. Let's observe the boss's skills first." In fact, Qin Mo knew that once surrounded, the Bull Demon General would first unleash a high-damage AoE skill, and anyone rushing in now would be instantly killed. Bolon, hearing Qin Mo's words, turned to look at the Bull Demon General with suspicion. From this distance, they could already check the boss's attributes. Bull Demon General, level 10, grade bronze, health 21600, mana 800, attack 650, defense 9648, armor, magic resistance, skills Furious Great Axe, brutal charge, war tread, rage. Furious Great Axe. The Bull Demon General consumes 50 mana to swing his giant axe, attacking all targets within a 100-meter radius, dealing 1300 physical damage to hit targets. Cooldown time 45 seconds. Brutal Charge. The Bull Demon General consumes 40 mana to charge in a direction for 50 meters, ignoring any control or obstruction, dealing 400 magical damage to targets along the way. Cooldown time 40 seconds. War Tread. The Bull Demon General consumes 50 mana to stomp the ground heavily, dealing 300 magical damage to all targets within a 100-meter diameter and reducing all hit targets' armor by 50 for 1 minute. Cooldown time 52 seconds. Rage. When the Bull Demon General's health drops below 15, he enters a state of rage, gaining 1000 armor, 500 magic resistance, and 20 lifesteal for 1 minute. No cooldown. In his past life, Qin Mo and other players had suffered greatly at the hands of the Bull Demon General. With high burst damage and AoE, he could easily wipe out entire groups of players. The most ridiculous aspect was its passive skill, Rage. Once health dropped below 15, it became invincible, and no player could break through its defenses. Moreover, any damage it dealt to players could heal itself, recovering more than half a health bar in just 1 minute. After finally chipping its health down to below 15, it would trigger Rage. This cycle continued, driving the players nearly insane. In his past life, Qin Mo and the other players each died over 3 times to the Bull Demon General, but eventually they figured out the pattern and avoided it after triggering rage to prevent it from healing. Once the rage duration passed, they finally managed to defeat it. This time, however, Qin Mo certainly wouldn't have to struggle as hard as he did in his past life. Before long, the 3 guild player groups that had just passed Qin Mo had already charged to the front of the Bull Demon General. Each group had about 40 players, all level 10. Under the organization of their respective guilds, players surrounded the Bull Demon General from 3 directions. Warrior-type players were at the forefront while archers and mages began to deal damage from behind. In an instant, skills and arrows rained down upon the Bull Demon General. 14, 11, 9, 57, 42. In an instant, various damage numbers popped up from the Bull Demon General, and its health bar began to decrease. Although the Bull Demon General had a staggering 96 points of armor, the physical damage dealt by the players mostly only caused around 10 points of damage. However, with many attacks, they could still chip away a significant portion of its health. Especially for mage-type players, each skill could deal over 40 points of damage to the Bull Demon General, making their impact even more significant. In the first round of focused fire, the Bull Demon General lost 1768 health points instantly. However, as the skills of the mage-type players entered cooldown, the concentrated damage from the 3 guilds greatly reduced. There was no choice. Players generally only had 12 skills. Although mages had high burst damage, they also had long output downtime. At this moment, the Bull Demon General moved, swinging his giant axe forward instantly, sending 3 warrior players flying. 510, 500, 505. 3 red damage numbers popped up, and these 3 players were instantly killed. However, compared to the health lost by the Bull Demon General, the players only lost 3 people, which was completely acceptable. The players who hadn't arrived yet were excited upon seeing this scene. Wow, it seems this boss isn't so hard to defeat after all. Everyone focus fire together, we can finish this in a few seconds. Quick, hurry up. If we slow down, we won't even get a drop. Meanwhile, around Qin Mo, players from several guilds cautiously stayed close to him. Seeing the players in front effectively chipping away at the boss's health, many could no longer contain themselves and began rushing forward. Bolon glanced at Qin Mo, seeing he still had no intention to act, tentatively asked, "Great one, aren't you going to make it?" Qin Mo shook his head. The boss hasn't used its skills yet. Bolon hesitated for a moment, but decided to wait a little longer. The boss still had plenty of health, it wouldn't die immediately, so there was no harm in observing further. After about 10 seconds, another 4 guilds of players gathered in front of the Bull Demon General. The newly arrived players immediately joined the focused fire on the boss. 45, 12, 53, 8, 14. A series of damage numbers popped up. This wave of focused fire directly dealt 2,972 health points to the Bull Demon General. At this point, the Bull Demon General was left with 3/4 of its health. Meanwhile, a few player groups had already rushed near the Bull Demon General. Bolon was getting anxious, looking at Qin Mo. "Great one, shouldn't we go up? If we get focused fire a bit longer, the boss might be defeated." On the other side, Xiongba and the others glanced at Qin Mo but could not resist rushing forward with their guild members. Qin Mo remained unmoved, standing calmly in place. At that moment, the Bull Demon General, now completely surrounded by players, finally reacted. It roared loudly, dragging its giant axe, and violently swung it around. Furious great axe. The hundreds of players surrounding the Bull Demon General were instantly sent flying. Under the sweeping blow of General Qin Mo's massive axe, all players within a radius of 100 meters centered around General Qin Mo himself were sent flying. 510, 500, 400, 420. Countless red damage numbers popped up as the players soared through the air, their health bars already emptied. The 400 or so players besieging General Qin Mo were instantly wiped out. Not a single person was spared. Moreover, over 500 players who had yet to reach General Qin Mo but had entered the range of the skill-furious giant axe were also instantaneously killed. Not far away, thousands of players were preparing to rush in and join the assault on General Qin Mo, but upon witnessing this scene, their scalps went numb. At this moment, the world channel exploded with chaos. What the hell? I just saw an axe sweeping by, and I found myself back at the resurrection point. What happened? Why were we all sent back to the resurrection point? I checked the death details. It was the boss's skill-furious giant axe. I asked around, everyone in our guild was killed by that furious giant axe. So were we. Don't ask, we were watching from a distance. The boss just used one skill and wiped us all out. Damn, one skill killed nearly 1000 people. This boss's skills are too overpowered. How are we supposed to fight like this? I said it, the world quest boss won't be that simple. We're done for. We might not be able to clear this world. Players were momentarily stunned, and negative emotions quickly spread among them. However, soon a player stepped up to rationally analyze the situation. It only has 4 skills in total, and skills always have cooldowns. As long as we understand its skill effects, we still have a chance to fight. Indeed, it's normal for a world quest boss to deal high damage. Even if it's troublesome, once we understand the remaining skills, we can definitely win. Our guild was also planning to test the boss's skills first, thinking we would only lose a few people, but who knew we would be wiped out right away. Damn. No wonder the expert Mo Ku has been standing far away without making a move. The big shots are always clear-headed. Amidst the players' discussions, the batch of players that had just been wiped out waited to respawn and re-enter the battlefield. On the battlefield, the players who had just charged halfway still braced themselves and charged forward. The boss had just released a large-scale AoE skill, or perhaps the remaining skills wouldn't be that formidable. After all, everyone can respawn infinitely. With so many people charging in, maybe a round of concentrated fire could take down the boss. However, just as these players rushed forward with a sense of luck, General Mo also turned to look at the Ankh. In the next moment, General Mo lowered his head and aimed his massive horns at the densest cluster of players charging forth with his giant axe. Brutal charge. General Mo's enormous body crashed into the players, creating a scene akin to a truck plowing through a flock of sheep. Players along the way were sent flying, and over 1,000 players were thrown into disarray. 308, 306, 324. Dense blue damage numbers leaped up among the players, and a large number of players lost a significant portion of their health due to General Mo's charge. Fortunately, this skill didn't deal high damage, and no players were killed this round. General Mo, on the other hand, actively charged into the players' encirclement during this round. Seeing this, thousands of players immediately organized by their respective guilds and stood in formation to 14, 11, 9, 57, 42. Various damage numbers once again jumped up on General Mo. This round of concentrated fire instantly dealt 5241 points of damage to General Mo. His health was now reduced to about half. At that moment, General Mo let out a furious roar, suddenly lifted his right hoof, and stomped down harshly onto the ground. War tread. Boom. A muffled sound reverberated as all players within a radius of 100 meters around General Mo were knocked to the ground. The players currently besieging General Mo were all affected. 221, 207, 214. Dense blue damage numbers once again jumped up on the players. Players who were just at full health now lost about half of their health. Meanwhile, those who had just taken damage from brutal charge were directly killed. General Mo's stomp directly killed over 600 players. In an instant, the players besieging the boss were reduced to a sparse 500 or so. These remaining players were mainly the priests, mages, and archers positioned further back. Priests had little damage, mages' skills were all on cooldown, and only the archers could still deal some damage. 11, 9, 13. Sparse damage hit General Mo, proving to be ineffective. After experiencing this recent upheaval, the players who were preparing to charge in and continue focusing fire on the boss all hesitated and stopped. General Mo had just unleashed 3 skills, all of which were large-scale AoE damage. Each one could instantly kill a large number of players. Given this, the last skill of General Mo is highly likely to also be a large-scale AoE damage skill. Once he uses this final skill, it will enter a skill vacuum period. Clearly, without skills, General Mo doesn't seem as terrifying. This means that waiting for him to unleash his next skill is the best opportunity for players to focus fire and kill him. At this critical moment, the players in the back were unwilling to charge forward, instead standing 100 meters away and observing. Even the players who had survived the recent war tread and were focusing fire had begun to stop their attacks and retreat. In an instant, the battlefield, which had just seen thousands of players rushing toward the BOSS, turned into a scene where everyone was watching from afar, unwilling to approach the boss. The reason everyone was hesitant to charge forward was simple. General Mo only had 1 skill left, and this skill could likely wipe out a large number of players instantly. No matter which guild the players belonged to at this moment, rushing up together posed the risk of being instantly wiped out. If they were wiped out, the boss would enter a skill vacuum period, which would be the best time to kill the boss. If at this critical moment all the players from their guild were waiting at the resurrection point, and after respawning still had to rush back to the battlefield, it would be too late. No one wanted to sacrifice their life to lure the boss into using its last skill only to provide others with. The battlefield fell into a standoff. While everyone was observing each other, a figure slowly stepped forward. Qin Mo saw that General Mo had already used 3 active skills and decisively chose to take action. Others did not know what the last skill of General Mo was, but Qin Mo was clear about it. The reason he hadn't acted earlier was that General Mo's first 3 skills posed a threat to him. Seeing Qin Mo move forward alone, players began to discuss. The expert Mo Ku is moving. Is he finally going to make his move? The boss still has 1 skill left to use. Will Mo Ku get killed? He shouldn't be killed, after all. Mo Ku's defensive attributes are top-notch. Honestly, I'm really curious about Mo Ku's attack and defense stats. Just watch him attack the BOSS, and well no. He takes down small monsters with a single sword, so he can't possibly one-shot the BOSS, right? Watching him hit the boss once can help us gauge his attack power. And if the boss hits him and he doesn't get killed, we can estimate his armor. This is getting interesting. I can't wait. As countless players focused their attention, Qin Mo stepped forward with a wooden sword toward General Mo. Bolon hesitated for a moment, but ultimately didn't dare to lead the charge. The boss still had one skill left to use. Mo Ku was daring to take the risk, but Bolon was not. If all the members of the Haoyue Guild were wiped out, and then the boss was killed without them even getting an assist, that would be a huge loss. The remaining major guilds also chose to observe from a distance, and all guilds unanimously made a decision: as long as Mo Ku forced out the boss's last skill, everyone would rush in. In such a concentrated fire situation, everyone would have a chance to secure the final blow. Under the gaze of countless players, Qin Mo finally reached the front of General Mo. As Qin Mo swung his sword, nearly all players present focused their gaze upon him. The moment they saw the damage numbers pop up, the battlefield erupted in awe, leaving the players stunned. What did I just see? 1004. Did they forget to add the decimal point? Holy crap. A single strike for 1004 damage. Are you insane? What legendary artifact is that wooden sword of his? Taking into account the boss's 96 points of armor, Mo Ku has a total attack power of 1100. My goodness, over 1000 damage in one hit. Who can withstand that? Heavens. An 11th level swordsman with an attack power exceeding 1000. This is too exaggerated. How on earth did he achieve this? We're both swordsmen. Why do I not even have an attack power of 110? I knew his attack power was absurd, but I never expected it to be this outrageous. I'm astonished. Now I understand why he could solo the boss in 5 seconds. Amidst the players' heated discussions, General Mo also made his move. He swung the giant axe in his hand towards Qin Mo. At that moment, all players fell silent, their eyes glued to the front. General Mo had an attack power of 650, capable of killing any player present with a single normal attack. Everyone wanted to know what would happen when General Mo's attack landed on Qin Mo. Under the watchful eyes of all the players, the massive axe of General Mo came crashing down. However, the scene all players anticipated did not occur. Qin Mo fluidly dodged the giant axe of General Mo. The enormous blade struck the ground beside Qin Mo, causing the ground to tremble. Yet Qin Mo remained completely unaffected. In the instant he evaded General Mo's attack, Qin Mo immediately activated the skill Shadow Blade. Mana 40. Then Qin Mo swung his wooden sword. 3 afterimages appeared beside Qin Mo, slashing towards General Mo in unison. 1004. 454. 454. 454. With a series of 4 red damage numbers, this strike dealt a total of 2,366 damage. Seeing this scene, the players erupted again. Holy crap. Turns out boss attacks can be dodged. We should have realized this. This boss is so heavy it should be dodgeable. Dodging boss attacks is normal, but the key is he just dealt over 2,000 damage to the boss in one hit. Mo could dealt more damage with one skill than the combined efforts of 3 top players from different guilds. He's too strong. We're both swordsmen, both using Shadow Blade. Why is there such a vast gap between me and the godly player? In the midst of the players' discussions, Qin Mo had already exchanged several rounds of strikes with General Mo. Every time Qin Mo swung his wooden sword, he managed to deal 1,004 points of damage to General Mo, nearly 5 of its health. Meanwhile, General Mo's attacks with the giant axe were deftly evaded by Qin Mo. After fighting for a few seconds, General Mo had lost over 5,000 points of health, while Qin Mo remained at full health. The members of the surrounding guilds were unable to sit still upon witnessing this. I feel like at this rate it won't take long for this boss to be slain by Mo Ku. Wait a minute, doesn't this boss have another? Why hasn't he used it? Could it be that this boss's skills only trigger when there are enough players around? If there are too few, it won't use its skills. As soon as this hypothesis was voiced, several players' expressions changed slightly. Upon reflection, it seemed when there were only a little over 100 players attacking, the boss did not use any skills. It was only when the numbers increased that it started using skills. Now, with only Mo Ku attacking, the boss still hadn't used any skills. Watching the boss's health decrease, the players from various guilds quickly reacted. They were hesitant to charge forward all at once, fearing they might be wiped out by the boss's skill, yet they couldn't just watch Qin Mo kill the boss. After all, everyone wanted to try their luck. So almost simultaneously, the guilds observing from 100 meters away decided to send half their members forward to focus fire on the boss. This way, even if the boss used an AoE attack that wiped everyone out, the remaining players would still have a chance. Just as these guilds sent their members rushing in to begin attacking the BOSS, Qin Mo struck once more. 1004. As the red damage numbers popped up, General Mo's health dropped to just 3,014 points. The health had fallen below 15. In the next moment, General Mo let out a furious roar, angrily pounding his chest. Immediately after, flames erupted from General Mo, and the fur on his body turned bright red, standing erect. Rage state activated. Seizing the opportunity, Qin Mo swung his wooden sword again. 100. With the activation of the rage state, General Mo's armor value instantly increased to 1,000. Even Qin Mo's attacks could only deal 100 points of damage. The players who had just rushed in were instantly dumbfounded upon seeing this. What's going on? Has the boss transformed? Its armor and magic resistance have increased. This should be its final skill. All of the boss's skills are on cooldown. There's no danger. Everyone rush in. In an instant, the players who had been hiding at the back surged forward. Seconds later, a multitude of skills and attacks descended upon General Mo. 0, 0, 0. A flurry of zeros popped up, and the player's damage against the rage state, General Mo, failed to penetrate its defenses. Qin Mo watched the dense swarm of players charging in and sighed softly. This scene was exactly like his past life. All the guilds wanted to land the final blow on the boss, but didn't want to be wiped out. So when the boss had more health, few dared to attack, but as soon as the boss's health dropped, they all rushed in. The problem was that after General Mo entered the rage state, they couldn't penetrate its defenses at all. And a single attack from General Mo could kill 35 players. Rage state allowed for 20 life steal. Even if each kill only restored less than 100 health during this 1 minute in the rage state, General Mo could recover a significant portion of his health. Thus, a bronze tier boss turned into a feeling of an epic level boss due to the player's attacks. Qin Mo shook his head and quietly retreated to a distant location. Now even Qin Mo's attacks were merely like scratching the surface against General Mo. With so many players rushing in to heal it, it would be impossible to defeat General Mo within this 1 minute. General Mo, engulfed in flames, resembled a hellish war god as he swung his giant axe violently at the players before him. The players mimicked Qin Mo's movements in an attempt to dodge, but they could not evade at all. With a single attack, 4 players were struck and sent flying. 100, 80, 82, 76. 4 green numbers popped up, and General Mo instantly regained 338 health. At this moment, the players finally realized something was off. Holy crap, the boss is healing. Wait, after transforming, it has life steal ability. After transforming, its defense is too high. We can't deal any damage. This is bad. If we can't damage it, and it can heal, doesn't that mean it will just keep recovering health? It seems like only Mo can deal damage to it. After the boss transformed, Mo could only deal 100 points of damage per hit, even less than what it heals. What should we do? I know. We need to stall for a while. The boss's transformation state must have a time. We should wait until its transformation ends to attack. Holy crap. Who knows how long this state will last? In an instant, the players surrounding General Mo were thrown into chaos. Some wanted to retreat and wait for the boss's transformation to end, while others wanted to stay nearby in case its transformation ended at the next moment, and they would have a chance to seize the initiative. Amidst the players' turmoil, Qin Mo had already retreated to a distance of 100 meters. He watched the players near General Mo expressionlessly, silently, counting the time in his heart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the moment Qin Mo finished counting down, General Mo suddenly roared, and then wielding his giant axe with one hand swung it violently in a circle. Berserker's Great Axe. Its cooldown period had ended. In an instant, the thousands of players surrounding General Mo were all sent flying. With a single skill, the battlefield was cleared. 100, 84, 80, 78. A flurry of green numbers surged from General Mo. General Mo's health bar skyrocketed, instantly restoring him to full health. Upon witnessing General Mo clearing the battlefield with a skill once more and his health fully restored, all the players present were left dumbfounded. I timed it. The cooldown for the Raging Battle Axe should be around 45 seconds. This is way too fast. If we wait for the boss's skills to be on cooldown, we won't have enough time to kill it before its skills reset. How are we supposed to fight like this? At least we have grasped the effects of the boss's 4 skills now. We will surely find a way to coordinate together, right? Everyone, let's coordinate. After the boss's transformation state ends, we will send a part of our members to bait its skills, and once the boss has used them, all the remaining players can go in for the kill. All the major guilds had their own tactical analysts, and they quickly reached the same conclusion, prompting discussions among the guilds. Clearly, this boss cannot be defeated without cooperation. So far, the leading top guilds have suffered significant losses. After all, the ones who could rush to General Mo first were primarily these players. At this time, the leaders of various guilds began to send private messages to discuss cooperation plans. Meanwhile, no players approached General Mo for a moment. However, the fact that players were not near him did not mean he wouldn't take the initiative to attack. General Mo moved with heavy steps, quickly heading toward the direction where players were most densely packed. The players in that direction immediately began to retreat. This surprised Qin Mo. The players this time reacted and pulled away much faster than in his previous life. General Mo was still engulfed in flames, and the raging state had not yet ended. However, his health was already full, and at this moment he realized that pulling away had become less meaningful. General Mo was massive and not very agile. However, precisely because of his size, each step he took covered a great distance. Although his movements were slow, his speed was not. The player's retreating speed clearly could not keep up with General Mo's pursuit. Before long, General Mo had closed the distance to less than 50 meters from the players in that direction. He then let out a roar and charged forward. Brutal charge. Many players who hadn't managed to escape in time were once again sent flying by General Mo, their health plummeting. After crashing into the crowd, General Mo immediately unleashed War Trample. General Mo raised his right hoof and stomped violently on the ground, causing the earth to tremble. Hundreds of players were sent flying into the air, their health instantly reduced to 0. Qin Mo stood not far away with his wooden sword, silently calculating the duration of the raging state. At that moment, he received a friend message from Bolon. Bolon, Master, our several guilds discussed and decided to wait for everyone to return to the battlefield, bait out the boss's skills in batches, and then focus fire to kill it. Regardless of who lands the final blow, the rewards will be divided into equivalent items or gold. Master, you alone are worth a guild. Oh, would you like to join us? Qin Mo glanced at the message and replied, no need. After sending that message, he closed the chat window and strode toward General Mo. On the other side, after receiving Qin Mo's message, Bolon was momentarily stunned and hurriedly replied, Master, I mean no harm. I just want to follow you for some crumbs. Master. At this time, Bolon had just respawned and was leading his team back to the battlefield. After continuously sending several messages to Qin Mo, without receiving a response, Bolon helplessly smiled wryly. Xiongba, who was accompanying him back to the battlefield, asked. He didn't agree. Bolon nodded with a bitter smile. I have a bad feeling about this. Xiongba's expression changed slightly. You mean? It can't be right. Bolon nodded seriously. It's hard to say. Suddenly, someone in the world channel shouted, the Mo Master is about to take action again. The boss is at full health. Is the Mo Master going to solo the boss again? It's heating up. Seeing the messages in the world channel, Bolon and Xiongba exchanged glances and simultaneously smiled wryly. It's over. At that moment, on the battlefield in the eastern outskirts of Longxi town, Qin Mo walked step by step toward General Mo. Just when Qin Mo reached in front of General Mo, the flames around him extinguished, returning him to his normal state. Qin Mo calculated the timing. The raging state had just ended. Moreover, at this moment, General Mo's 3 active skills were all on cooldown. Without saying a word, Qin Mo swung his wooden sword. 1004, a red damage number appeared, reducing General Mo's health by about 5. General Mo retaliated with his massive axe aimed at Qin Mo, but Qin Mo skillfully dodged and struck back with another sword swing. 1004, General Mo's health remained at around 90. Thus, Qin Mo and General Mo began to attack one another. Essentially, it was Qin Mo landing a blow, General Mo countering, which Qin Mo would dodge, then retaliating with another strike. In the back-and-forth exchanges between Qin Mo and General Mo, within just 5 seconds, General Mo's health had already dropped by about 30. Seeing that the boss was about to be killed by Qin Mo, the players nearby could no longer sit still. The cooperation plan they had just discussed was immediately forgotten, as a large number of players rushed in, hoping to seize the opportunity for the last hit. Qin Mo glanced at the throng of players surging in and frowned slightly, not saying much. The World Quest's boss was public. Whoever killed it would get the reward, and Qin Mo couldn't just stop others from attacking. Under Qin Mo's relentless attacks, General Mo's health quickly fell below half. At that moment, the large group of players finally reached General Mo and began to focus their attacks. 47, 12, 9, 50. Various damage numbers continuously appeared over General Mo, and his health visibly declined. Although the players' damage was far less than Qin Mo's, the combined effort of so many was still quite impressive. As General Mo's health began to drop rapidly, Qin Mo decisively chose to hold back, dodging General Mo's attacks, while closely monitoring his health. Soon, General Mo's health fell to just 6,241 points. Qin Mo continued to dodge, while keeping an eye on the health bar, silently calculating General Mo's skill cooldown. After a round of concentrated fire, the mages among the players had exhausted their limited skills and entered a period of output vacuum. Only archers and swordsmen among the physical players continued to output, but their damage was noticeably lower. The speed at which General Mo's health decreased had clearly slowed down. After another 5 seconds, General Mo's health had dropped to 3,841 points, with just 601 points left to trigger the raging state. In that instant, Qin Mo moved decisively. He activated Shadow Sword and swung his sword. 3 afterimages appeared beside Qin Mo as they swung their swords toward General Mo. 1004,454,454,454 four red damage numbers appeared simultaneously. With this strike, Qin Mo dealt 2,366 points of damage to General Mo. In an instant, General Mo was left with just 1,475 health points. The boss was in critical condition. The players nearby immediately became excited, eager to see if they could snatch. However, just as Qin Mo's shadow sword hit General Mo, reducing him to critical health, red flames erupted from General Mo once more. Raging state was triggered again. In that instant, General Mo's health bar locked in place, not decreasing as 000. Countless players' attacks landed on General Mo, unable to breach his defenses. The players' expressions changed dramatically. It's over. The boss transformed again. Everyone retreat. Don't let it absorb health. A large number of players rushed to retreat, but many were unwilling to move far, wanting to stay close to General Mo and wait for his raging state to end so they could strike. As for Qin Mo, after reducing General Mo to critical health with a single strike, he decisively retreated 2 steps to avoid the attack, and then activated 1,000 gold, directly consuming 500 gold to maximize the damage of 1,000 gold. In the next moment, Qin Mo's wooden sword flew from his hand, enveloped in golden light, heading straight for General Mo's head. The players didn't even see what happened, they only saw a golden streak of light pass by. Then a red damage number popped up above General Mo's head, 1475. The massive figure of General Mo, who had just entered the raging state, froze on the spot. In the next moment, the red flames on General Mo extinguished, and his colossal body collapsed.